After 10,000 years, the man finally became the ruler of hell. But the moment he stepped onto the demon lord's throne, he removed his mask and loudly declared, "I, Wu Jiangyu, want to go home." This news left the demons in disbelief. The demon lord clearly possessed everything. Why would he want to return to that boring world? But what they didn't know was that Wu Jiangyu didn't care about anything in hell. Because here he ate disgusting food that was unbearable to look at every day. And there wasn't even a single person he could like. Upon hearing this, one demon leader stepped forward. She was the most beautiful woman in the 9 layers of hell, the succubus queen Lilith. But this succubus, who should have been famous for her beauty, turned out to be a hot-bodied tentacle monster. Lilith's appearance left Wu Jiangyu completely petrified. Hearing her presumptuously suggest they spend a passionate night together, Wu Jiangyu immediately ordered her to stay away from him. However, Lilith mistook this for the demon lord's shyness and wrapped her tentacles around Wu Jiangyu's arm. The watching demons were filled with envy. In Wu Jiangyu's eyes, even her red-haired subordinate Baal was cuter than Lilith. Though love shouldn't be judged by appearance alone, this appearance had already crossed the demon lord's physiological limits. Now he was even more determined to return to Earth. Since falling into hell 10,000 years ago, Wu Jiangyu had killed and grown stronger every day. He devoured the 7 strongest demon dukes just for this day to come. He then instructed Baal to prepare the Duke's weapons. Once everything was ready, they came to a mysterious altar, watching the demon lord remove all his equipment and slowly walk toward the altar. Baal and Lilith shed tears of reluctance. The wizard told Wu Jiangyu that by injecting powerful demonic energy into the 7 Duke's weapons, he could distort the boundaries of space-time and forcibly create a spatial rift. As Wu Jiangyu's demonic energy flowed out from his entire body, the 7 weapons absorbed the abundant demonic energy. The next moment, the space in front of Wu Jiangyu shattered. Finally, a space-time portal slowly appeared. Behind him, Lilith was weeping bitterly, her tears flowing like a shower of pear blossoms, and she was shouting, "My lord, I will wait for you." Wu Jiangyu didn't dare look back and told Lilith to stop crying, because her crying was truly terrifying. Mistaking this for gentle comfort from the demon lord, Lilith was instantly moved. "My lord, I want to go with you." However, the next second, Wu Jiangyu saw the slime Lilith spat out. This instantly extinguished any trace of reluctance in his heart. He jumped into the portal without hesitation. After 10,000 years, he could finally return to Earth. Wu Jiangyu was filled with joy. Just when he thought he could safely return, a window notification appeared. Space Defense Mechanism Gaia System activating. Your power has exceeded the space-time rift's tolerance limit. Gaia System overloading. System will implement restrictive seal on you. After being covered by an unknown powerful electric current, the demon lord couldn't help but lose consciousness. When he woke up, what met his eyes was sunlight and green woods. Wu Jiangyu thought he must have returned to Earth. After lying there for a while, he got up and opened his status window, but the result left Wu Jiangyu dumbfounded, because it showed that most of his power had been sealed. Before he could feel sad, roars of monsters came from all around. Behind Wu Jiangyu, several goblins came charging at him recklessly. In Wu Jiangyu's memory, Earth didn't have such creatures. But now the urgent matter was to eliminate them all. However, the demonic energy he had just gathered instantly dissipated. Only then did Wu Jiangyu realize that the demonic energy in his demon palace was very weak. Fortunately, after 10,000 years of devouring, he had many techniques that didn't consume demonic energy. Wu Jiangyu now used the blade power of the demon spar. The goblins were instantly cut to pieces. During the slaughter, the status window kept showing experience gained and level increases. The rise in experience wasn't just numerical. Wu Jiangyu could clearly feel himself gradually becoming stronger, looking at the monster corpses scattered on the ground. He decided to gather some relevant information first. He then used his devouring power, which was Wu Jiangyu's strongest ability. When he fell into hell, he relied on devouring step by step, and finally succeeded in ruling the 9 layers of hell. Soon after devouring all the corpses, Wu Jiangyu obtained information about this world. More importantly, the status window showed he gained 1 point of demonic energy. This instantly stunned him, because demonic energy that only existed in hell appeared here. That meant he very likely hadn't returned to Earth. Wu Jiangyu felt panic for the first time. Had his 10,000 years of persistence still failed? Just then, a girl's scream brought Wu Jiangyu back to his senses, because he realized this couldn't be a demon or monster's voice, but a human's. The next second, Wu Jiangyu used swift power and quickly rushed toward the source of the sound. He now only hoped the other party was human, and definitely not something with tentacles. In just over 10 seconds, Wu Jiangyu discovered a group of goblins ahead, and what these monsters surrounded. It was clearly a girl with 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth. Most importantly, no tentacles. This made the demon lord weep with joy. Just as the goblins were about to strike, the girl had already completely despaired, but she didn't seem to feel any pain. Instead, hearing the monster's screams, slowly opening her eyes. Wu Jiangyu had already slaughtered all the goblins. The girl hadn't expected someone to come save her. Looking at the hand he extended, she slowly prepared to grasp it while quickly saying thank you. Touching the girl for the first time in 10,000 years, Wu Jiangyu instantly felt like he was in love. Seeing he hadn't withdrawn his hand, The girl once again thanked Wu Jiangyu for saving her, and proactively introduced herself as Han Shuya. But Wu Jiangyu's trembling made Shuya wonder what was wrong. Then Wu Jiangyu suddenly pulled her up, and excitedly wanted to marry Han Shuya. Fortunately, he quickly realized he was being too excited, so he apologized to Shuya and introduced himself as Wu Jiangyu. Hearing him ask about her condition, Han Shuya wanted to say it was just minor injuries, but the sharp pain in her leg made her cry out. Unsteady Shuya fell against Wu Jiangyu. Just then, her things fell out. Wu Jiangyu looked at the phone on the ground and finally confirmed this was EartH. He then had Han Shuya sit down first. He could simply treat her wound. After bandaging, Shuya shyly thanked him. When Wu Jiangyu picked up the phone to hand it over, he discovered the time shown was 2023, only 5 years since he fell into hell. But when he opened the portal, he had clearly adjusted the time, which meant the monsters appeared during these 5 years. Wu Jiangyu now urgently wanted to know more about EartH's situation, so he asked Shuya why she came here. Shuya said she came to hunt, but having just awakened as a player and coming alone to an E-rank portal, she understood she was too foolish. Hearing this, Wu Jiangyu wanted to know what level Shuya was. Unexpectedly, she was level 6. 2 levels higher than him, and Shuya wondered why such a strong player like Wu Jiangyu would come here. Wu Jiangyu vaguely said he had unavoidable reasons. After resting for a while, Han Shuya asked if they should leave this place. Wu Jiangyu was worried about her injury. Seeing Shuya's legs still trembling, he proactively offered to support her, making Han Shuya's face instantly red. Under Wu Jiangyu's persuasion, she didn't refuse. Hearing Shuya say she needed to go to the portal entrance, Wu Jiangyu happily agreed, though this was his first interaction with humans in 10,000 years. Except for his exaggerated behavior at the beginning, there shouldn't have been anything strange afterward. The Demon Lord thought he'd naturally adapt to Earth life this way. Soon after, under Shuya's guidance, they arrived at the portal entrance. From the journey's understanding, Wu Jiangyu roughly realized this wasn't completely Earth, but he didn't see any artifacts that created spatial rifts. How was such a large portal maintained? While Wu Jiangyu was thinking, Shuya said she was much better now. Then they both stepped into the portal, after intense distortion and change. Opening his eyes again, the bustling scene ahead made Wu Jiangyu's eyes widen, because now the streets were full of familiar humans. Only now did Wu Jiangyu finally confirm he had truly succeeded in returning. Shuya even proactively invited him to her home for dinner, because Wu Jiangyu not only saved her, but she had also caused him trouble along the way, so she wanted to repay his kindness. Wu Jiangyu was already dizzy with love. He began looking forward to his own spring, and happily agreed to go. However, 2 police officers noticed them and came forward to check their player certificates. Seeing Shuya take out her ID, the officer urged Wu Jiangyu. He naturally didn't have one, so Wu Jiangyu decided to use a special method to avoid being exposed. The next second, his eyes suddenly turned into demon eyes. This was the demon Dantalion's blind sight power, which could deceive others' eyes by distorting perception. After being controlled by the demon eyes, the officer thought he had already checked. Then Wu Jiangyu and Shuya set off for home. Soon they arrived at the bottom of a building. Shuya was a bit embarrassed because the apartment had no elevator. But how could Wu Jiangyu mind? Just thinking about going to Han Shuya's home made his heart pound. Just as Wu Jiangyu was fantasizing about a beautiful future, he heard Shuya call to her mother at home. This made him fall silent. It turned out Han Shuya really just wanted him to come for dinner. Meeting her mother, Wu Jiangyu politely greeted her. Hearing he was the benefactor who saved her daughter, Shuya's mother hurriedly thanked Wu Jiangyu. She didn't know how to repay this kindness. She quickly invited Jiangyu to sit down, saying that although the family wasn't wealthy, they could still afford to treat him to a meal. Wu Jiangyu happily said he was troubling them. Not being able to eat alone with Shuya was indeed regrettable, but being able to eat a normal meal was already very grateful. When preparing to change clothes to help cook, Shuya saw a message her mother sent her. Seeing this, Wu Jiangyu suddenly remembered he needed to understand information about current Earth. So he borrowed Shuya's phone under the pretext of losing his own. Hearing this, Shuya handed Wu Jiangyu the phone, and told him to play while waiting. Dinner would be ready soon. The feeling of controlling the screen with his hands again made Wu Jiangyu absolutely love it. But now wasn't the time to be addicted. Opening the phone, he went to check news reports from 5 years ago. It turned out that on February 22nd, 2018, many portals appeared out of nowhere around the world. Many monsters that weren't afraid of conventional weapons emerged from them. Fortunately, many players suddenly awakened worldwide. They worked together with the military to fight the monsters. Jiangyu discovered that the 22nd was the day he fell into hell. It seemed he might have been sucked into one of those portals. After reading for a while, dinner was ready. But looking down, Wu Jiangyu couldn't take his eyes away, because in the center of the dining table was a steaming hot pot of kimchi soup. This was his favorite food all along, but he hadn't eaten it for 10,000 years. Wu Jiangyu tremblingly slowly scooped up a spoonful. After taking a bite, he began to enjoy it in big mouthfuls. Shuya and her mother didn't expect Wu Jiangyu would eat the kimchi soup and a bowl of rice so heartily. In hell, to survive, he ate demon remains, which were even less acceptable than garbage. If not for the desire to return to Earth supporting him, Wu Jiangyu couldn't have lasted until today. Seeing him crying, Shuya curiously asked what was wrong. Wu Jiangyu finally spoke up, thanking Shuya because the food was really delicious. Han Shuya thought she should be the one thanking him, while wondering if kimchi soup was really that good. Wu Jiangyu's response was a definite request for another bowl. Just as Shuya brought the rice over, she had just filled another bowl for Jiangyu when the door suddenly shattered, along with a figure entering. After the dust settled, a blonde thug walked in. He was Shuya's brother, Han Taiyun. Discovering Shuya in the room, the blonde thug irritably questioned, "Why did you go to the portal to seek death?" Seeing his appearance, Shuya's anger gradually rose. She then told the blonde thug to leave, and warned him that she was now a proper player. This statement only made the blonde thug laugh uncontrollably. Then he punched a hole in the wall, saying that in his eyes, low-level people like Han Shuya weren't even players. Toward his biological sister and mother, the blonde thug showed no mercy, complaining before, forcibly grabbing Shuya to take her to the Andras Guild. Han Shuya resisted fiercely. Seeing no effect, she decisively bit the blonde thug's wrist. After feeling pain, the blonde thug directly slapped Shuya, and said viciously, "This world is survival of the fittest, just be my sacrifice obediently." Seeing this, Shuya's mother pleaded, saying she would definitely earn a lot of money for them, just begging to spare her daughter. Unexpectedly, the blonde thug was completely heartless. He threw his own mother directly to the ground. Shuya now hated this brother of hers, but her gaze made the blonde thug very displeased, so he was about to strike again. But the blonde thug suddenly heard a discordant sound. Turning around, he actually discovered a man concentrating on eating. The blonde thug became interested in Wu Jiangyu's appearance, so he released Han Shuya from his grip, then walked forward and called out several times, not expecting this kid to dare ignore him. The next second, the blonde thug angrily kicked over the entire dining table. The scattered food left Jiangyu stunned for a moment. Then he crazily shouted. So much good food was all wasted. Wu Jiangyu was extremely saddened. The blonde thug beside him treated him like a beggar. But the blonde thug's behavior had already angered the Lord of Hell. Toward the guy who knocked over his kimchi soup, Wu Jiangyu didn't want to waste more words with him. After the blonde thug felt this overwhelming killing intent, fear instantly surged to his heart. But after reacting, he prepared to attack Wu Jiangyu. However, a sudden attack blocked him. It was Shuya who acted, while telling Jiangyu to run quickly. But Wu Jiangyu actively approached the blonde thug. His speed was very fast. The blonde thug's attack hadn't even formed yet, when he was hit hard in the abdomen with a punch, being hurt by someone he considered a beggar. The angry blonde thug prepared to counterattack. Unfortunately, close combat was Wu Jiangyu's specialty. Then he kicked and broke the blonde thug's offensive. Although his whole body felt painful, the blonde thug still grabbed Wu Jiangyu's leg while enduring it. Wu Jiangyu then slapped his face. What followed was one-sided beating. Even if the blonde thug wanted to resist, he was always fooled by Wu Jiangyu's feints. Soon he was firmly stepped on underfoot, but Wu Jiangyu coldly told the blonde thug it wasn't over yet. Then he stabbed his sharp hand blade into his flesh. For his crime of knocking over the kimchi soup, Wu Jiangyu wanted to settle accounts with him properly. Hearing he was beaten because of kimchi soup, the blonde thug mocked it as worthless while cursing Wu Jiangyu. This undoubtedly angered the demon lord again. Seeing Wu Jiangyu's eyes, the blonde thug immediately became afraid. He wanted to quickly explain, but was directly smashed to the ground. Finally, under Wu Jiangyu's gentle treatment, the blonde thug finally apologized to the kimchi soup. He couldn't understand who this madman in front of him was. After the incident ended, Wu Jiangyu had the blonde thug clean up the room. Han Shuya was taking care of her mother. At this time, the blonde thug washing dishes became angrier as he thought about it. Not only was he beaten half to death, his clothes were also taken away, and the cause of this situation was kimchi soup. The blonde thug glared at Wu Jiangyu viciously, but was immediately discovered. Wu Jiangyu understood what the blonde thug was thinking. Then he told the blonde thug to come over after washing the dishes. After the blonde thug timidly approached, Wu Jiangyu said that sparing him had no benefits, but he wouldn't kill him either. So let's make your life worse than death. Hearing this, the blonde thug trembled, wanting to know what Wu Jiangyu intended to do. The next second, the demon lord decisively used fear power on the blonde thug. This was the demon Orobus's power, undoubtedly the best choice for dealing with scum like the blonde thug. Its effect was to leave indelible fear in the opponent's soul, and could turn a person into a puppet. After ordering the blonde thug not to tell anyone what happened, Wu Jiangyu told him to get out quickly, watching the blonde thug who kept muttering to himself with a terrified expression as he left. Shuya wondered what happened to him, but regardless, Wu Jiangyu had once again saved her. As for Wu Jiangyu, he was very concerned about what the blonde thug had said, because he was indeed like the blonde thug said, a beggar. After all, he was currently penniless and urgently needed money, otherwise eating would be difficult later. After searching through materials on his phone for a long time, he discovered something called magic stones. So Jiangyu asked if Shuya had any. After rummaging through her bag for a while, she gave Wu Jiangyu the E-rank magic stone obtained from hunting goblins. After quickly examining the magic stone's power with his hand, Jiangyu couldn't sense any demonic energy from it. That meant the energy inside was different from demonic energy. but another type of energy called magic power. But where did the demonic energy he obtained earlier come from? This made the demon lord fall into thought. After thinking without results, he returned the magic stone to Shueya. Anyway, since he lacked money, he should get some magic stones to sell for money first. But considering the previous incident of being stopped, Wu Jiangyu asked if there was a player management office nearby. Although there wasn't one nearby, Han Shueya said she also needed to go there and could go together later. She went to hunt at the portal to earn money because of poor family conditions. Speaking of this, Shueya again thanked Wu Jiangyu not only for saving her, but also for making her understand how reckless and hasty it was to hunt alone. So Shueya planned to go to the management office to relearn basic knowledge, then try for a second awakening to enhance her strength. Wu Jiangyu believed she could definitely do it. When Shueya finished packing and prepared to leave, she asked if Jiangyu brought his ID card. After hearing he didn't, they first went to get one processed. During processing, Wu Jiangyu realized that he had been missing for so many years but no one reported him missing. Not long after, Wu Jiangyu got his new ID card, then went with Shueya to the S-City player management office. As they were about to arrive, Han Shueya suddenly asked Jiangyu to look outside the window, slowly raising his head to look outside. He was attracted by the scenery outside the window. The train soon arrived at the station. Under Han Shueya's guidance, they walked to S-City's player management office. Just as Wu Jiangyu was marveling at how large the management office was, Shueya took out a phone. This was one she used before, now giving it to Wu Jiangyu to use. The management office had wireless internet. They could contact each other with the phone later. After Han Shueya said see you later, she went to listen to basic knowledge classes. Wu Jiangyu had business to handle, coming to the lobby to get his ticket. Jiangyu entered testing room number 9. Many people here came for awakening, but most were D rank or C rank. First-time awakening reaching S rank would receive recruitment from each country's 5 major guilds. These were established by the country's 5 strongest players. After gradually recovering all his power, Wu Jiangyu understood he would inevitably encounter them, and conflicts would very likely occur, since the larger the guild, the greater the power, and naturally more dirty people underneath. So the urgent matter was to quickly recover his power. Otherwise, meeting strong opponents early would definitely be terrible. Looking at the player panel again, Wu Jiangyu had a premonition. Using this identity, he might become even stronger than before. While thinking, it was finally his turn for testing. Going inside, someone guided him to sit in front. After confirming it was Wu Jiangyu himself, the staff member told him to put his hand on the crystal ball. When releasing power, the ball's color would change according to talent attributes. The higher the level, the more turbid the color would be. After hearing the staff's explanation, Wu Jiangyu was somewhat worried. He feared the test results would attract too much attention. As a bright light disappeared, the staff member saw the ball's color, and regretfully told Jiangyu your level is F rank. Upon hearing this, Wu Jiangyu was stunned. He had thought of many possibilities but never imagined it would be this low. Even if his power was sealed, it shouldn't be as low as F rank. Jiangyu suspected his power was too strong, so the crystal ball couldn't measure it. However, the management office issued starting E rank player certificates, and entering portals was limited to the same rank, while higher than E rank required applying for guardian accompaniment. Understanding the general situation, Wu Jiangyu wondered how to improve his level afterward. The staff member also told him that taking basic education courses could directly upgrade to D rank. Additionally, increasing magic stone transaction volume could also improve it. The second option was undoubtedly most suitable for him. After processing his player certificate, Wu Jiangyu got up to leave. The staff member wanted to suggest attending basic education, but he directly refused. The girl thought Wu Jiangyu was discouraged. After Wu Jiangyu left, the crystal ball's color suddenly changed. Noticing this, the staff member thought it was broken. As she reached out to check, the crystal ball shattered on the spot. This pitch-black color instantly shocked the girl. Even previous S-rank players only made the crystal ball turn dark gray. She didn't think Wu Jiangyu could do this, so concluded it was the crystal ball's problem. On the other side, after Wu Jiangyu texted Shueya that he'd see her later, he went alone to the nearest E-rank portal. Here many people were seeking teams or recruiting members. Among them, a boy was refused by many teams because he was a thief class. Seeing the boy's situation, Wu Jiangyu wondered why, as it seemed many people avoided the thief class. But it wasn't his concern. After handing his player certificate to the guard, he successfully entered the portal. But this transportation method made Wu Jiangyu very uncomfortable, always making him fear suddenly returning to hell. After walking just a few steps, someone called out to Wu Jiangyu from behind. Turning to look at the person behind him, the other person was built like a bear. After chatting about a few questions, learning that Wu Jiangyu came alone and was a player without second awakening, the man actively invited him to join the team. Hearing this, his other teammates told him not to make decisions arbitrarily. From the man's teammates, he learned his name was Taishu. Hearing his teammates' objections, Taishu was very angry, because Wu Jiangyu's situation of solitary hunting was suicide, and he was saving a person's life. If they weren't satisfied, they could quit his team. Now Wu Jiangyu understood that this man indeed had no ill intentions. Taishu also actively introduced himself, and Wu Jiangyu told him his name, while politely declining Taishu's kindness. Seeing his uncomfortable way of speaking, Taishu told Wu Jiangyu to be casual, since they should be about the same age. He even took out his ID to prove he was only 24, which shocked Wu Jiangyu. He couldn't believe what had happened to Taishu. But regardless, Wu Jiangyu again refused Taishu, telling him not to worry, he was prepared before coming in. Seeing this, Taishu didn't insist, so he told Wu Jiangyu to be careful. This area was a goblin habitat, especially watch out for the largest among them. That was a monster called Hobgoblin. Not on the same level as ordinary goblins. If encountered, definitely run away immediately. Hearing this, Wu Jiangyu also thanked Taishu. Then they waved goodbye. Next was Wu Jiangyu's hunting time. After exploring along the way, he quickly found a goblin tribe. Facing a large group of monsters, Wu Jiangyu showed no fear and actively jumped out. In just the blink of an eye, one of the goblins was directly pierced by him. Only when the monster's wail sounded did the other goblins discover the intruder. But seeing Wu Jiangyu's cruel slaughter, some goblins didn't even dare approach. But for Wu Jiangyu, the goblin camp ahead was simply a harvest field prepared just for him. Those goblins, brave enough to fight, were cut to pieces like paper under Wu Jiangyu's blade. The continuous slaughter made him increasingly excited. The goblins initially continued charging recklessly, but facing this bloodthirsty demon lord, even as monsters they couldn't help but tremble. After killing dozens of goblins in succession, turning around Wu Jiangyu was still somewhat surprised. He hadn't expected there to be so many left. Then he could continue enjoying himself properly. Soon after, countless goblin corpses were piled in front of Wu Jiangyu. At this time, the status window appeared. Currently, he had reached level 8. What surprised Wu Jiangyu was that leveling up could also grant demonic energy. He had previously confirmed there was no demonic energy in magic stones, so his earlier demonic energy must have been obtained by devouring monsters. Understanding this, he instantly activated his devouring power. The next second, all the goblin's power flowed into Wu Jiangyu's body. Indeed, as he thought, devouring monster corpses did yield demonic energy. This demonic energy didn't come from magic stones within the monsters, but from the monsters themselves. And depending on the time of death, the amount of demonic energy varied. That meant devouring monsters that had just died could yield small amounts of demonic energy. This was fantastic for Wu Jiangyu. Not only could magic stones be sold for money, but he could also devour corpses to gain demonic energy. Looking at the remaining magic stones scattered on the ground, Wu Jiangyu happily picked them up one by one. With so many stones, selling them would definitely buy lots of fried chicken. He thought about taking Shueya to a fried chicken restaurant after going out. Just imagining Shueya personally feeding him chicken legs made Wu Jiangyu even more excited. He couldn't wait to go back. But when he had picked up less than half, the ground suddenly shook violently. Slowly turning around, Wu Jiangyu understood. This must be the hobgoblin Taishu mentioned. From the energy emanating from it, he discovered it was actually magic power, which surprised Wu Jiangyu. He then began preparing for battle. If the hobgoblin's attacks carried magic power, then its strength was definitely worlds apart from the small fry he just killed. But even so, this wasn't nearly enough to make him retreat. In terms of destructive power, magic power absolutely couldn't compare to demonic energy. However, with Wu Jiangyu's current sealed power, fighting this huge monster would present a disadvantage. That was the power difference brought by size disparity. Against the hobgoblin's attacks, even successful defense would send Wu Jiangyu flying. Seeing this, the monster decisively pursued forward. Fortunately, Wu Jiangyu still successfully blocked it, but the opponent's size far exceeded his own, and Wu Jiangyu's current ability values were still too low. Even when he seized the opportunity to counterattack with his blade, the hobgoblin simply raised its hand and used its armor to successfully defend, even bouncing Wu Jiangyu away. The brief exchanges made him realize that direct confrontation would be difficult to kill the monster. He had to find bigger weaknesses. So in the hobgoblin's subsequent attacks, Wu Jiangyu kept choosing to dodge, wanting to slowly observe the monster's habits. Soon he roughly understood. The hobgoblin excelled at using its thick arms for combat. This guy indeed wasn't comparable to those dead goblins. But in the end, it was just a beast without much intelligence. The next moment, Wu Jiangyu picked up something from the ground and threw it directly at the hobgoblin. After the monster dodged and discovered it was just a skull, its anger instantly increased several levels. Seeing this, Wu Jiangyu was very happy. Now he had a good way to defeat the enemy. That was to ignite the monster's fury, making it unleash tremendous power. So Wu Jiangyu activated his special authority, the demon Crochel's power of wrath. What he wanted to stimulate was the hobgoblin's power. After being hit by this move, the monster first felt discomfort in its body. The next second, it suddenly became extremely angry. All the rage in its heart was completely released. Then the berserk goblin madly charged at Wu Jiangyu. Although its power was much stronger than before, Wu Jiangyu still easily dodged it. A monster that couldn't hit its target 100% when calm, much less a beast that had lost its reason. Wu Jiangyu's wrath power could multiply an opponent's strength several times, but as a price, the enemy would be cursed with loss of reason. In a state of mental frenzy and random attacks, it would only expose more weaknesses, and the monster's attacks became easier to dodge. Successfully dodging, Wu Jiangyu smoothly swung his blade. This time the hobgoblin indeed didn't defend. The monster with severed leg tendons immediately knelt on the ground. It still wanted to continue attacking, but now it was Wu Jiangyu's turn. Wu Jiangyu struck with a throat-sealing blow. After defeating the hobgoblin, he breathed a long sigh of relief. Although he successfully achieved the kill, this feeling made Wu Jiangyu very displeased. If it were his former self, he could have easily solved this. He really needed to become strong again. At this time, an email appeared in the status window. It was a reward for single-handedly clearing a monster stronghold. The experience gained successfully brought him to level 11. His second awakening attribute has also been unlocked. Zhang Yu's second awakening attribute is insatiable hunger, which allows him to absorb more demonic energy from his prey. For Zhang Yu, who desperately wants to become stronger, this is undoubtedly an excellent attribute. So he began devouring the hobgoblins. With the attribute's enhancement, the demonic energy he gained was indeed much more concentrated. After absorbing all the monsters, Zhang Yu began sensing how much his internal demonic energy had improved. But the result surprised him. He had expected about a twofold increase, but it was actually more than threefold. The sudden massive increase in power left Zhang Yu puzzled, but soon he seemed to guess the reason. And after deeper sensing, Zhang Yu understood why he had become stronger. It turned out that the seal on the demon palace within him had weakened, so some of his power had returned. The only change today was his second awakening. This made Zhang Yu suspect that each awakening would weaken the demon palace's seal a little. If his guess was correct, he just needed to level up to gradually regain his previous power. Understanding this, Zhang Yu decided to go to higher level portals. His next goal was to reach level 20 and complete his third awakening. After leaving the portal and selling his magic stones, he invited Shuya to go to a nearby fried chicken restaurant together. Right now, Zhang Yu was in the midst of eating voraciously. Seeing him eat so happily made Shuya curious. Was fried chicken really that delicious? After getting Zhang Yu's affirmative answer, she asked if it was better than her homemade kimchi soup. This question left Zhang Yu struggling to choose, but he quickly gave his answer. Comparatively speaking, he felt kimchi soup was still better. His serious expression made Shuya burst into laughter. Then Shuya also gave her chicken leg to Zhang Yu. While Zhang Yu was devouring his food, Han Shuya suddenly asked if he had any friends or family. After quickly finishing a chicken leg and taking a big satisfying gulp of his drink, Zhang Yu casually said he had none. He had no friends, no family, and no home of his own. Hearing this, Shuya wanted to know where he would sleep tonight, to which Zhang Yu embarrassedly told the truth. He actually hadn't found a suitable place yet. Then Shuya told him that if he didn't mind, he could stay at her house for now. This unexpected offer surprised Zhang Yu. Would that really be okay? Shuya told him not to feel burdened. After all, she had received a lot of help from Zhang Yu in just 2 short days. Zhang Yu then accepted Shuya's kindness. In Han Shuya's eyes, Zhang Yu definitely had many unknown secrets behind him. At this moment, Zhang Yu thought of something and rummaged through his pocket. He handed the remaining money to Shuya, wanting to use it as rent. Shuya quickly waved her hands in refusal, but Zhang Yu insisted she take it. If she didn't want to accept it as rent, then consider it meal expenses. After all, he would definitely be freeloading meals from now on. Most importantly, he understood that Shuya's family situation wasn't good right now. Under Zhang Yu's persistent insistence, Shuya finally accepted the money, thanking Zhang Yu for helping her again. She also said she would make even better kimchi soup tomorrow. Thinking about having kimchi soup every day in the future, Zhang Yu became even more motivated to earn money, fantasizing about selling more magic stones to make Shuya's life happier. With the housing problem solved, Zhang Yu then asked if there were any D-level portals nearby. Shuya said, "Yes, but I heard there are lizard men there." After learning about the relevant intelligence, Zhang Yu decided to go there tomorrow. After finishing their meal and returning home, Shuya brought him to an empty room in the house. This was where her brother used to live. She told Zhang Yu to rest well, and they bid each other goodnight. Just lying on the soft bed, the demon lord was infected by this brief moment of peace and comfort. He felt increasingly grateful that he had returned. Otherwise, how could he enjoy this warmth after 10,000 years? The next morning after breakfast, Zhang Yu set off for the nearby D-level portal. After selling his magic stones yesterday, his player certificate was upgraded to D-level, and today at the portal, Zhang Yu saw the thief from before again, but it still wasn't his concern. So he handed his player certificate to security. He quickly passed through the portal, and unlike last time, this was a huge jungle. After stretching his body, Zhang Yu began to move. Then he used his authority silent force, making all his actions completely soundless. He did this because yesterday's conversation with Shuya revealed that lizard men have poor eyesight but extremely keen hearing, so he had to approach stealthily, as making a big commotion would attract many lizard men. Moreover, lizard men are afraid of fire, so teaming up with fire mages would be more efficient. But for Zhang Yu, going alone was enough. Discovering 3 lizard men ahead, he decisively used the demon Andros's hellfire power. In just an instant, hellfire fell upon the lizard men. The monsters then noticed the small flames on their bodies. But the next second, the flames erupted wildly. The lizard men screamed in agony and tried to jump into a water pool. But ordinary methods couldn't extinguish hellfire. Without using magic power or demonic energy to put it out, it would burn forever. Moreover, hellfire burns the life force within the body, so the corpses Zhang Yu could devour would still be preserved. Thinking of the name Andros, he remembered that the blonde thug Han Tae-hyun's guild seemed to have the same name. But Jiang Yu didn't care. If he encountered them and felt displeased later, he could always teach that guild a lesson. Just after absorbing the 3 lizard men, more monsters appeared behind him. It seemed their companions' screams had attracted them. But this was undoubtedly good news for Jiang Yu. Faced with his authority hellfire, the lizard men were completely helpless. Now the scene became increasingly chaotic. After Jiang Yu finished absorbing, he activated Silent Force. He didn't want to attract another group. Although he wasn't afraid, there was no need to make hunting more difficult. Solving things easily like this was best. After a period of hunting, Jiang Yu leveled up again. As his level gradually increased, his experience gain was noticeably slowing down. Just killing some lizard men was far from enough. It seemed he needed to let loose and hunt more aggressively. Just then, other players appeared nearby. Seeing that Jiang Yu seemed to be a newbie, they wanted to invite him to hunt with their guild. Seeing the group of people above, Jiang Yu curiously asked what guild they were from. Unexpectedly, these people were from the same guild as the blonde thug guy. They were all from Andra's guild. This immediately killed Jiang Yu's interest. He turned and left without looking back. Seeing this, the leader was a bit surprised, thinking newbies were easy to fool. So the group decided to beat Jiang Yu half to death and drag him back to the guild. They wanted to teach this newbie a lesson. Soon after, Jiang Yu killed another large group of lizard men. He had probably devoured all the ones in this area, and while safe hunting was good, the efficiency was still lacking. Now Jiang Yu was considering whether to take some risks. However, he was interrupted again by those Andras guild members. They mocked that Jiang Yu probably hadn't hunted a single monster, because there were no corpses around, and Jiang Yu's clothes were still so clean. Hearing this, Jiang Yu calmly said, "That's because I'm taking a break." The man thought Jiang Yu didn't have the proper attitude toward his seniors, and the demon lord just said that seniors who meddle too much would trouble him. Seeing the man's gritted teeth expression, Jiang Yu couldn't help but provoke him, asking if he wanted to fight. Just as other members were about to act, the leader stopped them, because he had already figured out how to educate this newbie. Jiang Yu below pretended to be surprised, then said he was looking forward to it. But what the leader did was to take out his long sword and scrape it against his bracer. They all mistakenly thought Jiang Yu didn't know lizard men were sensitive to sound. This little trick made the demon lord feel very bored, thinking they were going to do something big. As the harsh scraping sound gradually spread, lizard men from afar began rushing toward this location. Soon hearing the commotion, the man had the mage prepare defensive magic. From the approaching sounds, the man estimated there were dozens of lizard men, curious how Jiang Yu would handle this. He also said that if Jiang Yu begged for mercy, he might show mercy before turning him into a cripple. Seeing Jiang Yu remain silent, the man thought he was scared speechless. But immediately Jiang Yu sneered, "How boring." Since things had reached this point, he wasn't planning to hunt safely anymore. The next second, Thunderous Force instantly activated. Then Jiang Yu frantically stomped the ground. Under his authority's enhancement, the massive vibrations penetrated even deeper. This time it was the man who was scared stupid, angrily shouting, "Stop!" After reaching his intended effect, Jiang Yu finally stopped. But now lizard men were swarming like a tide, almost filling the nearby jungle. The Andras members had never seen so many monsters. They hadn't expected Jiang Yu to want mutual destruction, but this was just wishful thinking. The next moment, countless lizard men launched their fierce attack. The Andras members were forced into difficult defense. As for Jiang Yu, he jumped into the trees and activated Silent Force. Just as a lizard man came down from above him, it went straight for the people below instead. Seeing this scene, the leader finally understood that Jiang Yu had a skill that could control sound. And in the next second, the Andras Guild mage's defensive barrier shattered. The man frantically tried to get it restarted, but when he turned around, he saw his companion's body had been pierced through. It turned out that, except for him, everyone else had been killed by countless lizard men the instant the barrier broke. Watching the monsters tear at his companions' bodies, the man could only cover his mouth, not daring to make a sound. Unfortunately, this was useless, as the lizard men who hadn't enjoyed their meal immediately turned to him. The man painfully begged Jiang Yu to save him, but Jiang Yu only responded with, "Good luck, senior." For these guys who wanted to harm him, Jiang Yu wouldn't naively let them off. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This was his survival rule. The Andras Guild members had murderous intent, so they were destined to face the Demon Lord's retaliation. Next, facing the large group of lizard men, Jiang Yu's hellfire easily solved the problem. Although it consumed a lot, fortunately nothing unexpected happened. After the battle ended, Jiang Yu began devouring. He had originally covered the entire field with his devouring power, but after absorbing for a while, the status window sent a notification. It said he couldn't use devouring power on subjects protected by the Gaia system. Seeing this name, Jiang Yu remembered. It was the voice that came when he first entered the space rift. He didn't dwell on it and continued devouring monsters after skipping the Andras members. Jiang Yu had thought he could devour player attributes too, but now it seemed players were protected by the Gaia system. It didn't really affect him anyway, since collecting more demonic energy was most important. Currently, Jiang Yu's total demonic energy had reached 30 points. A very significant improvement. He could feel himself becoming much stronger than before. And it wasn't just quantity that increased. Even the quality of his demonic energy had improved greatly. Thinking about continued strengthening, after leveling up, Jiang Yu looked forward even more to the changes after his third awakening. Having hunted so much today, he figured he wasn't far from awakening, so he needed to continue hunting more before going home. Time flew by, and 3 days later. Today, Shuya had prepared kimchi soup for Jiang Yu as usual, and after happily finishing a big pot, he didn't forget to praise Shuya's cooking, while Han Shuya wanted to know if he was going hunting today. Hearing this, Jiang Yu said he was going, probably returning late at night as usual. Jiang Yu hadn't rested once in recent days, which made Shuya somewhat worried about his health. Jiang Yu happily said he was fine, while asking when Shuya's basic education would end. After learning it would take a few more days, Shuya said she would soon start formal hunting to level up. And although she didn't know what grade of attribute she could awaken, she still looked forward to achieving second awakening soon. Seeing Shuya's worry, Jiang Yu encouraged her, saying he believed she would definitely complete her awakening. When the tea was ready, Shuya brought it to Jiang Yu, wanting to boost his spirits with it. While they were chatting, Shuya remembered recent rumors about the portals. She heard that player killers had appeared in the portals recently, and didn't know if it was just rumors, but she still reminded Jiang Yu to be careful going forward. Player killers were a group that would hide their levels and then attack ordinary players. While going hunting today, Jiang Yu was thinking about this rumor. He suspected it appeared because he had dealt with those Andras Guild members last time, but he quickly dismissed this guess, as Jiang Yu had carefully observed the surroundings at the time and found no witnesses. Just looking at the corpses, anyone would know they were attacked by lizard men, but whether the player killers were actually him remained uncertain, so to handle any unknown possibilities, Jiang Yu's hunting speed was increasing frantically. Today, he successfully reached level 20, and the third awakening attribute window appeared again, although he had felt the demonic energy increase during his second awakening. This time was completely different, and through testing, sure enough, the Demon Palace's seal had weakened significantly again, and his power increase was much greater than last time. The best part was that demonic energy could now flow out through the weakened seal. This time he also gained a demon attribute called Greed for Magic Power, also A grade, with the effect of converting magic power from magic stones into demonic energy and absorbing it. Jiang Yu couldn't wait to try this useful attribute, slowly activating the attribute effect to absorb magic stones. He was somewhat surprised, as absorbing one magic stone was equivalent to absorbing the demonic energy from one monster. It seemed he'd have to give up using magic stones to make money in the future. Fortunately, he had earned a lot these past few days, so he wouldn't need to go to the magic trading post for a while. After testing the effect, Jiang Yu had to continue hunting. Recently, due to his power increase, he could now use the new authority Sky Force. After using it, Jiang Yu leaped into the air. Since entering this portal, Jiang Yu hadn't discovered any lizardmen leaders yet. This place was all dense forest with very limited visibility, and his current demonic energy wasn't enough to use observation force. After continuing to observe for a while, Jiang Yu suddenly heard a familiar voice. So he went to check the situation. Unexpectedly, Jiang Yu not only found Taishu, but also saw the thief who had been looking for a team. From Taishu's angry words, he learned that he was being attacked by his own teammates. Understanding that Taishu had been betrayed, Jiang Yu guessed these people were likely the player killers everyone was talking about. Worried that Taishu's loud voice would attract lizardmen, the red-haired man continued his attack. But Taishu's toughness exceeded their expectations. His endurance was completely unlike that of a second awakening player. It was likely due to his high attribute grade. But the two weren't in a hurry, since they had already completed their third awakening. Just as the two were about to team up for the finishing blow, they told each other to leave survivors. This statement puzzled Jiang Yu. Why would player killers want to leave survivors? Originally, he just wanted to see what was happening, but he ended up encountering someone he knew before, and Jiang Yu was considering whether to help Taishu. However, he soon noticed something unusual, so he stepped out from hiding, because Jiang Yu discovered these people were actually using demonic energy. Interrupted by Jiang Yu's intervention, the two were first confused. Then they decided to kill Jiang Yu. Having Taishu and the thief in front was already enough. At the same time, Taishu also recognized Jiang Yu, so he urgently shouted for him to run quickly. But the red-haired man had already reached Jiang Yu. However, what happened next was beyond everyone's expectations. Jiang Yu merely slapped the red-haired man and sent him crashing to the ground. The other person was puzzled. What's wrong with him? He couldn't even handle someone without a weapon. But before getting an answer, Jiang Yu slowly approached the red-haired man, then began frantically slapping him around. Seeing this, the other person quickly drew his sword and rushed forward. But Jiang Yu also only used a slap in return, enhanced with the authority void-breaking force. This palm instantly sent him flying. Even his weapon couldn't withstand it and shattered directly. After incapacitating both men, Jiang Yu grabbed the red-haired man. He coldly questioned where the man's demonic energy came from. Hearing that Jiang Yu also knew about demonic energy, the man seemed very shocked and asked back, "How do you know about this?" But his response was being slammed hard onto the ground by the demon lord. Jiang Yu said he was the one asking questions now, and the man needed to answer obediently. But unexpectedly, the red-haired man still refused to talk. For dealing with stubborn people, Jiang Yu enjoyed it most. So he decisively used fear force on the red-haired man. Under Fear Force's effect, he finally gave in, then fearfully said it was given by the guild master. Just as the red-haired man was about to continue, the other person loudly interrupted his statement. Seeing this, the demon lord instantly became murderous, so he knocked the other person unconscious. Without interruption, Jiang Yu continued questioning which guild they belonged to. Hearing the red-haired man say it was Andra's guild, Jiang Yu was somewhat surprised. He seemed to have quite a connection with this guild. And this time, the red-haired man also revealed that their demonic energy was transmitted by the guildmaster through ritual. Just as Jiang Yu asked what kind of ritual it was, before the red-haired man could speak, his body suddenly underwent a strange transformation. The next second he died on the spot. Seeing this scene, Jiang Yu understood that some kind of device must have been implanted in his body that would cause death if information about the ritual was leaked. Now Taishu slowly walked over, once again confirming if this was the Jiang Yu he had met before. Helplessly, Jiang Yu affirmed it, and just then the thief on the ground woke up. Taishu was delighted to see the thief Taihyun wake up, and quickly introduced him. This player named Jiang Yu saved us. Taishu was also curious why Jiang Yu had been in an E-level portal before. Not wanting people to know his power improvement speed was too fast, Jiang Yu explained he had certain business to handle previously. Hearing this, Taishu finally understood that the preparation he mentioned back then meant this. He had already assumed Jiang Yu was a high-level player, and Taishu happily expressed his gratitude. Without Jiang Yu, they would definitely have been killed by those two madmen. The thief nearby also thanked Jiang Yu. Taishu really hadn't expected today that Andra's guild would actually use these player killers, so he prepared to report this now and have the Flower Wolf unit handle it. This unfamiliar organization prompted Jiang Yu to ask questions. Taishu told him it was a regular force affiliated with the government. As long as they reported the information, they would immediately start investigating. Understanding the situation, Jiang Yu told Taishu not to report to the Flower Wolf unit yet, because he planned to personally handle Andra's guild. But this statement caused Taishu to misunderstand. Thinking Jiang Yu was going to uphold justice, he immediately said he wanted to go together. And since he owed Jiang Yu his life, he promised to be at his disposal from now on. Taishu felt Jiang Yu was the type of person who would personally handle evil deeds when he saw them. Moved by this, Taishu decided to follow while repaying his life debt. Taishu's self-delusion and inexplicable passion made Jiang Yu feel this guy was too much like Bale. Seeing Taishu's expression, the thief Taihyun nearby thanked Jiang Yu again, understanding he couldn't really help with anything. But he also promised to repay this favor in the future. Then Taihyun explained, because thieves aren't damage dealers or tanks, they're not very useful. Taishu then took it upon himself to suggest that if he wanted to repay the favor, he should join their team, which left Jiang Yu speechless, but knowing he was still a useless thief for now. Taihyun said he wanted to wait until he became stronger before helping Taishu and Jiang Yu, then bowed again and prepared to leave. It was fate after all, so Jiang Yu didn't discourage him. But now there was a new problem: how to handle Taishu. So he asked about Taishu's current level, and hearing Jiang Yu's question, Taishu didn't hide anything. He was currently level 12, and as for basic education, since his first awakening attribute was grade C, he chose to level up directly through hunting. What somewhat surprised Jiang Yu was that Taishu's second awakening was an A-grade attribute. Similarly, Jiang Yu didn't understand why someone with his talent should be able to enter any guild. To this, Taishu also said he had been considering which one would be suitable, but now he had decided he would follow brother Jiang Yu to the death from now on. Taishu's talent was indeed quite good, as second awakening players with high attribute grades had a high probability of obtaining even better attributes later. Considering that Shuya would soon undergo her second awakening, Jiang Yu agreed to cultivate Taishu in the future. Getting Jiang Yu's agreement, Taishu seemed extremely happy. After being excited for a while, he wanted to exchange phone numbers with Jiang Yu, promising to be available whenever called. Coincidentally, Jiang Yu now had something to ask of him. Then he gave Taishu Shuya's number, wanting him to team up with Shuya for leveling after her basic courses ended. After learning Shuya was a healer, Taishu readily accepted, as healers were actually teammates he desperately wanted. There was still one more thing to handle. So Jiang Yu woke up the man he had knocked away earlier. Now he had questions and wanted the man to cooperate properly. Seeing this, the man nodded repeatedly in agreement. Jiang Yu first asked the man's name. He honestly revealed his name was Zhang Chil-ho. But when Jiang Yu wanted to know what bringing back survivors meant, Zhang Chil-ho chose to say he didn't know. But his choice was undoubtedly wrong, as it earned him a beating from the Demon Lord. Feeling the killing intent, Zhang Chil-ho quickly spoke up, revealing that their purpose for capturing alive was to use those players as sacrificial offerings. Jiang Yu hadn't expected Andra's guild to be such a crazy organization. It seemed Han Tae-hyun's attempt to capture Shuya before was also for sacrifice. Then he thought of a good idea. So he told Zhang Chil-ho with a sinister smile, "There's something I'd like your help with." After some time passed, Zhang Chil-ho left the portal and walked to an alley. Walking in for a short while, a patrolling person ahead discovered him, also an Andras guild member. Seeing Zhang Chil-ho return alone with his face covered in blood, the man was curious what had happened. Hearing this, Zhang Chil-ho said his partner Tai-ho, who went to capture sacrificial offerings, was dead, then told the man to quickly take the offerings back. He also explained that they unexpectedly encountered a high-level player in the portal. Taeho had held off the opponent so he could bring the offerings back. And opening the box to find the offerings still breathing, the man stopped asking questions. He didn't care about Taeho's death. He even told Jang Cheol-ho this was good news, since with one less person, he could monopolize this baptism's demonic energy. But seeing Jang Cheol-ho strangely turn his head away, the man suddenly said, "Don't tell me you killed Taeho to monopolize the demonic energy?" Hearing this, Jang Cheol-ho appeared very angry. Then he strode away from the alley, saying he wouldn't participate in the ritual. The man thought he had guessed correctly and was embarrassed into anger. But he didn't know that Jang Cheol-ho was desperately trying to escape because he didn't want to encounter the hellish demon lord again. Soon the man brought the box into a room. Reporting Taeho's death, Andras's leader only cared about the sacrifice. To this, the man quickly said the sacrifice was in the box, and seeing this, the leader above told him to bring it over, as time was running short. Soon after, the leader prepared to place Jung Yu on the altar. Then everyone chanted, "Please grant us your authority, great Lord Andras." But in the leader's heart, he was extremely proud. He had been receiving teachings for over a year, and his devoted followers kept growing. After positioning Jung Yu's body properly, the leader had everyone begin the ritual. As countless magic stones were opened, he asked who should receive baptism today, but someone reported that Jang Cheol-ho had given up participating in the ritual. Learning this news, the people present discussed among themselves, all wanting to receive baptism. But at this moment, the leader told them that to receive baptism, they had to find sacrifices and magic stones. People who didn't work had no right to receive baptism. And without his teachings, no one could access this opportunity to become stronger. So the leader decided that the ownerless sacrifice would belong to him. Then he announced the ritual's beginning. As the magic stones' power began to activate, a crack appeared right in front of the altar, and Andras's leader was going to absorb the demonic energy emerging from it. The taste of demonic energy fascinated him immensely, and though he wanted to absorb it into his body right now. Since demonic energy was too dangerous for the body to handle, sacrifices were needed as filtering mediums. Only after the sacrifice absorbed the demonic energy could he obtain the refined demonic energy. What surprised the leader was that this guy could really hold on. After all, ordinary players would die immediately after absorbing a little demonic energy. But the longer he could persist, the better it was for the leader, as he could get more demonic energy later. As time passed, the leader became increasingly excited, because Jang Yu had absorbed more than 10 times the demonic energy of previous sacrifices, and it was still rising. Even when it reached 50 times, Jang Yu still hadn't stopped absorbing demonic energy. Discovering the altar was showing signs of cracking, the leader frantically wanted Jang Yu to stop. But the next second, all the magic stones were consumed, and the created crack instantly disappeared. The leader collapsed on the ground in disbelief. Jang Yu sat up comfortably. This absorption had increased his demonic energy by a full 20 points. Then Jang Yu happily asked the leader, "Could you give me a few more similar rituals? Even just one more would be fine." The altar's changes left everyone confused about what was happening, but the furious leader had already charged at Jang Yu. After easily dodging his attack, Jang Yu even praised his decent skills. Seeing this, the leader summoned many fireballs, then threw them all at Jang Yu. But to his surprise, all the fireballs were deflected. Feeling Jang Yu's power, the leader was shocked to discover it was also demonic energy. What Jang Yu had just used was iron arm force. The feeling of abundant demonic energy made him very comfortable. Using authorities was also more convenient. Understanding he couldn't handle this alone, Andras's leader quickly had the others attack together, but these small fries couldn't even take one of Jang Yu's moves. After consecutively defeating a group of people, they still insisted on believing the leader could kill Jang Yu. And from their words he learned this leader was called Zhao Dexian. At this moment he seemed very excited, because his strongest killing move was complete. This was Zhao Dexian's life-burning hellfire force. Feeling that familiar power, even the demon lord couldn't help but turn and cover his mouth, secretly laughing. Thinking victory was assured, Zhao Dexian also said his authority was invincible. But soon he saw an unforgettable scene, because Jang Yu also unleashed hellfire force. In comparison, what Zhao Dexian held was like a tiny firefly. Seeing those blazing flames, his psychological defenses instantly collapsed. Things shouldn't have developed this way, but that stinging heat on his skin instantly brought Zhao Dexian back to reality. He finally confirmed that no matter what, he could never defeat the enemy before him. So Zhao Dexian put away the hellfire in his palm. To everyone's surprise, he actually knelt before Jang Yu the next second. Even Jang Yu himself didn't understand. Then Zhao Dexian shouted that he was the incarnation of the great Lord Andras. This statement left Jang Yu dumbfounded. As for Zhao Dexian, he became increasingly devout, saying everyone had been waiting for his arrival. He even dramatically claimed Jang Yu was the king who would lead them, and demanded other members quickly kneel and kowtow. Seeing this, Jang Yu finally understood. This guy was so afraid of death. From how Zhao Dexian could instantly change his attitude, Jang Yu decided to play along, using Sky Force to add some presence. Jang Yu also acknowledged he was Andras, the Flame King who controls Hellfire, and also the king of all demons who rules all demons, while Zhao Dexian frantically kowtowed. After successfully fooling the other members, Jang Yu had them step back. He had something to discuss privately with Zhao Dexian. After the other members left, Jiang Yu began questioning Zhao Dexian. But hearing this guy still calling him the Great Andras, Jiang Yu told him to stop the pretense. Hearing this, Zhao Dexian understood his clumsy acting had been exposed. So he asked Jiang Yu who he really was. But for such trash, the Demon Lord had no mood to answer his questions. He just needed to answer whatever was asked. Jiang Yu wanted to know how their ritual worked and where they learned to use magic stones to create cracks. Zhao Dexian didn't hide it, saying he learned this when receiving teachings. It turned out that a year ago, a man wearing a demon mask found him, telling Zhao Dexian he could gain eternal life by making a deal. But the price was first joining the demon cult, and Jiang Yu didn't understand why Zhao Dexian would agree without knowing anything. But Zhao Dexian said he had no choice, because the masked man had instantly subdued everyone in the guild. To survive, Zhao Dexian helplessly accepted the teachings. Jiang Yu also wanted to know the masked man's whereabouts, but Zhao Dexian didn't know either, as the masked man usually gave orders through letters, and now Jiang Yu roughly understood. Although Zhao Dexian was initially coerced, after tasting the sweetness of demonic energy, he actively began conducting rituals himself. What he thought was just a minor incident has now led to the demon cult, making Jiang Yu quite curious. After all, anyone who can master methods to connect with hell is definitely not a simple evil organization. Next, Jiang Yu wanted to examine the letter written by the masked man. Surprisingly, the masked man had only written one letter in total. The content wasn't particularly noteworthy. It simply instructed Zhao Dexian to absorb the demonic artifact and become a demon. It also mentioned expanding his player team and ultimately turning Earth into hell, all to welcome the arrival of the evil god. Jiang Yu wondered if there were others who had also received such teachings. Although Zhao Dexian hadn't met anyone else, Jiang Yu understood that the demon cult couldn't possibly have just one person executing their plans, especially such an ambitious expansion scheme. After learning enough about the situation, Jiang Yu immediately used his fear power on Zhao Dexian. He then gave 3 orders: first, to investigate the demon cult; second, no more rituals were to be performed; the third was that today's events must never be disclosed to anyone. After issuing these commands, Jiang Yu sent Zhao Dexian away. However, Andras had been using players as sacrifices for quite some time now. Jiang Yu figured this had probably already caught the authorities' attention, so conducting an investigation should yield relevant clues. After using him, if he becomes troublesome, killing Zhao Dexian later would also be an option. Today had been incredibly eventful for Jiang Yu, so he decided to go home and rest properly. Soon after, Jiang Yu returned home. Seeing him finally back, Shuya was extremely excited. Because Jiang Yu had been gone too long and hadn't answered any messages or phone calls, Shuya was worried he might have encountered danger. The feeling of being cared for made the Demon Lord quite content. He immediately told Shuya that he would definitely contact her in advance next time. Just then, Shuya was about to start cooking and asked Jiang Yu what he wanted to eat. He answered without hesitation, kimchi soup. Having anticipated this, Shuya mentioned that she had bought meat for kimchi soup when she came home today. This moved Jiang Yu to tears. He was so grateful that Shuya made dinner for him every day. Putting on her apron, Shuya told Jiang Yu that she had actually gone hunting today and successfully achieved her second awakening. Now she could earn money to pay Jiang Yu back. Jiang Yu was quite surprised. What amazed him even more was when Shuya said that during her second awakening, she had gained a B-rank attribute called Light's Blessing. Hearing this, Jiang Yu suddenly looked forward to the team of Shuya and Taishu. With a high-level healer and tank, they would definitely become very strong in the future. So Jiang Yu curiously asked if Shuya had received any guild invitations. Although she had received enthusiastic welcomes from many guilds, Shuya actually didn't want to join any, because what she really wanted was to be able to help Jiang Yu, even just a little. Even though Shuya now had high-level attributes, Jiang Yu still told her that she wasn't quite suitable to act together with him yet. To be precise, the current Shuya couldn't really help much. His words made Shuya somewhat disappointed, but that was the reality. Perhaps Shuya could help in the future, but right now her level was relatively high. If they teamed up together, neither experience points nor actual combat experience could be properly accumulated. To grow better, Jiang Yu believed she must team up with people at a similar level to Shuya. Then he told Shuya that today he had met a tank player with an A-rank attribute. You can team up with him first, and after your level improves and you have enough combat experience, then come team up with me to tackle high-level portals. Hearing this, Shuya understood Jiang Yu's thinking and agreed to follow his advice, teaming up with that tank player first. Jiang Yu also assured Shuya that he would provide necessary help. Just as Jiang Yu was thinking about when to have them go level up, Shuya had finished cooking the kimchi soup while chatting. Seeing this, Jiang Yu immediately prepared to dig in, but Han Shuya told him to wait a moment. She then added instant noodles to the pot. Looking at the food glowing with golden light, Jiang Yu became even more displeased with the demon cult. Thinking about how they wanted to turn Earth into hell, Jiang Yu immediately made up his mind. He would protect both kimchi soup and Earth. The next day, he went alone to the player management office in S City. Today, Zhang Yu was here to apply for a C-rank player certificate, but since C-rank and above required identification devices, it couldn't be issued immediately. At the latest, it would be delivered to the registered address tomorrow. Although he had heard from Shuya that applying for a C-rank player certificate takes a day, he was still somewhat impatient. After walking out of the management office doors, Wu Zhangyu suddenly remembered that he hadn't properly rested since returning to Earth. Since he couldn't do anything about the demon cult right now, he decided to take this opportunity to rest properly. But what to do to relax? Zhang Yu couldn't think of any good ideas for the moment. Before falling into hell, he could be said to have had nothing, with only novels and manga to pass the time as entertainment. But now Zhang Yu didn't want to be the same as before. After 10,000 years had passed, if he still didn't change, wouldn't all the hardships of returning to Earth be wasted? He wanted to experience everything he had missed out on before. Soon, Wu Zhangyu spotted an internet cafe by the roadside. Only after sitting in the gaming chair did he realize this was what an internet cafe was like. What surprised Zhang Yu even more was that you could actually order food on the screen. He immediately ordered a bowl of instant noodles without hesitation. Next was playing games. Zhang Yu chose the most popular one. After entering the game, he thought carefully, and selected a hero whose description seemed suitable for him. As the game's starting sound played, Zhang Yu felt it was indeed quite good. He killed a minion and got gold coins. But his behavior made his teammates frantically spam question marks. Just as his teammates were warning Zhang Yu not to kill minions, the staff brought over the instant noodles. Zhang Yu then began happily going AFK to eat, but he didn't notice that his teammates were desperately begging him to come back. Watching Zhang Yu continuously AFK, the players finally exploded in anger. But you can never imagine what your teammate is actually doing. For instance, Zhang Yu was now comfortably eating a bite of pickled radish. After eating, he didn't forget to take a sip of carbonated drink. When his attention returned to the game, Wu Zhangyu found that his character had died. Suddenly, someone in the internet cafe angrily shouted. Turns out her promotion match had encountered someone going AFK. Startled by the voice, Zhang Yu just turned around and saw the person who had been shouting. The girl who lost her promotion match was somewhat irritated. In a bad mood, she told Zhang Yu not to mess with her. But the next second, the girl noticed Zhang Yu's screen. She never expected the world to be so small, and she also understood the reason for her teammates' AFK behavior. He was actually eating instant noodles, which left the girl completely speechless. She then told Zhang Yu to get up and talk properly. But Zhang Yu didn't understand what was happening, and asked the girl what was wrong. Upon hearing this, she immediately couldn't tolerate it, and prepared to teach Wu Zhangyu a lesson, but her attack was easily dodged. The girl was quite surprised for a moment. As for Zhang Yu, he was puzzled about why she was looking for trouble with him, and advised her not to take her anger out on innocent people. At this point, Wu Zhangyu still hadn't realized the girl was his teammate from the game, but right after he finished speaking, she attacked Zhang Yu again. Only then did he sense something was wrong. The person in front of him was serious, so Wu Zhangyu also began to take it seriously. They continued like this, one attacking and one dodging, and the girl's attacks became increasingly forceful. After her final move was dodged, the girl stopped. She felt incredulous and was curious about who Zhang Yu really was. Could he be someone sent by the Mill Guild? Zhang Yu remembered this name. It was one of the 5 major domestic guilds. He then told the girl that he hadn't joined any guild, but she thought Zhang Yu was pretending, since someone with this level of skill couldn't possibly not be in a guild. Zhang Yu asked her in return which guild she belonged to. Hearing this, the girl was proudly about to speak. But she suddenly remembered that the personnel chief had specifically instructed not to publicize it widely, so she decided to calm down first. But as soon as she turned around, her anger flared up again because Zhang Yu had already taken the opportunity to go pay his bill. After being discovered, Wu Zhangyu looked completely exasperated. The girl questioned him again, saying she had never heard of any ranked player who didn't join a guild. Having no choice, Zhang Yu handed over his player certificate, looking at the D-rank player written on it. The girl really hadn't expected that Zhang Yu was actually a novice, but those moves just now shouldn't have been possible for a D-rank player to perform. While the girl was thinking, Zhang Yu had already pushed the door and left. The girl had wanted to stop him, but after having a suspicion, she decided to find someone to investigate first. Soon, Zhang Yu walked out of the internet cafe doors. The reason he left so quickly was that the girl just now was too remarkable. Even though he had lost all his previous power, this didn't mean his 10,000 years of accumulated combat instincts had disappeared. Zhang Yu hadn't expected that a randomly encountered player could actually keep up with his movements, especially that last move. It was so fast that Zhang Yu almost didn't see it clearly. He understood that her background must be significant. Just then, Wu Zhangyu suddenly noticed something wrong with his clothes. Meanwhile, the girl in the internet cafe came to an outside corner and immediately called someone from the guild, asking them to transfer her to Personnel Chief Park Seon-yu. As for the girl's identity, she was none other than Che Yanzu, the president of Red Rose, one of the 5 major guilds. After the call connected, Che Yanzu asked Seon-yu to investigate an important person. Hearing this, he was curious about someone important enough for him to personally handle. Could it be investigating a demon cult believer? Che Yanzu wasn't sure about this either. In any case, she thought Zhang Yu was very suspicious and wanted him to verify the person's player certificate. Hearing the president mention it was a D-rank player certificate, Park Seon-yu said this was indeed easier to forge than C-rank and above, since D-rank certificates don't have identification devices installed. But a believer of this level, Seonyu thought, might just be small fry who had been killing novice players. However, Cheonju told him that the person wasn't a small-time player. His strength was formidable, even able to see through her movements. Upon hearing this, Park Seon-yu was dumbfounded, because even if his president wasn't using full power, there currently wasn't anyone in the demon cult who could handle Cheonju's movements. As Seon-yu said, Cheonju had been investigating the demon cult for a long time, but indeed hadn't encountered a single player who could match her. But the guy just now had this kind of skill. Park Seon-yu understood that the person was very likely a demon cult executive or leader. Cheonju had precisely considered this point when asking him to personally investigate. After hanging up, Cheonju was still reminiscing about the earlier exchange. Regardless of whether he was from the demon cult, she was now certain of one thing. On the other side, Jang Yu discovered that one of his buttons had been torn off, so he hadn't defended against that final move after all. Both of them felt rather gloomy for a moment. They understood from the recent exchange that the other party was definitely stronger than themselves. However, their perspectives differed slightly. Cheonju thought that if Jang Yu really was a D-rank player, and his skills were just natural talent, then perhaps she truly couldn't match him. Wu Jiangyu had originally wanted to relax today, but encountering such a high-level player instantly killed his mood. To prepare for similar strong enemies, he had to become stronger quickly. Soon after, Cheonju returned to her seat. She also had no mood to play games anymore. But looking at the screen, Cheonju's anger rose again, because her rank had dropped to bronze. She then viciously swore to tear Wu Jiangyu, that troublemaker, into pieces. Of course, Jiangyu, who had walked far away, didn't know this. He just suddenly felt a chill down his back. By the next day, Jang Yu successfully obtained his C rank certificate. Soon he arrived at the new portal. He had checked on his phone yesterday that cave giants appeared here. Just as Jang Yu wanted to quickly go hunting, the guard personnel stopped him, saying that today's C rank players must form 5-person teams to enter. The reason was that officials had detected the appearance of a cave giant chief inside, so during the period when boss monsters appeared, solo hunting was prohibited. This news actually delighted Wu Jiangyu. He hadn't expected to encounter a high-level monster right after getting his C-rank player certificate. Other players also learned of this news, and many teams immediately prepared to disband, since giant chiefs weren't something ordinary players could handle. After looking around the area, Jang Yu also noticed that the atmosphere here was different from C-rank and below portals. Not only were the players' equipment excellent, but the guards' inspections were also very strict. This was precisely the biggest obstacle. If he wanted to monopolize experience, he had to hunt solo. Although many people feared high-level monsters, there were also those who wanted to hunt the giant chief. Others were conflicted, wanting to enter but lacking confidence in their abilities. Outside the entire C-rank portal, Jang Yu could sense many emotions: anxiety and fear, as well as anticipation and hesitation. Soon, Jang Yu thought of a good method. He planned to add a bit of anger to the current atmosphere. For ordinary people, there was no need to invest as much as when dealing with a hobgoblin last time. He just needed to slightly add some anger to those who were afraid. Then this anger would spread like a virus. The first man to be affected suddenly changed from initial fear to unusual anger. He felt everyone was living too oppressively, just like his former self, being bullied by thugs every day, only able to fantasize about taking revenge on them over and over. Until the portals appeared, the man thought he had finally realized his wish and no longer had to be slaughtered like a weakling. But now the man was extremely angry. He didn't understand why he would become so fearful because of a mere monster. Seeing this, the man's companions didn't understand what was happening. But the next second, he also became unusually angry, then shouted that there was no need to be so timid. They should just go kill all the monsters. Then wave after wave of people had their anger ignited. Among them, some had family members killed by monsters, while others had lost their normal lives because of monsters. Soon after, everyone present seemed to go mad, each one clamoring to enter and crusade against the cave giants. The guards felt very confused seeing this. The players in front of them seemed very strange. Soon players rushed forward, demanding that the guards open the portal. The rest also surged forward. Due to the players being too frenzied, the guards had no choice, and immediately called for reinforcements, asking them to confirm the situation with the player congestion. Meanwhile, Jang Yu took advantage of the chaos to jump behind the sealed gate. Everyone's united appearance made him feel great. However, the portal's rewards would fall into his hands first. Entering it, Jang Yu marveled at how large it was. Unlike the previous jungle swamp, this was actually a vast desert. Facing this boundless desert, finding the boss wouldn't be easy. Wu Jiangyu prepared to use sky power, but he suddenly remembered that his demonic energy had increased significantly. Opening the window to check, he currently had a full 53 points. So Jang Yu decided to try a different authority. Quickly reaching a higher earthen peak, Wu Jiangyu used Astaroth's observation power. After activating it, he could sense the monsters in this vicinity. A large amount of information flooded into his mind, making Jang Yu somewhat uncomfortable. But this authority indeed didn't disappoint him. Soon, Wu Jiangyu found the cave giant chief. However, there were too many minions around it. Jiang Yu didn't want to be surrounded. Fortunately, he noticed that the players had also entered. As long as he could make good use of them, once these people cleared out the minions, he could go kill the boss himself. Zhang Yu then set off toward the giant chief's location. Next, he planned to lure the cave giants to encounter the players. After deciding this, Wu Zhangyu began gathering all his demonic energy. Soon, a spear made of pure demonic energy slowly appeared. Zhang Yu wanted to use the spear to attack the giant, then draw aggro and encounter the players. When the charging was complete, he decisively threw it out. This spear was aimed at the giant chief. But what Wu Zhangyu hadn't expected was that after the spear hit, the status window popped up with kill information. Zhang Yu, who had gained 4 levels, was dumbfounded. He hadn't expected the B-rank giant chief to be so vulnerable. This made Wu Zhangyu suspect whether the guy he killed was really a boss monster. If not for the status window, he would never have believed that a C-rank portal's boss monster could be this weak. But Zhang Yu soon understood. It wasn't that the monster was too weak, it was just that he had become stronger than he had imagined. Originally, he had wanted to hunt as safely as possible, but it seemed he had been overly cautious. Next, Zhang Yu jumped in front of the remaining cave giants. Now the demon lord was going to change his plan. Seeing an enemy appear, the monsters instantly swarmed toward him, and Wu Zhangyu had already decided to quickly take them all down in one go. As the demon lord's blade swept out, the cave giants seemed to freeze in place. Wounds appeared on all their bodies. The next second, countless blades instantly burst from within the giants' bodies. As for the demon lord, he was enjoying the taste of blood and the monsters' dying screams. Since his demonic energy had increased, Zhang Yu could now use blade power at will, activating blade attacks inside enemies' bodies. The scene was simply beautiful. After clearing out a large number of cave giants, Wu Zhangyu gained 2 levels, and the window also indicated he had obtained the A-rank skill essence of blades. Attributes defined as skills could be used more concisely and flexibly in the future. Seeing this, Zhang Yu was somewhat impatient. He wanted to test it thoroughly on the remaining giants. After condensing demonic energy into liquid drops, the ground immediately rippled with waves. Then, centered on Zhang Yu, it quickly spread outward in all directions. The uneasy monsters desperately tried to flee, but sharp blades grew from the ripples on the ground. In just the blink of an eye, all the remaining cave giants in this area were slaughtered. After transforming into a skill, Blade Power's killing efficiency had indeed increased considerably. Next, the Demon Lord began devouring the monster corpses and magic stones. But surprisingly, it only increased his demonic energy by 2 points. Zhang Yu guessed that as demonic energy values got higher, the difficulty of increasing them gradually rose. Fortunately, leveling speed hadn't changed much. He was now just 4 levels away from achieving his 4th awakening. So Wu Zhangyu resumed his hunting journey. After some time, the players who had entered were all confused. They had originally decided to have a big battle, but couldn't find the boss monster at all, and could barely see any cave giants. The monsters they encountered along the way were all just focused on fleeing, even when they saw some suspicious traces. Without corpses, they couldn't confirm the situation. Everyone concluded that the official information was wrong, and they had miscalculated the monster's appearance time. The helpless players began returning, also preparing to pursue this matter. The slaughter finished, Zhang Yu quietly followed behind. After the players went out, they all angrily questioned the guards. If they had known there were no monsters today, they wouldn't have come to waste time at this portal. The current situation satisfied Zhang Yu. Once the scene became chaotic, he could quietly leave. But things didn't go as planned. After coming out, the players were blocked by the Flower Wolf unit. Those who had wanted to pursue responsibility all quieted down. They figured someone must have killed novice players. Otherwise, why would so many official personnel appear? Just as everyone was discussing among themselves, a woman's appearance attracted everyone's attention. Many players recognized her. She was none other than Bai Am, the 3rd Corps commander of the Flower Wolf unit. Walking slowly to the front, Bai Am told everyone to be quiet. Under her presence, the scene fell completely silent within seconds. Bai Am also explained her purpose. Recently, they had received reports of player killings at C-rank portals, with the victims all being players who had undergone 3 awakenings. Therefore, the Flower Wolf unit would conduct random surprise inspections at portals. Her words again sparked discussion among everyone. Wu Zhangyu was somewhat worried. He feared that this inspection would reveal what he had just done. Combined with the previous D-rank portal incident, he mistakenly thought the Flower Wolf unit had discovered clues and was here for him. But trying to escape now was obviously unrealistic. Especially with that woman called Bai Am. Zhang Yu immediately sensed she wouldn't be easy to fool. Just as he was thinking about how to get through the inspection, he heard Bai Am asking if he had lost his player certificate. Only then did Zhang Yu react and quickly handed over his certificate. Looking at Bai Am's expression, Wu Zhangyu realized he had been overthinking. However, the Flower Wolf unit's arrival proved that other player killers had appeared. So Zhang Yu took the opportunity to probe, praising Bai Am's impressive personal action, and also asking if there had been many player killers recently. Bai Am also answered yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't be conducting these surprise inspections today. After Wu Zhangyu's inspection was completed and found to be fine, Bai Am called the next person. As for Zhang Yu, he suddenly spoke up. He wanted to know who the player killers the Flower Wolf unit was pursuing were. As a player, if he discovered suspicious individuals, he could report them promptly. Upon hearing this, Bai Am was somewhat surprised, but she still smiled and declined, saying they should handle such matters. After all, protecting players was the Flower Wolf unit's duty. She also kindly reminded him, that Jiangyu seemed to have reached C rank yesterday, so she suggested he could go to D rank portals first to level up, as that would be safer when coming to high-level portals later. She sighed, saying it would be great if there were more players like him. Hearing this, Jiangyu could only pretend to thank MANHWA for her praise. Actually, if there were more guys like himself, the situation would probably be even more severe. Today's surprise investigation should have been secret, but it was easy to guess that the authorities were investigating demon cult believers. After completing his inspection, Jiangyu called Taishu and invited him to meet in a few days. Time passed quickly, and soon it was the appointed day. Today, Jiangyu came to have Shuya and Taishu formally meet. As for the purpose, he explained again that he hoped Taishu could take Shuya to hunt at D-rank portals. Taishu readily agreed to this. Having a healer with B-rank attributes was his honor. He then asked in detail whether sister-in-law's attribute was only healing. Hearing him call her that made Shuya very shy, but she still introduced herself, saying her light's blessing could not only heal but also increase strength, stamina, and speed. It was essentially a buff skill, and she could also launch some attacks. Shuya's attributes shocked Taishu greatly. A healer who could buff teammates while restraining enemies. He said even Universe, one of the 5 major guilds, would immediately invite sister-in-law to join. But what made Jiangyu happiest was that Shuya didn't refuse the sister-in-law title. The three continued chatting for a while. Wu Jiangyu wanted to know if Taishu had found candidates for DPS positions. Hearing this, Taishu was quite proud because he had found 2 more. They were both people Taishu had met during his novice period and were completely trustworthy. He also suggested that if Jiangyu agreed, he could introduce the other 2 to him before they set out tomorrow. Jiangyu agreed to Taishu's proposal. Shuya also had no problems. She wanted to work hard to level up and strive to act together with Jiangyu as soon as possible. Seeing this, the Demon Lord responded gently that taking it slow was fine. Her safety was the most important thing. For tomorrow's meeting location, Taishu chose the distant eastern village. The reason was that the recent Lizardman portal had problems, so it was temporarily changed to Eastern Village's D-rank portal. The monsters inside were cave giants that Jiangyu had hunted before. Taishu said they were stronger than lizardmen and could help the team grow better. The key was that the environment wasn't a jungle swamp, making hunting much more convenient. Having resolved their team formation, Jiangyu said he'd see them tomorrow and got up to leave. Taishu was curious about what he was going to do. Wu Jiangyu told him he was going to continue leveling up. After these past days of frantic hunting at C-rank portals, the Demon Lord had currently reached level 29. Just one more level, and he could achieve his 4th awakening. Entering the portal again, Jiangyu decisively activated observation power. Soon after discovering a group of giants, he quickly rushed to the destination. Then he lightly swung his blade once more. The foolish cave giants hadn't even noticed the enemy, when they all turned into corpses the next second. But it still wasn't enough for Jiangyu to complete his level up. While continuing to search for targets, he smelled the scent of human blood. So Jiangyu went directly to investigate the source. From the intensity of the smell, he guessed at least 5 or 6 people had been killed. This made him suspect he had encountered a player killer. But after finding the dead players, Jiangyu dismissed this guess, since the demon cult needed living sacrifices. From the blood traces on the ground, he felt the killer should be nearby. But when Jiangyu turned around, the situation in front of him startled him. Because a hellhound, a demon belonging to the first hell, was now right in front of Jiangyu, and it was the killer of those players. After discovering Wu Jiangyu, the hellhound immediately lunged to bite him. Although he was very surprised, Jiangyu still reacted in time, and quickly dodged the attack while testing it with blade power. The result was as he had expected. Its exterior was incredibly hard. It seemed to really be a genuine hellhound. The demon jumped behind Wu Jiangyu and instantly opened its massive jaws. The next second, a huge hellfire ball slammed toward Jiangyu. The moment of contact caused a violent explosion, but this didn't harm the Demon Lord in the slightest. Knowing that blades had no effect on it, Wu Jiangyu's demonic artifact began rapidly concentrating. Soon, a demonic artifact spear appeared once again. This time he also added extreme darkness power. After spinning several times in the air, Jiangyu threw the spear downward. Faced with such tremendous penetrating force, the hellhound inevitably got injured, and couldn't bear the impact, falling into the desert. The Demon Lord thought he had successfully killed it, but he was still thinking too optimistically. The hellhound's defense was ridiculously high. Watching the demon charge at him again, Jiangyu deliberately created an opening. Seeing this, the hellhound indeed took the bait and bit down. Then the Demon Lord used the force to land on the ground. Just as the demon's jaws were about to clamp down, Wu Jiangyu unleashed Earth Collapse power. As the ground thunderously cracked, the hound also lost its point of balance. This was the perfect opportunity. Jiangyu once again condensed the demonic energy from his body. This spear he aimed at the hellhound's head. Under the Demon Lord's full power strike, the already collapsed ground sank down once more, until a deep pit appeared in the desert. Unfortunately, the spear failed to penetrate the demon's head. The hellhound still managed to counterattack and sent Jiangyu flying. Wu Jiangyu really hadn't expected that after being beaten up like this, it could still stand up. In the end, his current self was still too weak, with far insufficient attack power, and the hellhound's durability was just as formidable as before. At this moment, the demon in front began to change. Seeing this, Jiang Yu understood that the Hellhound's strongest state was about to emerge. In just the blink of an eye, the Hellhound's entire body was covered in blazing flames. Its strongest attack also instantly rushed toward the Demon Lord. Jiang Yu then held nothing back either. The next second, he entered the charging state of the Demon Baphomet. After successfully blocking the attack, the Demon Lord came barehanded to face the Hellhound directly. This punch was so fast that the opponent had no time to dodge, and its power was so tremendous that it sent the demon flying. The Hellhound could no longer support itself and let out a mournful cry, crashing heavily into the desert and causing another huge commotion. At this point, Jiang Yu had to admit the Hellhound was quite troublesome, because it actually stood up again. If only he had sufficient demonic energy to use two authorities simultaneously. Fortunately, when he fell into hell, Jiang Yu had often dealt with these creatures, so even though his strength hadn't recovered, it was enough to kill the Hellhound. Just as the Demon Lord was preparing to continue attacking, the Hellhound completely collapsed. It had only been a final struggle before death. When he killed this demon, the status window notification said he had successfully defeated a C-rank rift fragment, which puzzled Wu Jiangyu greatly, and the experience gained made him level up 5 times, successfully achieving his 4th awakening. This time, Jiang Yu obtained an A-rank attribute called Demonic Energy Dominator, which allowed him to use and completely hide demonic energy faster and more naturally. Speaking of the word rift, Jiang Yu remembered hearing about rift cores before. Could it be that Hell was now called the Rift? Most importantly, how had the Hellhound come to Earth? It couldn't possibly know how to use the Great Dukes as weapons. After thinking for a long time without a clue, Jiang Yu simply stopped pondering and hurried to check the status window notifications. He hadn't confirmed any of the messages that had just popped up. Seeing that he had reached 4th awakening and gained a new attribute, and that this attribute was quite good for him, he wouldn't get into unnecessary trouble in the future. After a great battle, it was time for the Demon Lord's feeding. Feeling the loosening of the seal, Jiang Yu became increasingly excited. At this rate, when the Demon Palace's seal was completely lifted, he could become even stronger than when he was in hell. Today's hunt was over, and Jiang Yu walked out of the portal. Just as he was thinking about going home for a bowl of kimchi soup, someone suddenly called out to Jiang Yu. Turning around, he discovered it was the girl from before. Che Yanzu said coolly that it had been a long time. After returning that day, Jiang Yu also realized that the girl was his teammate in the game. But the Demon Lord didn't think their relationship was good enough for casual greetings. And besides, Jiang Yu said he didn't even know her name. Hearing this, Che Yanzu promptly introduced herself. After hearing her name Che Yanzu, Jiang Yu also remembered this name. There are 5 major guilds in the country. They are Mill and Great Emperor, as well as Angel Wing and Universe. The last one is Red Rose, and Red Rose's S-rank master is Che Yanzu. Now Jiang Yu understood why she was so powerful, and then asked if she was looking for him for something. Che Yanzu stated that she had investigated Jiang Yu. Born in 1995, now 28 years old, lived in an orphanage since childhood, and was never adopted. After leaving the orphanage, he lived alone, but mysteriously disappeared for 5 years, only appearing this year to register as a player. Jiang Yu didn't deny this information, but he wanted to know why she investigated him. But Che Yanzu continued talking about Jiang Yu's experiences on her own. She also mentioned that the initial test at the player management office was wrong, because it was impossible for Jiang Yu to be rated only F rank and then improve to C rank in just a few weeks. Initially, Che Yanzu also suspected that Wu Jiangyu's identity was fake, but through investigation, Jiang Yu's face and fingerprints were the same as before. Mentioning fingerprints surprised Jiang Yu a bit, not understanding how she obtained them. Che Yanzu didn't hide this. After all, there's a fingerprint step when registering for a player certificate. Now Jiang Yu was even more shocked. It seemed the major guild's authority exceeded his imagination. Next, Che Yanzu finally got to the point. From the known information, she believed Jiang Yu was indeed a gifted player, perhaps even more talented than herself. After hearing all this, Wu Jiangyu wanted to know what she really wanted to do. After a moment of silence, Che Yanzu revealed her purpose. She wanted to use Red Rose Guild Master's authority to sponsor Wu Jiangyu. This novel proposition surprised Jiang Yu somewhat. He thought she was going to ask him to join Red Rose. Che Yanzu explained that she didn't think someone who used F rank as a cover to deliberately hide their strength would directly join a guild. But what Che Yanzu didn't know was that Jiang Yu really hadn't concealed anything on this point. In any case, Che Yanzu felt that Jiang Yu would definitely become very strong in the future, so she wanted to sponsor him. Hearing Jiang Yu ask how specifically she would do this, Che Yanzu also provided a plan. First, she would give Jiang Yu permission to ignore level restrictions and freely enter and exit a rank and below portals. Wu Jiangyu didn't expect the first condition to be so attractive. As for Che Yanzu, she continued, saying that if Jiang Yu needed to form a team, she could select suitable members from the guild to support him according to his needs. Magic stones sold at Red Rose could also get tax exemptions. This benefit was so good that even the Demon King found it hard to believe. But it wasn't over yet. Che Yanzu said the guild's equipment could also be lent to Jiang Yu, though rare grade and above would require a deposit. Red Rose could also provide housing and cars. The treatment was so good that Jiang Yu began to doubt it was true. Che Yanzu thought it was nothing special. She was investing in the future. Of course, these benefits weren't given for free. She hoped Jiang Yu would accept some guild commissions as much as possible. As for the specific commission content, she couldn't reveal it yet, so Jiang Yu didn't press further. If it turned out to be some ridiculous commission later, he could refuse. So he told Che Yanzu he was willing to accept Red Rose's investment. Seeing this, Che Yanzu also smiled. For Jiang Yu, this was a good opportunity. Not only could he establish connections with a major guild, he could also gain powerful support from it. He couldn't think of any reason to refuse Che Yanzu. Just after Jiang Yu agreed to accept Red Rose's sponsorship, Che Yanzu praised his wise choice, while Jiang Yu began asking about specific commission tasks, but Che Yanzu said to wait till the time was right. Besides, with Jiang Yu's current ability, she didn't think he could handle that matter at all. At these words, the Demon King reminded Che Yanzu, "I might be much stronger than you imagine." Hearing this, Che Yanzu was first stunned, then said she understood but inwardly felt Jiang Yu was quite arrogant. But her current reluctance to explain the commission wasn't entirely due to strength considerations. The key issue was that evidence hadn't been fully collected. Before grasping solid evidence, Che Yanzu couldn't easily reveal related matters. Seeing this, Jiang Yu also understood the situation. They'd see when the time came. At this point, Che Yanzu asked him to input his phone number first. After inputting the number, Jiang Yu wanted to know when he could get equipment. Che Yanzu said coolly, anytime, considering that to save demonic energy, equipment was essential. So Wu Jiangyu wanted to get it now, so Che Yanzu took him to Red Rose's guild building. The location was at S Station, close to the player management office. Soon after, a Ferrari suddenly appeared, attracting everyone's attention. People speculated whose car it was. Watching Che Yanzu get out of the luxury car, Jiang Yu was instantly envious. The first thing he did after getting in the car was ask about the car's price. Hearing it cost around 1 billion, the Demon King couldn't help drooling. This number was ridiculously high. He couldn't believe that the person in front of him was the same one playing games in the internet cafe that day. Seeing Jiang Yu's envy, Che Yanzu asked if he wanted one too. According to the contract, if he needed it, Red Rose could provide transportation. This feeling of being kept by a rich woman made Jiang Yu immediately call out Sister Yanzu, but this disgusted Che Yanzu, who immediately told him to shut up. Jiang Yu said if she got him a car like this, he'd definitely be willing to do any commission. Che Yanzu warned that if Jiang Yu dared to refuse or make her dissatisfied, even if he got a car, it would be immediately confiscated. He continued teasing Che Yanzu about being stingy. Seeing her very angry expression, Jiang Yu stopped talking and quickly told her to watch the road. After more than 10 minutes, they arrived at Red Rose's building. The magnificent scene ahead immediately attracted Jiang Yu. The guild building in front of him was as large as the player management office. This further confirmed his belief that maintaining good relations with major guilds was right. Following Che Yanzu inside, people were already waiting in the lobby. After discovering Jiang Yu next to the president, Park Sunwoo understood he must be the person the president mentioned. So he actively introduced himself as Park Sunwoo, leader of Red Rose's personnel management group. Seeing this, Jiang Yu also shook hands with him. The other person was Red Rose's action captain Wen Yonghao. What puzzled Jiang Yu was why this guy was glaring at him sideways. Park Sunwoo knew that since Jiang Yu came, he must have reached an agreement with the president. Jiang Yu said the conditions were so good that even if Red Rose was a fire pit, he'd definitely jump in. After the joke, Park Seonwoo prepared to take Jiang Yu to the equipment warehouse, but Che Yanzu took over the task, since Park Seonwoo was much busier than herself. But Wen Yonghao wanted to go along. This surprised Che Yanzu somewhat. She didn't understand why he wanted to come too. Wen Yonghao said he wanted to personally see what kind of person Jiang Yu really was. Seeing this, the Demon King roughly understood the other party's situation, and Che Yanzu thought they'd be working together often in the future, so she agreed to let Wen Yonghao come along. Red Rose's equipment warehouse was on the 15th floor of the building. Coming out of the elevator, Che Yanzu didn't forget to introduce things to Jiang Yu. Although it was the guild's equipment warehouse, not just anyone could borrow from it freely. Only epic grade and below could be borrowed for free. As for rare items, separate deposits were required. Carefully examining these high-tier equipment pieces, Wu Jiangyu asked if the warehouse had legendary or mythical grade items. But Che Yanzu said, if there were mythical grade items, such equipment would definitely have been taken for use long ago, though the warehouse did have legendary grade items. Jiang Yu just asked how much deposit was needed, and Che Yanzu told him 5 billion, and said this was already cheap. Hearing this, Jiang Yu was very disappointed and immediately gave up the idea. This money was an astronomical figure. So he prepared to look at epic grade equipment, but just then, Wen Yonghao, who was with them, made a noise. This made Jiang Yu and Che Yanzu turn around puzzled. After walking aggressively up to Jiang Yu, Wen Yonghao told Jiang Yu to speak more respectfully, thinking Jiang Yu was too casual. This also confused the Demon King somewhat. Seeing Jiang Yu's confusion, Wen Yonghao stated again, I'm telling you to be more respectful to the president. This time Wu Jiangyu finally confirmed that Red Rose's action captain was jealous. But the more others came on strong, the more excited the Demon King became, then smiled evilly and responded, I just won't. Hearing Jiang Yu's refusal, Wen Yonghao immediately prepared to attack. Seeing this, Jiang Yu wasn't bothered to dodge at all. Just when the opponent's blade was only a few centimeters away, it suddenly stopped. The one who acted was Che Yanzu. She wanted to know what Wen Yonghao was trying to do. Getting no response, Che Yanzu slowly raised her head. She was somewhat angry now. Hearing the president's words again, Wen Yonghao couldn't withstand the pressure. So he explained that he thought Jiang Yu's way of speaking to the president wasn't respectful. But Che Yanzu said that how others spoke to her was for her to judge, and no one else needed to meddle. Helplessly, Wen Yonghao had to obey and withdrew his weapon. After warning her subordinate, Che Yanzu also reminded Jiang Yu not to react so strongly. If he accidentally provoked Yonghao, he could very well be beaten to disability. Jiang Yu seemed very casual about her words, and from Wen Yonghao's behavior, Red Rose shouldn't be some fraudulent guild. Otherwise, this guy wouldn't be so loyal. Then Jiang Yu called out Sister Yanzu again, saying he didn't want the car anymore, just wanted to borrow a decent piece of equipment, and he'd definitely give Red Rose 1.5 times the return. Seeing this, Che Yanzu's face was full of distrust toward him. As for Wen Yonghao, hearing the word sister, his motion of sheathing his sword froze. Just as Che Yanzu was telling Jiang Yu that rare equipment required internal meetings to decide, Wen Yonghao fist directly smashed into Jiang Yu's head. His voice was even trembling. Wen Yonghao could no longer suppress his anger when he called Jiang Yu Yanzu's sister. The next second, he mercilessly slashed with his blade. But the feeling of his attack being interrupted also surprised him. After catching Wen Yonghao's blade with one hand, Che Yanzu didn't want to indulge him further. She wondered if he was unwilling to obey her orders. Wen Yonghao still wanted to explain, but Che Yanzu had already thrown his blade to the ground, then ordered him to leave the equipment warehouse immediately. If he dared to act up again, she would definitely convene a disciplinary meeting for him, while telling Wen Yonghao to think about what an action captain should be doing. Hearing this, Wen Yonghao finally came to his senses and apologized. Che Yanzu apologized to Jiang Yu for letting him see such a situation and said she'd pay more attention in the future, then asked what type of rare equipment Jiang Yu needed. She could help bring it up at the meeting. Hearing that Jiang Yu needed armor with good effects, this made Che Yanzu start thinking about which armor would be suitable. Unexpectedly, Wen Yonghao appeared again, saying his armor was rare equipment with good effects, and as long as Jiang Yu won against him in sparring, he'd be willing to give up the armor. But Wen Yonghao's repeated overstepping made Che Yanzu unable to continue tolerating it. Just as she was about to discipline Wen Yonghao, Wu Jiangyu suddenly stopped her, because Jiang Yu felt this sparring proposal was quite good. His words made Che Yanzu suspect she had misheard. Although Jiang Yu was very strong, she didn't think he could match Wen Yonghao. After all, Wen Yonghao was level 67, having reached the 7th awakening that many people couldn't achieve. No matter how good his talent, Che Yanzu understood Jiang Yu definitely couldn't win. So she continued trying to dissuade him, but Wu Jiangyu was very determined about sparring. After all, someone was offering equipment. He'd definitely take it no matter what. This played right into Wen Yonghao's hands. He wanted to use this opportunity to make Jiang Yu unable to be disrespectful to the president anymore. In Wen Yonghao's eyes, Che Yanzu was not only his former lifesaver, but also the master he swore to serve unto death. And more importantly, Che Yanzu was the woman he loved. But Wu Jiangyu's attitude when speaking to the president made Wen Yonghao completely unable to stand it. He swore he'd let Jiang Yu know the gap in strength shortly. On the other side, Che Yanzu was still telling him that sparring with Wen Yonghao could be fatal, while Jiang Yu already considered the equipment his. Unable to dissuade him further, Che Yanzu had no choice but to take the two to the sparring room. Seeing the sparring was about to begin, she still couldn't understand Jiang Yu's crazy behavior. At this point, Wen Yonghao said, "If you're ready, we can start any time." He was even willing to stand still and let Jiang Yu attack for 3 seconds first. Such show-off behavior made the Demon King think, does this guy have brain problems? Then he told Wen Yonghao to stop posturing and pick up his blade to fight. Seeing the opponent still motionless, Jiang Yu kindly reminded him again to take his blade, but Wen Yonghao arrogantly said he didn't plan to use full strength against a little brat. Hearing this, the Demon King couldn't be bothered anymore. Facing this type of person, he loved to slap them hard in the face. The next moment, he activated Swift Force. Che Yanzu nearby hadn't even reacted yet. The Demon King had already kicked Wen Yonghao in the abdomen. This violent strike sent Wen Yonghao flying immediately. Then he crashed heavily into the sparring wall. The force penetrating his body nearly made Wen Yonghao faint. After falling, he couldn't help vomiting violently. Seeing this, Che Yanzu's eyes widened. The development was beyond her expectations. Wen Yonghao now felt incredibly shocked. If not for his armor's protection just now, he thought he might have died here. Jiang Yu's strength was unbelievable. Was this really someone who became a player 3 weeks ago? Then he stopped posturing and immediately drew his weapon. Seeing his wretched state, the Demon King mockingly asked, "Didn't you say you'd give me 3 seconds?" Facing Jiang Yu's mockery, Wen Yonghao questioned whether he had used some trick. Hearing this, the Demon King directly stated, "I'm simply stronger than you." Wen Yonghao naturally didn't believe this. Someone who only became a player 3 weeks ago couldn't possibly have such strong power. This made Jiang Yu laugh out loud. At first thinking he was a newbie, he arrogantly offered 3 seconds. Then when realizing something was wrong, he clamored about tricks being used. Then Jiang Yu's expression darkened as he told Wen Yonghao to know when to stop. Jiang Yu's words left Wen Yonghao completely unable to refute. Plus, Che Yanzu was watching the whole time. He didn't want to just take hits without fighting back. So Wen Yonghao stopped being careless. After using all his magic power, Wen Yonghao suddenly raised his greatsword. This was his killing move, heaven-destroying sword, but his loud shouting of the technique name once again caused the Demon King to laugh. Jiang Yu was somewhat curious. Did such an embarrassing name like heaven-destroying sword have to be shouted out? Then he mocked Wen Yonghao. You don't think that's cool, do you? Ha 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 ha. The continued mockery made Wen Yonghao break again, telling Jiang Yu to shut up the next second. He decisively slashed down. Wen Yonghao's strength was indeed good, worthy of being Red Rose's action captain, so Jiang Yu didn't plan to clash with him head-on. When Wen Yonghao was about to strike down, Wu Jiangyu activated Shadow Force. Seeing him crouch without any sign of dodging, Che Yanzu quickly told Wen Yonghao to stop. But by now, the opponent was consumed by anger. Wen Yonghao's thoughtless frontal attack made Jiang Yu confirm this guy had completely lost his rationality. He really was quite stupid. Just as Wen Yonghao slashed down, Che Yanzu wanted to intercept but could no longer do so. But the next second, Jiang Yu transferred to behind him. After discovering Wu Jiangyu had disappeared, Wen Yonghao was about to search. Jiang Yu suddenly patted his shoulder with his hand, while telling Wen Yonghao the match was decided. Avoiding his vital parts, the Demon King used Wave Force. This strike again sent Wen Yonghao crashing into the wall, but unlike the previous time, the opponent could no longer hold on and fainted. Seeing Wen Yonghao defeated so quickly, Che Yanzu was shocked, speechless. She had definitely underestimated Wu Jiangyu. After Jiang Yu slowly walked forward, he calmly told Che Yanzu, I already said I'm stronger than you imagine. With the sparring finished, Che Yanzu called staff to clean up the scene. At the same time, given Wen Yonghao's multiple acts of disrespect and disobedience, she decided to have him expelled from the guild. Che Yanzu felt very sorry about today's events. She hadn't expected to be unable to manage even her subordinates properly. But Jiang Yu was happy now, so he didn't mind, saying he could understand Che Yanzu very well. Most importantly, he had obtained this monster-type armor. Its basic effects were indeed very good, and it also had the special effect of petrification. Jiang Yu couldn't help but want to thank Wen Yonghao in his heart, otherwise he couldn't have afforded the equipment's astronomical deposit. As for Wen Yonghao, he understood very clearly in his heart that to disobey the guildmaster's orders and willfully bet such precious equipment, he was most likely blinded by love and jealousy. Though he could understand it to avoid similar troubles in the future, Jiang Yu told Che Yanzu that if this happened again, he might have to reconsider their relationship. Che Yanzu promised Jiang Yu that from now on, Red Rose's people wouldn't have such incidents again. Seeing this, Jiang Yu didn't say much more, then asked for advice. This equipment doesn't fit my body type. How should I solve this? So Che Yanzu had him place it on the display stand first. After having someone design it according to Jiang Yu's measurements, he could come get it later. After placing the equipment, Jiang Yu said goodbye to Che Yanzu. After Jiang Yu left Red Rose's lobby, Che Yanzu also breathed a sigh of relief, because Wu Jiangyu's strength exceeded her expectations by far. Wen Yonghao wasn't weak, yet he was defeated by a player who awakened 3 weeks ago. Jiang Yu's talent made Che Yanzu have other thoughts. Perhaps after leveling up further, this country would produce a world-class player. World-class players are selected from all global players' strength, finally choosing the 8 players with the strongest power. Each country has never had even one. Although there are rumors that the country's #1 player Bai Jiang has this potential, he still hasn't become a world-class player. At this time, Park Sanwoo also walked in. He heard that Wu Jiangyu and Yonghao had friction, so he came to inquire. Che Yanzu said she had decided to convene a disciplinary meeting to have Yonghao expelled from the guild. Seeing Park Sanwoo's reluctant expression, Che Yanzu told him this matter was ultimately Yonghao's fault, and she had to prevent a second similar incident from occurring. Hearing this, Park Sanwoo had to comply, but he had something important to report. The government had successfully planted a spy in the demon cult. If things went smoothly, they could most likely catch certain people's foxtails. This bombshell news made Che Yanzu immediately focus. Then she had Park Sanwoo explain this matter in more detail. When Wu Jiangyu returned, it was already evening. Now he was checking his ability values. Like with demonic energy improvement, other ability values were also increasing. Although demonic energy was most important, this didn't mean strength, agility, and stamina were useless. They could strengthen the body's foundation and reduce unnecessary demonic energy consumption. What Jiang Yu didn't like about the player system was the inability to increase ability values according to his own wishes. Although after the second awakening, the improvements were all related to frequently used attribute values. Wu Jiangyu didn't feel this. He used demonic energy most, but as levels increased, the improvement amount got smaller and smaller. The reason for this, Jiang Yu estimated, was that his demonic energy value was too high. But it was also thanks to Jiang Yu's demonic energy being higher than other ability values, that he could do things high-level players couldn't do. In any case, Jiang Yu could confirm that after level 30, level improvements brought very little demonic energy value. Fortunately, it was enough for now, so Jiang Yu couldn't be bothered to think about it further. Next was to go back and sleep well, then meet Taishu's team tomorrow. The next day, Jiang Yu brought Shuya to the eastern village portal. Seeing them, Taishu immediately called out, but his voice was too loud, attracting many people's attention, making the Demon King quite embarrassed. With everyone finally gathered, Taishu told Jiang Yu. The people beside him were the other two he mentioned before. The handsome boy was Jin Shijun, and the girl Taishu called Little One was Qian Fei. Jiang Yu looked at Jin Shijun greeting them and agreed with Taishu's words, because this guy was indeed very handsome. When Qian Fei heard Taishu call her Little One, she immediately launched a counterattack, saying Taishu was like a 40-something uncle. This immediately caused critical damage. After attacking Taishu, and Fei turned to talk with Jiang Yu. She often heard Taishu bragging about his big brother, so she'd been looking forward to meeting him. Jiang Yu was just suggesting everyone share their attribute levels. But seeing Shuya, and Fei excitedly took out her phone to take photos with Shuya. Qian Fei's personality also made Jiang Yu understand why she could get along with Taishu. Fortunately, Jin Shijun was more normal. He first explained his situation to Jiang Yu, currently a level 12 warrior who had reached second awakening with A-grade attributes. He also introduced Qian Fei's situation, a mage with B-grade attributes, and told Jiang Yu that Fei's personality was a bit lively. Jiang Yu didn't mind this. Jin Shijun gave him a very good impression, serious and polite speech, and very perceptive. He responded to his words quickly, and most importantly, this guy had strong talent. After second awakening, he unlocked A-grade attributes. Soon after recovering from his sadness, Taishu asked if the teammates he found were reliable. So far, Jiang Yu was quite satisfied. He really couldn't sense the dark desires like those of Andras's group in them. Getting his big brother's approval made Taishu much happier. He said his judgment had always been good. Hearing this, Jiang Yu reminded him that not long ago, someone was betrayed by team members and nearly lost his life. After just stammering for a while, Taishu found the perfect excuse. He said that was Heaven's test specially given so he could meet his big brother. Then he asked Jiang Yu again to look at the team's overall situation. In terms of member composition, Jiang Yu felt it was very good. There was both a tank and close combat DPS and range DPS, plus a healer who could both buff and heal. This team composition was optimal for a 4-person group, and they weren't just well composed. Their talent and strength were also very strong. With this level, Jiang Yu was much more at ease about Shuya's safety, so he said he'd join today's hunt. If the team had any shortcomings, he could help improve them in time. Seeing this, Taishu excitedly thanked Jiang Yu, but his voice was really too loud. Not only couldn't Jiang Yu stand it, and Fei felt the same way. Having understood enough, Jiang Yu suggested entering the portal now. If the situation wasn't very dangerous, he'd observe from behind, so he hoped everyone wouldn't be perfunctory in battle. The reason for not taking them for rapid leveling was that Jiang Yu thought that would be useless and would only hinder their growth, and he still had to observe whether they had cultivation value. After entering the portal, Taishu took the lead at the front. These low-level giants basically couldn't break through his defense. With Taishu at the front, Mage and Fei cooperated by releasing lightning, but soon she noticed movement behind her. So she quickly told Taishu there were 5 more giants behind her. Seeing this, Taishu turned around to protect Fei. Shuya wasn't idle either, and used her blessing immediately. After gaining the strength boost, Taishu's muscles grew larger, so he charged at the monsters like he was on steroids. As for Shuya, she also took out her bow and arrows. This was her other attribute, light arrows with killing power. Getting support, Taishu quickly sent the attacking 5 goblins flying. Jin Shijun then followed up by attacking these monsters. His sword techniques were elegant and powerful. In just a few seconds, he successfully completed the kills. After finishing this wave of monsters, Taishu asked Jiang Yu if their strength was all great. After watching their cooperation, Jiang Yu understood where improvements were needed, so he didn't hide anything and jumped down to tell them what needed improving. But there were actually many areas needing improvement. However, Jiang Yu planned to tell them bit by bit. First, Jiang Yu pointed out Taishu's shortcomings. As a tank, he did understand how to attract monsters' attention, but he shouldn't always try to win through strength. That would waste a lot of stamina. If dealing with these cave giants used up a lot of energy from the start, when boss-level monsters appeared later, the remaining stamina wouldn't be enough to stand in front of teammates. Since he was the tank, what he needed to do was withstand attacks. The next one needing improvement was Shuya. She did well giving Taishu buffs, preserving enough stamina for him. But using light arrows to attack afterward wasn't advisable, because that would attract monsters' attention. This way the tank might become ineffective. The remaining one was Fei. Jiang Yu thought that to deal with fallen monsters, her use of powerful magic consumed too much. It also caused her to not notice the giants behind her in time. As the secondary DPs, her responsibility should be to cooperate better with Shijun for kills. Just when Jin Shijun thought it was his turn, Jiang Yu told him, "At this stage, you're doing perfectly. There's nothing that needs improving." Precisely because of this, Jiang Yu understood what genius meant. Jin Shijun couldn't possibly have 10,000 years of combat experience like himself, yet he performed so well in his first team battle. Others hearing Jiang Yu's words also praised Jin Shijun. With the improvements mentioned, Jiang Yu had them continue deeper, while reminding them to remember what he just said. With Zhang Yu's guidance, their cooperation improved significantly. Soon their hunting gradually became easier. Zhang Yu watching from the trees all the way. Now not just Jin Shishun, everyone's performance was very good. At this rate, perhaps within a month, they should be able to go to C-rank portals. At this point, Taishu, after hunting, asked if they were better than before. Zhang Yu thought they were already very good. Just as Taishu and others were preparing to rest, a fierce monster suddenly appeared ahead. For a moment, they were at a loss. This was clearly a cave giant portal, so why was there a monster they'd never seen? After Zhang Yu heard their exclamations, looking down, he instantly recognized it, because this was actually a demon wolf from hell. Its speed was extremely fast. Taishu quickly held up his shield in front. Zhang Yu understood that, like before, new monsters had descended again. He didn't plan to stand by. This wasn't something Sueya and the others could handle. However, just as Zhang Yu was about to go down, new developments occurred below. Jin Shishun actually injured the demon wolf with one sword. The reason he acted was that he could sense the demon wolf's charge. Taishu definitely couldn't block it, so he told him to retreat quickly. Then Shijun jumped behind the monster. He wanted to attract the demon wolf's attention through attacks. Jin Shishun's swordsmanship was very effective. Swinging another sword, the demon wolf's abdomen was cut. Shijun wanted to continue attacking, but the demon wolf had already reacted and directly swatted him away with one claw the next second. Jin Shishun lost his balance and couldn't dodge, while the monster also pounced over. At the critical moment, Zhang Yu grabbed Jin Shishun away, while activating Divine Power Authority. This punch's power awed everyone, and the demon wolf was killed on the spot. Zhang Yu's strength left Jin Shijun still not recovered. After successfully killing the demon wolf, the status window also indicated killing a D-rank rift fragment. Wu Zhangyu even leveled up because of this. With the crisis resolved, he asked Jin Shijun if he could still stand. Getting the others' confirmation, he then let go of Shishun. Shueya and the others quickly came up to check on both their conditions. Fortunately, no one was injured, but Jin Shishun only stood for a few seconds before collapsing to the ground again. Seeing this, Taishu went forward to support him. After receiving treatment, Shijun recovered considerably. At this point, Taishu said, "Shijun's sword just now was really amazing. Completely unlike a player who only achieved Second Awakening." Zhang Yu was equally surprised. To be able to fight monsters at just over 10 levels, even for a player with A-grade attributes unlocked, Jin Shishun's strength was ridiculously strong. After being helped up by Taishu, Shijun was silent for a while, then asked Taishu to put him down. Seeing this, Zhang Yu took the initiative to help support him. After all, Taishu was too burly. Letting him provide support really wouldn't work. As for Wu Zhangyu, he had other thoughts. He wanted to investigate why Jin Shishun was so strong. Using his skill to hide his demonic energy well, Zhang Yu activated his observation power. Originally, he just wanted to confirm whether Jin Shishun had any hidden power, but unexpectedly, he was able to see the other party's status panel. However, Shishun's situation truly left Zhang Yu stunned, because his initial awakening attribute was actually as high as SS rank, and it was also a talent attribute called Martial God, different from Zhang Yu's inherent talent of demonic energy. Jin Shishun's inherent talent showed that he was the chosen one, born to be a hero who protects the world, possessing internal power ability values different from Zhang Yu's demonic energy, talent that surpassed everyone, plus a handsome face. The Demon King had basically confirmed, this kid was definitely the strongest player, right? After learning about Jin Shishun's talent, only then did Zhang Yu understand why his swordsmanship was so outstanding. Although Jin Shishun's existence might threaten him in the future, he was simply a genius. Zhang Yu didn't want to miss Jin Shishun, just like how Che Yanju treated him. Wu Zhangyu prepared to provide Shishun with comprehensive support and establish a friendly relationship with him. But this kind of comprehensive support might also become a knife at his own throat someday. So Zhang Yu decided that he couldn't simply trust in having good relations. However, from the current perspective, Jin Shishun didn't seem like someone who would stab you in the back either. After all, he could risk his life to protect Taishu, but no one could be certain what he might become in the future. Then Zhang Yu thought of a perfect solution that would benefit both sides. At this moment, noticing Zhang Yu was deep in thought, Shueya mistakenly thought he was injured, and after confirming the demon wolf's death, Shueya felt a bit scared in retrospect. He never expected there would be such monsters in a D-rank portal. If Zhang Yu hadn't been there today, they would have been completely wiped out. Regarding this, Zhang Yu said that Shishun had also contributed greatly. After treatment, Jin Shishun's body had recovered significantly, though he still could engage in strenuous activity for a while. Now Zhang Yu asked if Shishun was feeling better, and he replied that he was much better, thanks to Shueya's healing. He also thanked Zhang Yu for intervening earlier, otherwise he would have been seriously injured. Shijun looked at Zhang Yu with sparkling eyes. He had long heard Taishu bragging about his big brother's strength, but he never imagined Zhang Yu would be this powerful. Seeing the admiration from Taishu and Shijun, the Demon King felt a bit pressured, so he said everyone did great today. Especially Shijun's strength was very impressive. At this point, Taishu turned to Jin Shishun, agreeing with Zhang Yu's words. Among players who had achieved double awakening, he had never seen anyone as strong as Shijun. Qianfei felt the same way, but Taishu was curious about one thing. A player as skilled as Shijun could join any guild he wanted, and he mentioned that the Mill Guild was recently recruiting, suggesting he could try if interested. However, upon hearing Mill Guild, Jin Shishun's demeanor changed. He responded that he had no intention of joining any guild, especially not the Mill Guild. Seeing this, Taishu was surprised and asked if he had some grudge against the Mill Guild. This time Jin Shishun didn't answer Taishu, only saying it wasn't worth mentioning. Understanding that he had brought up painful memories, Taishu quickly bowed and apologized to Shijun for being too nosy. Jin Shishun didn't mind, saying the matter was complicated and he had overreacted. After resting for a while, Taishu wanted to continue hunting, but Jiang Yu told everyone that today's hunt was over and Shijun needed to rest. Jin Shishun quickly said he was fine and could handle any number of cave giants, but under Jiang Yu's persuasion, he chose to follow his advice. Taishu didn't mind either. He wanted to know if his big brother would join them again tomorrow, but Jiang Yu told them to hunt on their own tomorrow. As long as they remembered what he taught them today, Jiang Yu believed no D-rank portal would pose a threat. Then they headed toward the exit. When they came out, Jiang Yu and Shuya said goodbye to everyone, but then Jiang Yu suddenly said he had something to do. Someone had just contacted him, so he needed to rush over. As for dinner, Jiang Yu told Shuya to eat first, he would be back later. Understanding the situation, Shuya didn't make a fuss, but told Jiang Yu to be careful, and no matter how late he returned, she would keep his food warm. Though Wu Jiangyu really wanted to have dinner with Shuya today, he had no choice when something came up. After Shuya walked away, Jiang Yu immediately showed a sinister smile. Next, he was going to do what he needed to do. After some time, Shijun was still waiting for the bus on the other side. While waiting, he couldn't help but think about the Mill Guild again. At this moment, Jiang Yu appeared and found Shijun, saying he had something important to tell him, so they needed to go somewhere private. Jin Shishun didn't suspect anything, and followed Jiang Yu into an alley. Seeing no one around, Shishun was curious about what Jiang Yu wanted to discuss. Unexpectedly, the next second he was punched hard. Already in poor condition, he fell to the ground immediately. Shijun never expected Jiang Yu would attack him. Wu Jiangyu told Jin Shijun he was just getting himself some insurance. He said you will become very powerful in the future, strong enough to crush other players, so he wanted to establish a friendly relationship with him. In other words, he wanted to become true partners with Shishun. The Demon King's words confused Shijun. If he wanted to establish a friendly relationship, why do this? Jiang Yu said it was just a precaution. Then he used the power of subjugation on Shishun. This was one of the Demon King's abilities which would make Shijun his subordinate. It would also allow him to use part of the Demon King's power, which should help his growth. And Jiang Yu would make Shijun forget what happened here. When he opened his eyes, everything would be the same as before. Jin Shijun could no longer stay conscious. Under Jiang Yu's gaze, he completely passed out. Soon after, Shijun finally opened his eyes. Now he felt a tightness in his chest. More importantly, he had clearly been waiting for the bus. But why was he here? It was already 8 o'clock. An hour ago, he remembered being at the bus stop. As Shijun wondered what had happened, his head throbbed with pain. He couldn't remember anything after that, but he figured he must have fainted. Though he had taken a big hit in the portal, Shijun hadn't expected he would pass out. Thinking of past events, he attributed it to his own weakness. Struggling to stand up, Jin Shijun became even more determined to get stronger. Thinking of the Mill Guild and their vice president Jin Yongshun, Shijun's anger instantly flared up. He swore that someday he would point his blade at that scumbag's throat. Above his head, Jiang Yu watched silently. After using the power of subjugation, the status window indicated he had successfully captured Shijun's soul and registered him as a demon servant. However, Jiang Yu didn't plan to issue any commands. This was just the insurance he wanted. Next, he would just watch Jin Shishun grow stronger. Wu Jiangyu had high hopes for him. If Shishun could properly develop his talent and level up, he believed Shishun would definitely become very powerful in the future. Certainly no weaker than Baal. He valued Shishun so much because Jiang Yu's Demon Palace seal wasn't completely removed, yet he could face battle with the demon cult at any time. So this kind of extremely talented precious talent was also crucial for the Demon King. Looking at Shijun like a lab rat, Jiang Yu became even more eager for him to get stronger quickly. After Jin Shishun left, the Demon King suddenly received a phone call from Zhao Dexian, whom he hadn't contacted in a long time. Jiang Yu thought it was about the demon cult, but Zhao Dexian wasn't clear on the specifics either. He had just found traces of demonic energy. Most importantly, Zhao Dexian said it didn't look like it was deliberately left by humans, but rather by monsters or something similar. Hearing this, Jiang Yu understood it was a demon beast and asked about the location. Learning it was in a B-rank portal in Zhongyi Prefecture, Jiang Yu immediately became interested. This was another demon beast after the Hellhound and Demon Wolf, and it was in a B-rank portal. Based on his previous 2 encounters, Jiang Yu guessed it might be a demon beast from the second hell. Just the Hellhound had made him level up several times. The Demon King was now eager to head over. As long as he killed the new demon beast, he believed his 5th awakening would come soon. Early the next morning, Jiang Yu first went to Red Rose to get his monster-type armor, then took a train directly to his destination. However, this train was too crowded, and Jiang Yu was overheated the whole way. He was now thinking that once this was over, he definitely needed to find Che Yanju to get a car. After getting off the train, Jiang Yu was about to check the relevant information when someone returned from the portal. From their conversation, Jiang Yu learned that because there was something strange inside, everyone who tried to enter was blocked at the entrance. Just as he had heard, when Jiang Yu arrived at the portal, the scene was already sealed off. No matter how many people were in a team, no one was allowed to enter the portal. Facing players who had come from afar, the guard's answer was clear. There were monsters of unknown origin in the portal, so entry was temporarily prohibited. Then an official announcement was broadcast, stating that 10 players had already died at the hands of the monster. Hearing the announcement repeated over and over, many players began to retreat, as 10 deaths was indeed quite a lot. Jiang Yu was now also in the crowd, curious about what demon beast was inside. Soon, under questioning from reporters and players, the guards reluctantly provided the information they had. The monster inside looked somewhat like a lion. Getting this information, Jiang Yu immediately determined it was most likely the demon beast Pal from Hell. Pal inhabited the second hell and was one of the strongest predators there. It was characterized by having 5 legs and resembling a lion. It had a unique attribute different from other demon beasts. After hunting 5 prey of any size in a day, it would enter a satiated state, and unless actively attacked, Pal wouldn't consider others as enemies. When Jiang Yu first entered Hell, he had also encountered Pal. Even now, it remained an unpleasant memory. In any case, with 10 people already dead, this meant Pal had probably appeared 2 days ago. Soon Jiang Yu had a plan. Just feed Pal 5 small monsters, wait for it to enter the satiated state, then strike and easily finish it off. Jiang Yu immediately called Che Yanju. He said he wanted to enter the B-rank portal, but currently the portal was sealed. Hearing this, Che Yanju immediately guessed which portal it was. After confirming that Jiang Yu definitely wanted to go in, Che Yanju, who was training, said, "Getting my help isn't cheap." To this, Jiang Yu made promises, saying he would definitely repay her properly in the future. Helplessly, Che Yanju agreed and told Jiang Yu to give the phone to the guard. Initially, the guard thought he was causing trouble, but then he heard Che Yanju's voice on the phone. The surrounding players were also attracted by this scene, curious about when Red Rose had gained such a member. Soon Che Yanju hung up. Finally, the guard allowed Jiang Yu to enter as a mutant monster investigator, and if he killed the monster, he would need to share its information with the government. Hearing this, Jiang Yu readily agreed, saying he would do his best to investigate so everyone wouldn't panic. Hearing that Jiang Yu could go in, many media outlets started taking photos of him, as this was exclusive coverage of Red Rose's new member. But just then, a discordant voice came from behind. Jiang Yu looked back and didn't recognize the person. Fortunately, the surrounding players recognized the leader as Zhang Chengju, a new member of the Mill Guild. The Mill Guild people thought that since Red Rose's investigator could go in, their team should be able to as well. Unlike Jiang Yu, Zhang Chengju actually had information about him. From the moment he saw the monster-type armor, he guessed Jiang Yu was someone Red Rose was recently supporting. Seeing the other party mock him for not being valued, not even having a single teammate, Jiang Yu didn't get angry, but smiled and said he was more used to acting alone. The Mill Guild members warned that B-rank portals weren't as easy to handle as C-rank ones. Someone as weak-looking as Jiang Yu would definitely get killed if he went in. They even mocked him for being a waste with only 4 awakenings, yet daring to wander around in a B-rank portal. Seeing Jiang Yu remain silent, Zhang Chengju thought he had hit the mark. He then said that if he was scared, he could follow their team in. But the team positions were already assigned, and they currently only needed a thief who could bandage wounds. What Zhang Chengju didn't expect was that Jiang Yu immediately agreed, also admitting he was afraid to go in alone. Seeing this, the other Mill Guild members were disappointed, thinking Jiang Yu would have at least some backbone. But the Demon King was actually silently counting in his mind. To get Pal into protection state required 5 prey. However, counting the group, he found there was 1 extra person, so he would have to give that person special treatment later. This left Zhang Chengju dumbfounded. He hadn't expected Jiang Yu to lower his stance and agree so readily. Earlier, the Mill Guild's vice president had learned that Jiang Yu was at a B-rank portal, and told Zhang Chengju to definitely take this opportunity to embarrass Jiang Yu, spreading the narrative that Mill Guild was stronger than Red Rose. But now Jiang Yu had shown a humble attitude from the start. If they continued to provoke, they would become the bad guys and damage their image. Helplessly, Zhang Chengju told his companions they would all go in together. The first collaboration between Red Rose and Mill Guild caused quite a stir at the scene. Many reporters had already thought of tomorrow's headlines. As for Zhang Chengju, he couldn't imagine why Red Rose would support someone so spineless. But thinking they were about to enter the portal, he didn't bother dwelling on it. After all, in his eyes, a 4 awakening player like Jiang Yu would definitely die inside. Soon the group entered the B-rank portal, just as Jiang Yu was talking about working together to kill monsters. The Mill Guild people showed their disdain for him. Zhang Chengju didn't know if the Demon King was truly stupid or pretending. How could they possibly cooperate in hunting? Jiang Yu didn't argue, just silently followed behind. The group was quite arrogant along the way, belittling Che Yanju, while mindlessly praising their vice president Jin Yongxun. Jiang Yu had heard of the Mill Guild before. Their president was named Jin Jae-hyun, who also served as chairman of a large corporation. 5 years ago, after the portal incident, he and his son awakened as players. At that time, with their powerful capital, they quickly became top players and founded the guild. Overall, the Mill Guild was incredibly wealthy. This gave Jiang Yu other ideas. Should he provoke an all-out war between the two guilds and then profit from their conflict? But he immediately dismissed this thought. Throwing away Che Yanzhu and Red Rose for short-term gain was clearly unwise. For now, he should focus on watching Jiang Chengzhu's show. After some time, Jiang Chengzhu started complaining, where the hell are the monsters? They had walked so far without encountering anything. Jiang Yu was also tired of waiting. He activated his observation power, planning to actively lure the demon beast over. After some investigation, Jiang Yu discovered that Pal was actually right next door. From its moving position, he could basically confirm that Pal definitely hadn't entered the satiated state yet. This was good news for Jiang Yu, so he slowly used his seduction power. Its special scent was detected even by the people ahead. Naturally, Pal, whose sense of smell far exceeded humans, was no exception. The next second, violent tremors suddenly came from all around. Seeing this, the Mill Guild people all prepared for battle, guessing the mutant monster was coming. Jiang Chengzhu didn't forget to tell Jiang Yu to get lost and not steal credit for their monster kill. But this time, Jiang Yu cursed him back instead. Just as Jiang Chengzhu was about to teach Jiang Yu a lesson first, Pal's attack instantly pierced through his teammate. Looking at the terrifying and powerful demon beast before them, plus their companion trembling on its claws, the Mill Guild people were momentarily in shock. It wasn't until their companion's screams rang out again that Jiang Chengzhu quickly commanded the others to counterattack. The Demon King wore a wicked smile, waiting for Pal to eat its fill and enter the satiated state. At this time, the Mill Guild's attacks had already been dodged by Pal. Jiang Chengzhu reminded everyone to hold their positions. But taking advantage of the battle dust, the monster suddenly attacked and killed another person. Now the Mill Guild team had lost 2 members. Jiang Chengzhu didn't want to sit and wait for death, so he told everyone to continue their coordinated attack. He took the lead in launching his skill. The next second, countless lightning bolts fell, making Pal cry out in pain. Seeing his attack was effective, Jiang Chengzhu quickly told his teammates to finish it off. The other 2 damage dealers understood this was a perfect opportunity and rushed toward the demon beast. Unfortunately, Jiang Chengzhu's lightning could only paralyze for a few seconds. After recovering, Pal instantly killed both charging players. Jiang Chengzhu never expected the monster in front of him could still move freely after taking his lightning attack. With teammates dying one after another, the remaining person's psychological defenses collapsed. Jiang Chengzhu tried to rally him, but was only met with helpless cries of "Help me!" At this point, Jiang Chengzhu realized they couldn't escape, and decided to fight to the death. Facing Jiang Chengzhu's strongest attack, Pal simply swung its claws, and sent him flying to the ground. However, Jiang Chengzhu was quite lucky. After being knocked away, Pal first dealt with his last teammate. This brought the battle close to its end, because Pal had now consumed 5 prey. Confirming the demon beast had entered the satiated state, Jiang Yu leaped onto Pal's head. Discovering his appearance, Jiang Chengzhu was confused about why the monster didn't attack Jiang Yu. The kind Demon King didn't forget to explain. After entering the satiated state, Pal wouldn't engage in activity unless someone actively attacked it. So what came next was simple. He just needed to use a powerful attack to kill Pal in one strike. Summoning his Hellfire power and Extreme Darkness power, Jiang Yu decisively fused the 2 forces. With recent improvements, he could now use multiple authorities while concentrating. As the 2 powers merged, a terrifying double trident appeared in Jiang Yu's hands. The first fusion even prompted the status window to indicate he had gained an S-rank skill. The next second, the Demon King decisively thrust toward Pal's head. The terrifying power instantly penetrated the demon beast's entire body, and then exploded outward. After the massive explosion ended, the status window indicated he had killed a B-rank rift fragment, gaining enough experience to level up 6 times. Reaching level 40, he also unlocked his 5th awakening and gained 7 points of demonic energy. Since his demonic energy reached 60 points, Jiang Yu gained a new ability, Extreme Demon Body. Though the information panel didn't indicate its effects, Jiang Yu could feel that Extreme Demon Body would grant him tremendous power. In his 10,000 years in hell, Jiang Yu had never heard of such a thing, but that was something to research later. Having killed the demon beast, Jiang Yu eagerly activated his devouring power. As an investigator, he should preserve the monster's corpse, but the demonic energy gained from absorption was simply irresistible. As the devouring ended, Jiang Yu gained another 4 points of demonic energy. As expected, the B-rank demon beast didn't disappoint him. At this point, Jiang Chengzhu made another sound, curious about who Jiang Yu really was. Seeing this, the Demon King finally snapped out of his excitement, and slowly walked toward Jiang Chengzhu. Looking at the Demon King's expression, Jiang Chengzhu lost his previous arrogance, thinking Jiang Yu was going to kill him. But this time the Demon King had changed his mind, because Jiang Chengzhu still had value. He asked, "Who told you to deliberately provoke me?" Jiang Yu knew clearly that he had no real fame, yet Jiang Chengzhu not only recognized him, but also showed great hostility upon first meeting. There must be someone behind this. Seeing him remain silent, the Demon King lost patience, and delivered a vicious kick. Already severely injured, Jiang Chengzhu now suffered new damage. Jiang Yu asked coldly once more, and Jiang Chengzhu, not being particularly tough, immediately revealed Vice President Jin Yongshun. This left the Demon King confused. He should have no grudge with that person. After further questioning, Jiang Yu learned it was because Jin Yongshun had previously confessed to Che Yanzhu. Having been coldly rejected, he harbored resentment toward Che Yanzhu. and began to hate the Red Rose Guild. Jiang Yu had thought there was some conspiracy, but it was just a petty villain. He asked Jiang Chengju to show him a photo of the guy. Looking at it, Jiang Yu was somewhat surprised. He found that Jin Yongxun and Xixun looked somewhat similar, though it was probably just because they were both handsome. The Demon King didn't think much of it. Then he told Jiang Chengju he needed his help with something. Hearing this, Jiang Chengju didn't care what it was and immediately told Jiang Yu to give any orders. Seeing this, the Demon King smiled slightly, saying this would be good for him too. After a beating, Jiang Yu brought Jiang Chengju out of the portal. The moment they appeared, reporters immediately began questioning them. Facing everyone's curiosity, Jiang Yu's first words were to ask someone to call an ambulance, because Jiang Chengju had been severely injured by the monster. Jiang Yu explained to the reporters that only he and Chengju had survived. Many people were stunned by this statement. The collaboration between the two major guilds had resulted in such heavy casualties. Some wanted to contact the Flower Wolf unit to send more elite forces to kill the monster, but Jiang Yu told them it wasn't necessary. Though many people had been sacrificed, fortunately the mutant monster had been killed. A reporter asked, "Was it Mr. Jiang Yu who killed the monster? Could you tell us about the situation at the time?" But the Demon King said it was the hero Jiang Chengju who killed the monster. When someone wanted to know the detailed situation, Jiang Yu didn't refuse. He said the monster was indeed similar to what the officials had announced, a lion-headed creature with 5 legs whose power instantly killed the other teammates. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Chengju stepped forward and even told him to escape first. But he couldn't bear to leave alone, so he stayed to watch the battle. Though the fight was brutal, Chengju, risking his life, ultimately achieved victory. After the story, a reporter was curious. Didn't Mr. Jiang Chengju seem quite hostile toward you at first? Regarding this point, the Demon King explained that it was because Chengju didn't want him to be careless, so he deliberately mocked him to motivate his fighting spirit. At this point, everyone present was moved by Jiang Chengju's righteousness. The next day, numerous praising news stories made the front page, but unfortunately, Jiang Chengju ultimately became a vegetable due to brain hemorrhage. On the other side, Che Yanju also saw this news, but she wasn't as easily fooled as ordinary people. From Jiang Chengju's face, it looked like he had been beaten up. Just as Che Yanju was wondering what Jiang Yu had actually done, the woman in front of her couldn't help but laugh. She was amused by Jiang Yu's lies to the reporters, then asked Che Yanju, "Where did you find such an interesting newcomer?" The woman was Zheng Hyunju, Guild Master of Angel's Wing. Regarding Zheng Hyunju's question, Che Yanju didn't answer, called her an old lady, and told her to leave quickly. Though Zheng Hyunju was angry, the two soon turned to serious matters. Regarding this mutant monster, Zheng Hyunju suspected it was the work of the demon cult. Now, people outside the Big Five guilds would probably gradually learn about the demon cult. If the news that the demon cult uses people as sacrifices became public, the world would likely be thrown into chaos. Zheng Hyunju was curious about Red Rose's stance on this. Just then, Jiang Yu pushed open the door. The moment she saw him, Zheng Hyunju happily greeted him, saying she was Yanju's friend. Jiang Yu wanted to not disturb them and come back later, but Zheng Hyunju said they had pretty much finished their discussion. Then she pulled open the door and walked out. After she left, Jiang Yu wanted to know who that woman was, but Che Yanju only said she was someone she knew. Then she handed an S-rank access permit to Jiang Yu. This was what Wu Jiangyu had asked them to arrange before. Getting what he had dreamed of, Jiang Yu didn't forget to flatter her, but Che Yanju told him never to hunt in S-rank portals. Hearing this, Jiang Yu said nothing and changed the subject. He said he had heard most of their conversation outside, but Che Yanju had actually known from the beginning. Though it was guild confidential information, she would have to tell Jiang Yu eventually anyway. This was when Jiang Yu learned that the appearance of demon beasts was actually related to the demon cult. Che Yanju then revealed when the demon cult was established. No one knew to this day, and there was no information about how many members they had either. So currently, Red Rose was cooperating with the government to investigate. The other guilds only knew that Red Rose and the government had joined forces. Jiang Yu didn't understand why they would look for trouble. Che Yanju said, "Red Rose's participation in the demon cult crusade does have compensation, but they're no longer just doing it for the money. The real reason for continuing is that Red Rose has already sacrificed many members while investigating the demon cult, so now she absolutely couldn't just sit by and do nothing." Though he didn't know what happened before, from Che Yanju's words, it seemed their losses had been quite severe. Looking at Che Yanju, whose body radiated killing intent, Jiang Yu asked if the commission he had wanted help with earlier was related to the demon cult. Che Yanju straightforwardly admitted it. She planned to commission Jiang Yu to help crusade against them once they found traces of the demon cult. Because demon cult members were much stronger than ordinary cultists, while powerful players were very rare. Che Yanju wanted Jiang Yu to give her a clear answer. Even if he gave up now, she wouldn't stop him. Seeing Che Yanju's serious expression, Jiang Yu told her to relax. After all the help she had given him, he would have to show loyalty when the time came. Hearing Jiang Yu's answer, Che Yanju's seriousness instantly disappeared. Having Jiang Yu's response, she seemed much happier, and even rarely said thank you. But what Che Yanju didn't know was that even without Red Rose, Jiang Yu would still deal with the demon cult, since the more he killed, the more demonic energy he could absorb. After everything was settled, Jiang Yu left the Red Rose Guild, and when he left, he also got the car Che Yanzhu had arranged. Today, Jiang Yu had an important goal, so he navigated to another location. It turned out that his fifth awakening had given him an S-rank attribute, Master of Demons, which allowed him to summon demons from other dimensions, though he could only summon once every 3 months. According to Jiang Yu's judgment, portals were bridges between other dimensions and Earth. The higher the portal's rank, the stronger the monsters that could enter. This could be seen from those hell demons called rift fragments. If that was the case, Jiang Yu thought that using his summoning skill in higher rank portals would definitely produce stronger demons. Soon, Jiang Yu arrived at his destination, the entrance to the Water Garden S-rank portal. The security here was extremely strict. Fortunately, with his S-rank access permit, he was successfully allowed to enter. Watching the group of people needed just to open the door, Jiang Yu broke out in a cold sweat. Without Red Rose, he really couldn't imagine being able to come here. After waiting briefly, Jiang Yu finally stepped into the portal as he wished. Upon entering, he was immediately attracted by the scenery. If not for the S-rank monsters, Jiang Yu felt this place could serve as a resort. After walking a short distance, he chose a good position. For this demon summoning, if he could summon a 3-headed dog from the 3rd hell, Jiang Yu would be very satisfied. So he began preparing the summoning. As the status window prompt appeared, Jiang Yu's demonic energy spread out wildly. The summoning ritual wasn't as easy as he had imagined. Summoning demons required a lot of demonic energy to create rifts. Fortunately, Jiang Yu had abundant demonic energy and quickly succeeded. At this point, the status window had new information. Affected by the Demon Palace's demonic energy, Jiang Yu had created a deeper rift. Then the Gaia system appeared again. Due to functional damage, it couldn't block the connection to the other world. It then indicated that a dimensional portal to the Elta continent had been opened. Jiang Yu was worried something had gone wrong, but fortunately the window indicated the summoning was successful. However, the next second, he just looked up and was instantly speechless with shock, because what Jiang Yu had summoned was actually a wounded demon dragon. Its name was Echidna, and its rank was S-class. Looking at the dragon he had summoned, Jiang Yu noticed its condition seemed abnormal. Then some strange sounds came from the rift, followed by several people who clearly weren't from Earth jumping down. Their appearance confused Jiang Yu somewhat. Plus, Jiang Yu couldn't understand what they were saying at all. Though Earth's people's clothing had changed significantly nowadays, there was still a huge difference from these people. They looked like they had walked out of a fantasy. After listening to them for a while, Jiang Yu remembered he had a special authority, language power. Indeed, after using it, he could successfully understand the originally incomprehensible language. The leading man was called Leonard. He had wanted everyone to stay away from the demon dragon Echidna, but his companion told him to calm down, since the demon dragon was nearly dead anyway. Hearing this, Leonard breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing the group stabilize, Jiang Yu asked who they were. The leading man introduced himself as Leonard, 3rd prince of the Alnan Empire. The unfamiliar empire name and the strange continent from before, Jiang Yu had never heard of them. Looking more carefully, he saw that among them was not only an elf, but also someone who was clearly a dwarf. So these people really were from another world. Though he didn't know what grudge they had with Echidna, Jiang Yu couldn't let the demon beast he had finally summoned die. So he decisively used regeneration power on Echidna. Under the Demon King's authority, Echidna's wounds began healing rapidly. Noticing something was wrong, Leonard immediately questioned what Jiang Yu was doing. But the next second, the demon dragon called Jiang Yu master and thanked him for healing her. She was also apologetic about appearing in such a state, to which Jiang Yu told her not to mind. Hearing these words, Leonard immediately drew his sword against Jiang Yu. He never expected that someone he randomly encountered would be the demon dragon's master. Jiang Yu then asked a question: why did they want to kill Echidna? This question enraged the prince, as he couldn't tell if Jiang Yu truly didn't know or was pretending. He then stated that this evil demon dragon had created terrible droughts and plagues, and used magic to take countless lives in the empire. But Leonard's words were refuted by Echidna, who weakly explained that she didn't do those things, and Jiang Yu acknowledged Echidna's words. Because if he could manipulate natural disasters like droughts, wouldn't that make him almost godlike? The people before him couldn't possibly have injured her so severely. But the prince loudly insisted that everything was the magic dragon's doing, and if not, there was no other explanation for the events. To save the empire's people, the group immediately prepared for battle, determined to kill Echidna here. Jiang Yu was most disgusted by this type of stubborn person who turned a deaf ear to others' words and only sought to uphold their so-called justice. The next second he struck first, directly using burst power against the prince. This move was terrifyingly powerful. The people from the other world barely managed to dodge the attack, while the prince had powerful protective armor. After forcing them back, Jiang Yu stated plainly that even if everything they said was true, what did that have to do with him? Echidna was now his summoned beast. No matter what, Jiang Yu would never hand her over. Seeing this, Leonard was furious and considered Jiang Yu as evil as a demon. At these words, the Demon King laughed on the spot, saying that he was actually a demon. As if finding some excuse, Leonard immediately declared he would punish both the demon and magic dragon together, his passion filling his companions with motivation. Looking at these idiots, Jiang Yu wondered if they had taken the wrong medicine. After Leonard finished speaking, he instantly charged at Jiang Yu with his sword. Jiang Yu was startled after taking the frontal attack. Fortunately, he had equipment, otherwise pure defense couldn't have blocked such an attack. Then the Demon King also stopped holding back and used burst power at full strength. Faced with such a wide-range attack, the people from the other world could only defend passively. But Jiang Yu's attack wasn't over yet. With the skill activated, flame-wrapped stones immediately appeared in the air. Following Jiang Yu's movements, countless flame meteors wildly pelted the group. The warrior among them quickly moved to block and parry. However, Jiang Yu's firepower was too intense, and the flame meteors came from all directions. He turned to face two terrifying attacks. The warrior's eyes filled with despair. The next moment, explosions instantly erupted, Leonard calling out his companion's name. But what answered him was Jiang Yu's renewed attack. The mage and elf hadn't even reacted yet, when Jiang Yu and Leonard were already engaged in fierce combat. At this moment, whirlwinds rose around his opponent, and when Jiang Yu wondered what skill this was. The prince shouted Alnon sword technique, first form blade storm. Hearing his voice, Jiang Yu timely used iron arm strength. After blocking the attack, he launched a counterattack, then kicked Leonard flying with one foot. Announcing skill names while fighting, though Jiang Yu found it puzzling, he was still grateful for this fighting style. The beaten prince then charged forward. His sword had become very powerful at this moment, and his attacks were extremely tight. Combined with the wind-wrapped blade, even Jiang Yu found it somewhat troublesome to handle. Although his opponent's attacks had grown stronger, Jiang Yu still successfully dodged them. Leonard's strength was greater than he had imagined. If he hadn't achieved 5 awakenings, today might have been truly dangerous. Seeing Jiang Yu continuously dodging, Leonard grew more excited, feeling his power had overwhelmed Jiang Yu. But now the Demon King had thought of a good method. This guy's strength was decent, but unfortunately too honest. Having formed a devious plan, Jiang Yu suddenly shouted blade slash, and seeing this, Leonard raised his sword to block. But the Demon King didn't swing his short blade, instead kicking and breaking his thigh. With his lower body severely injured, the prince's expression immediately changed drastically. He couldn't understand why Jiang Yu had clearly said blade slash just now. Seeing this, the Demon King became even happier. Fighting idiots was truly entertaining. Leonard now understood his defeat was certain. Wanting his companions to flee as continuing would mean certain loss. The Demon King quite approved of this approach. But the female mage said they wouldn't abandon Leonard. Seeing this, the prince urged them to hurry and run, entrusting the Elnon Empire to them. Originally, Jiang Yu wanted to watch the group's drama, but Leonard disgusted him beyond tolerance, so he kicked the opponent hard again, then prepared to finish off Leonard with one strike. What Jiang Yu didn't expect was that the mage actually dared to block his blade, while begging Jiang Yu to spare the prince, saying if he must kill someone, kill her first. Because the prince was not only the people's hope, but also the one Lena loved most. Faced with his companion's confession, Leonard seemed quite surprised. The mage continued pleading with Jiang Yu, saying as long as he spared the prince's life, she would give her life to Jiang Yu and do whatever he wanted afterward. But Jiang Yu's answer was no. These words meant absolutely nothing to him. In Jiang Yu's combat philosophy, once you've decided to take up weapons to kill, you must be prepared to be killed. Playing the victim before the Demon King would only make him lose all interest and quickly end the battle. Jiang Yu's cold reaction left both of them stunned. Now Jiang Yu was too lazy to listen to the mage's words, so he raised his blade again. But at this moment, the status window issued a warning that confirmed beings other than summoned beasts had invaded through the portal. The Gaia system would automatically eliminate the people from the other world, and immediately the group began showing new changes. Initially, Jiang Yu was puzzled, but after realizing what was happening, he immediately stabbed toward the prince. The Demon King didn't want to let Leonard, this fat sheep, escape, because the equipment on him was definitely valuable. But ultimately it was too late. Even though Jiang Yu was already very fast, unfortunately the Gaia system's teleportation speed was faster. Unable to obtain the spoils of war, Jiang Yu was furious, not expecting the system that had been silent all along to suddenly oppose him today. Fortunately, Echidna below was still there, otherwise the Demon King would probably have died of anger. Jiang Yu was curious about what this Gaia system really was. Could it be something designed to block beings from other worlds? He had heard about it before when returning to Earth, but now it seemed unable to function normally. Continuing his speculation, Jiang Yu felt the recent appearance of hellish monsters might be related to the Gaia system's abnormality. Plus, learning that such things had never appeared before, meaning the monsters had only appeared in recent weeks. Originally, he had overheard Che Yanzu and other speculation, and also thought it was the demon cult's doing. But it seemed the Gaia system's damage was related to him, so the monster's appearance was likely because of him. The more he thought this way, the more panicked Jiang Yu became. He only wanted to leave hell, never intending to destroy any system. At this time, Echidna asked, "Have those people all left?" After getting a response, she once again thanked Jiang Yu for saving her. Next, Jiang Yu didn't continue thinking about it. Since there was no definitive answer for now, he might as well focus on his own matters. So he began treating Echidna again. After treatment, Jiang Yu felt Echidna's body was too large, so he wanted her to try becoming smaller. Finally, Echidna transformed into a small dragon and went out with Jiang Yu. On the way, Jiang Yu learned that the Elnor continent was a world completely different from Earth, while the Prince's Alnan Empire was the largest nation in the continent's center. The people there used swords and magic. It was a world with fairies, monsters, and dragons. Echidna was curious about where Jiang Yu was taking her. Learning it was to return to his dwelling, she understood it as Jiang Yu's den. The Demon King quite liked this term. Being in a den with Shuya was indeed nice. Thinking about going to her master's den, Echidna was very happy. She hadn't shared a den with anyone for a long time. Wu Jiangyu was somewhat surprised. Have you been alone all this time? Then Echidna told him she originally lived with her father, but one day her father abandoned her and disappeared. After that, she had been alone in a place called Leo, reading books. Until much later, someone suddenly broke in. That person was Leonard. Speaking of this, Echidna felt very wronged. She had clearly done nothing wrong, yet no one was willing to believe her. She wanted to know if Jiang Yu was willing to believe her. Echidna's appearance was all too familiar to the Demon King, because he had once been the same way. In the depths of Jiang Yu's memory were past experiences of growing up in an orphanage, even though he couldn't even fulfill the wish of seeing his parents. The him of that time still longed to be loved, wanting others' trust and recognition. Coming back to himself, Jiang Yu smiled faintly. Even if the whole world doesn't believe you, I'm still willing to believe you. The Demon King's rare gentleness also moved the small dragon. Echidna said she would always remember Wu Jiangyu's name. When they returned home, Shuya was instantly attracted by the cute little dragon. Jiang Yu had thought she would be repulsed. After all, Echidna was a monster. But Shuya simply couldn't resist such an adorable summoned beast. After being held for quite a while, the shy Echidna finally broke free and quickly hid behind Jiang Yu. Seeing this, Jiang Yu understood she still needed time to adapt. He then began asking about the team's hunting situation, to which Shuya said everything was going smoothly. Before long, they would be able to achieve 3 awakenings and go to sea-level portals. Han Shuya was very grateful to Jiang Yu. Everything going so smoothly now was thanks to him. Otherwise, she wouldn't have met such good teammates. After hearing Shuya's words, Jiang Yu said he should be the one saying thank you, because with Shuya there, he could experience the feeling of being loved. After dinner, Shuya wanted to sleep with Echidna. Jiang Yu immediately agreed to this, inwardly very envious of the little dragon's treatment. The next day, when Jiang Yu had just opened his eyes, he felt very tired and didn't even want to get up. But he eventually got up to eat. Even Shuya was surprised because Jiang Yu got up later than usual today. Wu Jiangyu didn't know why. He just had no energy, and after telling Shuya he should be fine, Jiang Yu sat down to prepare for breakfast. But then he heard someone ask if he had slept well last night. After answering subconsciously, Jiang Yu finally noticed something was wrong because Echidna had transformed into a little girl. Wu Jiangyu hadn't expected she had this ability, about which Echidna wasn't clear. When sleeping last night, she felt unprecedented power. The next day she woke up like this. Hearing this, Jiang Yu understood. Him being so tired was likely related to her. At this time, Jiang Yu was also curious if Echidna could change back. Hearing Jiang Yu's words, she immediately stood up saying she could, then told Jiang Yu to watch carefully. But just as Echidna began transforming, Jiang Yu felt great regret, because her energy was too strong, instantly blowing away all the food. So Jiang Yu quickly told her to stop. But it was still too late. Even the windows were shattered. Now Jiang Yu was certain that transforming into either dragon or human form was fine, while Echidna kept apologizing, because she had made a mess of the house. But Shuya didn't blame her, just told her not to transform at home in the future. Jiang Yu roughly guessed that after Echidna became his contracted demon, she was influenced by him, not only gaining enhancement, but even using human language naturally. Echidna being able to transform into human form was good news for Jiang Yu, as taking her out should be much more convenient in the future. Soon after, Shuya scheduled a repairman, then said she was going to buy clothes, because Echidna wearing her old clothes didn't fit well. Both Shuya and Echidna hoped Jiang Yu could go together, but today Jiang Yu had other things to do. Thinking he was going hunting again, Shuya suggested he could rest well today given everything that happened, but Jiang Yu said he wasn't going hunting today. He had to go somewhere to handle business. Soon after parting ways, Wu Jiangyu headed to the Red Rose Guild. He told Che Yanzu about summoning a dragon and encountering people from the Elnor continent, finally having to let them go because of some Gaia system. Now Jiang Yu had a new favor to ask. Since his summoned beast had taken human form, he wanted Che Yanzu to help get an ID card. After hearing Jiang Yu's portal experience, though it was absurd, Che Yanzu didn't doubt it. As for the Gaia system matter, she had never heard of such a thing. Thinking about Jiang Yu summoning a dragon, Che Yanzu was curious. Just what kind of person was he? The things he did were becoming increasingly outrageous. Seeing Che Yanzu's conflicted expression, Jiang Yu told her it was too late to be conflicted now, so she should help him get the ID card first. Having no choice, Che Yanzu told Jiang Yu to send photos later. He thought the matter would end there, but Jiang Yu had another favor to ask. But just as he began speaking, someone knocked on Che Yanzu's office door. The visitor's arrival surprised Jiang Yu, because it was Bai Huayan from the Flower Wolf unit. Bai Huayan was saying she had something to discuss, but then discovered Che Yanzu had a guest, though Che Yanzu said it was fine as they were almost done talking. Bai Huayan guessed that the person before her should be the rising star Red Rose had been supporting recently. Then she greeted Wu Jiangyu, but after hearing Jiang Yu's name, Bai Huayan instantly remembered. This was the person she had encountered at the sea-level portal before. Che Yanzu hadn't expected the two had met before, so she thought Jiang Yu had beaten up the portal guards, but instead heard Bai Huayan praise Jiang Yu as a polite player full of justice. At these words, Che Yanzu couldn't believe it. These descriptions didn't seem to fit Wu Jiangyu at all, but she was too lazy to dwell on it. Wanting to quickly discuss business, Che Yanju asked what Jiangyu had wanted to say earlier. Jiangyu then asked if she could arrange a formal S-level portal access permit. The reason was that Jiangyu wanted to go hunting. Now Che Yanzu was dumbfounded, and Jiangyu continued saying that bringing his summoned beast along would be sufficient. Che Yanzu was curious. Jiangyu should know what was in the Water Garden portal, right? Of course he knew clearly, having investigated it after all. In the Water Garden S-level portal were top-tier monsters like flying dragons and mountain giants, as well as monsters like giant ogres. Che Yanzu finished the remaining one for him. There was also a monster called Orku Arrow inside. Che Yanzu said that if he was determined to go hunting, he must absolutely not approach the lakeside. Hearing this, Wu Jiangyu told her to rest assured, but Bai Huayan nearby was somewhat confused. A few weeks ago, she remembered Jiangyu was still at sea-level portals. But Che Yanzu didn't give her an answer, just saying there were inside circumstances and that Jiangyu's strength was formidable. Bai Huayan also understood Jiangyu had been hiding his strength back then. Though unclear about the specifics, she still congratulated Che Yanzu on finding such a remarkable player. Learning he could get the permit tomorrow, Jiangyu stopped bothering them further. As he left, Che Yanzu reminded him to definitely be careful. Even the country's top players would avoid the Water Garden portal. After Jiangyu left, Che Yanzu asked what Bai Huayan wanted with her. Had they caught the demon cult's trail? But she said not yet. However, this matter was already worth anticipating. Hearing this, Che Yanzu was puzzled, so Bai Huayan explained. They had previously notified that an internal operative had successfully infiltrated the demon cult. Now the undercover agent had obtained crucial video evidence. But the current situation was complex. The Flower Wolf unit had gone to great lengths to receive contact from the operative. Understanding they needed support, Che Yanzu asked about the meeting location. When she heard Water Garden Flower Creek Station, she suddenly remembered. Wasn't this near the portal Wu Jiangyu was going to? Time passed and the next day arrived. Egidna had put on her new clothes early in the morning. These were what Juya had taken her to buy yesterday. Jiangyu also thought they looked very good and especially suited Egidna. Getting Jiangyu's approval made her extremely happy. And today, Jiangyu had obtained his permit. This time he was preparing to take Egidna hunting together. Shuya was actually quite envious inside. She also wanted to hunt with Jiangyu, but she understood her level wasn't sufficient yet. On the other hand, learning that Shuya would also go to the portal later, Jiangyu said he would go too then, because he wanted to team up with Shuya for hunting. Hearing this, Shuya was very excited, saying she would wait for Jiangyu. His reason for doing this was also understanding that Shuya should have accumulated much combat experience. He needed to guide her toward greater growth. After saying goodbye to Shuya, Wu Jiangyu went out with Egidna. Soon after entering the Water Garden portal, he told Egidna never to approach the lake water. There were very dangerous things inside. Also not to return to her original form, wait for him to lure out the monsters, and not to attack directly but help from the sidelines. Having Egidna memorize the precautions, Jiangyu also used observation power. After some exploration, he found a giant ogre. Just starting to hunt S-level monsters, Jiangyu wasn't greedy. Hunting them one by one was the safest approach. Then he used temptation power to lure it, while having Egidna prepare to provide support at any time. After giving instructions, Jiangyu used the demon Baphomed's divine power. The next second he charged toward the monster's direction. The giant ogre was also attracted over. Neither of them retreated. They exchanged punches upon meeting. In terms of strength, Jiangyu was basically equal to the monster, but he also marveled that his opponent was indeed S-level. Even using divine power, he had only caused minimal damage. However, Jiangyu knew he could handle it. Then he stopped competing in brute strength. After dodging the punch, the giant ogre slammed down hard, while Jiangyu took advantage of the dust to dodge, simultaneously using extreme dark power to condense a spear. This strike successfully pierced through the monster's head, but the opponent could still resist. Unexpectedly, Jiangyu was grabbed by the giant ogre. Seeing this, Egidna decisively acted. Her dark storm attack instantly caught the unprepared monster off guard. Successfully breaking free, Jiangyu first praised Egidna, then used divine lightning power. At this moment, the giant ogre was already at its last breath. After suffering the lightning power, it let out its final wail. Soon it died completely. With the battle over, Jiangyu successfully leveled up. This made him very happy, though S-level portals were highly difficult, generally requiring players above level 65 to team up. The experience gained was indeed very rich, making this trip extremely worthwhile. As for Egidna, she quickly ran over, wanting to know if she had been helpful. After getting Jiangyu's affirmation, Egidna said that since being summoned, she felt she had become much stronger. Wu Jiangyu thought that if Egidna was this strong in human form, fighting in her original form would probably be several times stronger. But they hadn't been happy for long when noisy sounds suddenly came from the air. Looking up, Jiangyu was dumbfounded. He hadn't expected the recent battle to attract so many flying dragons, so he grabbed Egidna in his arms. With too many opponents, Jiangyu decided to avoid them first. Since he needed to break through, he used divine sky power. These monsters pursued closely, their speed far exceeding Wu Jiangyu's imagination. In just a few breaths, they had caught up to him and launched attacks. After easily dodging, Jiangyu planned to shake them off with full force. However, at this moment, Echidna was trembling with rage, because the flying dragon's attack had accidentally torn her new dress. Jiang Yu still wanted Echidna to calm down. But the next second, she had already transformed into her original form. With greatly increased power, Echidna instantly killed several flying dragons. Her claws were like a dimensional strike. Feeling the dragon's overwhelming presence, these flying dragons immediately turned to flee. But facing the greatly strengthened Echidna, escape was clearly unrealistic. Now Echidna was like a beast that had lost all reason. She was frantically slaughtering monster after monster, while the Demon King watched silently from the side. And her experience was skyrocketing. Jiang Yu didn't know what to say. Echidna's strength was absurdly powerful. He couldn't imagine how she had nearly died at Leonard's group's hands before. It seemed that gaining his demonic energy enhancement had made Echidna far too much stronger. A strange thought arose in Jiang Yu's mind, that in her original form, Echidna might actually be more powerful than him in terms of raw strength alone. After some time passed, the slaughter-finished Echidna finally came to her senses. Currently, they were still in the portal. Jiang Yu asked if Echidna's body felt any abnormalities. She now had no strength left, and felt somewhat unwell. Hearing this, Jiang Yu roughly understood this was the after-effect of overexerting too much power. Just earlier, when Echidna returned to her original form, she immediately fainted. Understanding what had happened, the torn dress still made her very sad. About this, Jiang Yu said clothes could be bought no matter how many. Echidna still wanted to say something. Jiang Yu said with a serious expression that he hoped Echidna wouldn't casually transform in the future. Seeing this, Echidna also stopped dwelling on the dress matter, apologizing to Jiang Yu and promising never to do this again. But since it was her first time in combat, Jiang Yu thought perhaps he'd been too harsh. After further comforting Echidna, Jiang Yu prepared to take her back to buy new clothes. Though today had unexpected developments, fortunately the harvest was still abundant. Finally, Echidna had killed 8 flying dragons in total, bringing Jiang Yu's level to 49. He had expected Echidna to be strong when returning to her original form, but hadn't imagined she could single-handedly kill so many flying dragons. However, the cost was his demonic energy decreasing while Echidna lost her ability to move. Now Jiang Yu roughly understood. The reason she could transform into human form and become stronger was because after becoming a summoned beast, Echidna absorbed his demonic energy, meaning the more of Jiang Yu's demonic energy Echidna used, the stronger power she could unleash. If Jiang Yu's demonic energy increased, what Echidna could use would also increase accordingly, but this placed a great burden on her body. Just as Jiang Yu was about to leave, 2 giant ogres charged out, so Jiang Yu gently set down the sleeping Echidna again. Originally he had planned to stop for the day, but since they delivered themselves, Jiang Yu was too lazy to hunt cautiously this time. However, just as he was about to act, the 2 monsters were instantly eliminated by someone. This immediately dissipated Jiang Yu's fighting spirit. As for the 2 who acted, Jiang Yu actually knew them. Even though Jiang Yu had only returned to Earth recently, he had seen related news. The one wearing a hat was Earth Guild's Master Che Minga, while the other was more famous, Universe Guild Master and H country's #1 player Bai Jiang. The 2 thought they had saved Jiang Yu. After all, Jiang Yu looked like the type of player who had just lifted level restrictions and came to tour S-level portals. Bai Jiang was very enthusiastic, feeling that meeting was also fate, so he said he was willing to protect Jiang Yu to the exit. Because he saw that Jiang Yu and Echidna were already very tired about this, Jiang Yu repeatedly said it wasn't necessary, he could get out by himself. But Bai Jiang was very insistent, saying he wasn't a bad person, and with Jiang Yu bringing a child, staying with them would be safer. But Jiang Yu still refused, reasoning that the 2 killing the monsters was already a great help. He couldn't continue causing trouble. With the conversation reaching this point, Bai Jiang didn't force it, so they parted ways at this location. Not long after, when Echidna woke up, Jiang Yu was already carrying her outside. Today's hunting with Shuya would have to be postponed. Next, he was taking Echidna to buy clothes. After explaining the situation to Shuya, Jiang Yu opened his phone navigation to go to the department store. But after walking for a short while, he suddenly had an ominous premonition. The navigation led Jiang Yu into an alley. The quietness here surprised him. After walking a bit further, Echidna suddenly told Jiang Yu. She smelled blood ahead and was certain it was human. At the same time, in the direction Echidna indicated, a severely injured man was frantically fleeing. He was the Flower Wolf unit member who had infiltrated the demon cult. It turned out that after this period of investigation, the man had finally discovered the demon cult was hiding even more insane activities. Though he avoided internal surveillance and successfully filmed a crucial video, because of interference devices preventing information leaks, the man couldn't successfully send out the video. Finally, to make contact, he forcibly contacted headquarters. But as a result, the man was discovered by the demon cult. After a fierce battle and escape, he felt he couldn't hold on much longer. But the man didn't want to die here. No matter what, he had to deliver the memory card to Captain Bai Huayan. After running forward a few more meters, the man collapsed on the ground. His body was no longer obeying him. If only he could reach the portal and find the Flower Wolf unit, he could succeed. But the man could no longer move forward. Just then, Echidna brought Jiang Yu to find the man. Discovering a severely injured person, Jiang Yu was puzzled about the situation. But unexpectedly, the man grabbed his hand and handed the memory card he had been desperately protecting to Jiang Yu. Finally, before he could finish asking who to deliver it to, He completely collapsed on the ground. Zhang Yu wanted to know what this memory card was, but no matter how much he called, the man didn't respond again. This made him curious. What could be in the memory card to make someone fight so desperately for it? Driven by curiosity, Zhang Yu decided to first check the man's status window. Then he used observation power on him. What Zhang Yu didn't expect was that this man named Jiang Dongxun was actually a player who had achieved 6 awakenings. But generally, entering S-level portals required at least level 60 with 7 awakenings. His situation couldn't be the same as his own, which proved Jiang Dongxun hadn't come out of a portal. So now the only clue was the memory card in his hand. After inserting it into his phone and opening it, Zhang Yu found there was only one video inside. But when he clicked to watch it, he was so shocked he couldn't speak, because inside was actually some kind of adult video. Zhang Yu didn't understand why the other party would give him this kind of thing with such a tragic expression. And Jiang Dongxun didn't look like he was joking around. Feeling like he had missed something, the Demon King began watching attentively. But the more he watched, the more absorbed Zhang Yu became. After all, he hadn't watched such content for 10,000 years. Seeing Zhang Yu's expression, Echidna was curious what he was watching. Her voice startled Zhang Yu. Then the Demon King explained he was looking at very important clues. And just then, several swift sounds came from ahead. Soon a group of people found Zhang Yu and the others. These people wore very strange clothing. Zhang Yu didn't understand what they were here for. The leader, seeing Zhang Yu holding his phone, guessed he had already seen the video on the memory card. Hearing this, Zhang Yu was somewhat surprised. Was his reaction that obvious? Then the other party also said that since he had already seen it, they absolutely couldn't let Zhang Yu leave alive. At these words, the Demon King was even more confused. Was watching adult videos illegal? Zhang Yu's reaction also made the group ahead laugh. They thought Zhang Yu was pretending to know nothing. Understanding these people wanted to attack him, Zhang Yu naturally wouldn't surrender. Then they immediately engaged in battle. But Zhang Yu's strength was almost overwhelming. In just a few breaths, he had knocked down all the charging people. Seeing this scene, the leader couldn't sit still. He urgently told everyone to release their power without holding back. Otherwise, everyone might be finished today. And from Zhang Yu's body, the leader sensed a deadly aura. As the remaining people lifted their power restrictions, Zhang Yu and Echidna simultaneously detected a familiar aura. Because the group ahead now all emanated demonic energy. The Demon King immediately understood. They must be from the demon cult. Sensing danger, Echidna wanted to join the battle, but was refused by Zhang Yu. He also told her not to worry, because no one understood how to deal with demons better than the Demon King. Facing this group of transformed demon cult members, Zhang Yu felt no fear. Using blade power, he instantly pierced through one enemy's body. Group attacks were meaningless to Zhang Yu. His blade was frantically stabbing into these demons' weak points, and each time was a full-force strike. He also used the blade to spin wildly inside their bodies to prevent the demon's regeneration ability. For a moment, the entire alley was filled with countless screams. Such a terrifying Demon King also made those who still wanted to act consider retreating, but now it was too late to run. The next second, Zhang Yu used the skill blade mastery. Then many blades drilled up from the ground and quickly slaughtered each demon cult member. After the battle ended, Zhang Yu took out his phone again. He couldn't understand why this type of video was worth the demon cult's desperate fight for. But he had to admit, it was still quite worth watching. Just as Zhang Yu continued appreciating it, someone made noise overhead. Hearing the sound, Zhang Yu just looked up and discovered the newcomer was Che Yanzu. She was curious why Zhang Yu was here. While Zhang Yu worriedly asked if Che Yanzu had seen anything. Finding her looking confused, Zhang Yu finally relaxed. He wanted to know what Che Yanzu was doing here, but she didn't tell him the specific reason, just saying she was handling important business. At this time, Bai Huayan above also hadn't expected to encounter Zhang Yu, but soon she noticed the man on the ground. Then Bai Huayan quickly jumped down, asking Zhang Yu if he had seen a memory card. Hearing this, Zhang Yu took it out, seeing it was indeed what they were looking for. Che Yanzu told him to quickly give it to her, because the video inside was very important to them. Seeing Zhang Yu's unwillingness and even pulling his hand back, Che Yanzu again told him to hand it over immediately. She needed to use it right now. This made Zhang Yu even more embarrassed. He was puzzled about what Che Yanzu wanted to do. Under repeated urging, Che Yanzu became somewhat anxious. Seeing this, Zhang Yu was also helpless, so he had to give her the memory card. Zhang Yu now thought there might be some inside story. After all, Che Yanzu couldn't possibly just want to watch adult videos. And in the next second, Zhang Yu was instantly stunned. Che Yanzu said since she already knew the contents, she would watch and analyze it together with Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu of course refused, because he felt it was not a good idea. At this time, Che Yanzu also noticed the important person on the ground. But Bai Huayan said very depressedly that Jiang Dongxun was already dead. Next, she asked Zhang Yu what had just happened here. So Zhang Yu explained everything that had happened before. After learning that he was attacked right after receiving the memory card, Bai Huayan understood that Zhang Yu had truly been dragged into this by accident. She then invited Zhang Yu to join their cooperation. Just as she was about to ask Che Yanzu about something, she noticed her expression was off. Che Yanzu's face turned bright red as she loudly questioned Zhang Yu, "What's in there?" She even suspected that Zhang Yu had secretly swapped the video. But fortunately, Bai Huayan explained that this was an encrypted video. Only their headquarters decryption device could read the actual content. Cheonzu didn't understand why they needed to use this type of video encryption. Bai Huayan explained that their entire headquarters highly recommended this approach. Although they had used animal documentaries before, adult videos worked best. Cheonzu then turned on Zhang Yu, asking why he didn't give them a heads up since he had already seen it. Zhang Yu felt quite innocent about this. Seeing someone getting angry at Zhang Yu, Echidna stepped forward and told Cheonzu not to bully Zhang Yu. Only then did Cheonzu remember to ask about Echidna's identity. Zhang Yu told her this was the dragon he had mentioned before. Cheonzu found it hard to believe. In her imagination, Wu Jiangyu's dragon should have been something terrifying. While they were chatting, Bai Huayan had already contacted the Flower Wolf headquarters at Shuyuan Station, so their group set off. A while later, they arrived at their destination. After the subordinate finished reporting the situation, Bai Huayan announced Jiang Dongshun's death in the line of duty, hoping everyone wouldn't let down his efforts. Later, Bai Huayan would personally comfort Jiang Dongshun's family, and she had already instructed subordinates to handle the compensation. What remained was to have someone read the video from the memory card. Bai Huayan also asked if General Zhang Xianzi had returned, but the subordinate told her the general had gone to investigate another country's SS-level portal. Zhang Xianzi was Bai Huayan's superior and the supreme commander of the Flower Wolf unit, with strength second only to Bai Zhang. Bai Huayan thought that if he had been there, perhaps no one would have died. After waiting briefly, the Flower Wolf unit decrypted the real video. In the video, there was a figure called the Cardinal. They were preparing a summoning ritual. With sacrifices provided by a certain large guild, the demon cult members all seemed very excited, because the players the other party provided were basically B-grade or above in attributes. Just as the cultists were fantasizing about success, they received a warning from the Cardinal not to let their guard down yet. The video was quite long, ending with the scene where Jiang Dongshun was discovered. After watching all the video content, Zhang Yu guessed that the one wearing the red mask with patterns was the person spreading the demon cult everywhere. There were likely more than just one or two cardinals like this in the demon cult. Most importantly, the video mentioned summoning and large guilds. Zhang Yu obtained 3 important pieces of information. First, above the cardinal, there must be even more powerful figures. Second, the demon cult was preparing to summon something to Earth. Third, and most importantly, there was a large guild providing them with sacrifices. So Zhang Yu offered his suggestion: investigate the large guilds. Bai Huayan wanted to know his reasoning. Zhang Yu explained that since the demon cult now knew about the spy, their summoning plan would be hidden even more thoroughly, making it harder for them to obtain related clues. Therefore, only one method remained: find the large guild providing sacrifices to the demon cult. The only known exception was Red Rose. Zhang Yu's words earned Bai Huayan's praise. She even suspected he had worked in intelligence before. But what gave both Bai Huayan and Cheonzu headaches was how to find the guild colluding with the demon cult. Even the Flower Wolf unit didn't dare randomly provoke large guilds, as forced investigation would inevitably cause unnecessary conflict. For this, Zhang Yu thought of a good solution: cast bait. Those demon cult guys desperately needed high-attribute players as sacrifices. Cheonzu mentioned that their guild had also lost many newcomers because of this. So, Zhang Yu's method was to spread rumors, letting the demon cult know that low-level portals had produced newcomer players with S-grade or higher talent, or that a certain player had caught Red Rose's attention, and so on. Bai Huayan felt that since the demon cult already knew about the spy, they shouldn't risk taking action. But Zhang Yu confidently told them that the demon cult would definitely act, because from seeing those guys after demonization, Zhang Yu knew they couldn't control their craving for power. Newcomers with extremely high talent would definitely be the perfect bait to tempt them. Moreover, no matter how well the demon cult hid, their ongoing summoning couldn't be completely concealed. Hearing this, Bai Huayan also agreed, because even with soldiers patrolling the portals, player killings hadn't decreased. Next was considering who to use as bait, since players who made names for themselves in low-level portals had basically all joined guilds. Cheonzu also told Zhang Yu not to think about using Red Rose members as bait. Although it was selfish, unless it was all-out war, he wouldn't send guild members. Zhang Yu expressed understanding, and he had actually already thought of who to use as bait. That person was poor Jin Shijun. Over the next several days, Jin Shijun spent his time working, hunting, and taking care of his sick mother. So far, Zhang Yu had been observing Shijun for a full week. His behavior of caring for his mother every night even moved the Demon King to tears. Since deciding to use the bait plan, everything had gone smoothly. Rumors of Jin Shijun's high talent were spreading rapidly as planned. Though not wildly popular, the speed of spread was already ideal. The reason Zhang Yu kept watch was to wait for the fish to bite. Only 2 people were implementing this plan. Park Sun-woo was responsible for planning and promoting the reputation, while Zhang Yu checked for any traces of the demon cult or large guilds. After all, Bai Huayan was too rigid and didn't like this approach, while Cheonzu only gave orders, so Zhang Yu took matters into his own hands. After Shijun finished caring for his mother and eating, he set off as usual. Seeing this, Zhang Yu began to move. To ensure authenticity, Zhang Yu hadn't told Shijun and Shuya about the bait plan. Soon, Shijun met up with Taishu and the others. Today, they would enter a C-grade portal for the first time. Zhang Yu was now mingling in the crowd. During preparation, everyone noticed Shuya wasn't in good condition. The reason was that Zhang Yu had been away from home for a full week. Shuya sent messages and called every day, but Zhang Yu was always busy and couldn't come back. Others guessed he might have encountered something in a portal and would return once it was resolved. Shuya hoped so too, but she couldn't help overthinking. Whether he was tired of her cooking, and that's why he hadn't come back, or if he was living with another woman outside. Enfei comforted Shuya not to overthink. After all, Jiang Yu couldn't possibly leave such a beautiful Shuya to find other women outside. But then Enfei chuckled and said maybe Jiang Yu, being young and vigorous, couldn't bear sharing a room with such a beautiful older sister and went out to cool down. But as soon as Enfei finished speaking, Shijun knocked her on the head and told Shuya not to take Enfei's words to heart. In his view, Jiang Yu was a high-level player and must have unavoidable circumstances, so they should wait patiently for his return. Shishun could understand Shuya's feelings, but he believed the only thing they could do now was work hard to become stronger. Then they could fight alongside Jiang Yu. Thinking of this, Shuya also regained her spirits. Then they entered the portal to hunt. Watching this, Jiang Yu felt gratified that everyone had reached level 20 and completed their third awakening so quickly. But having been away from home for a week, Jiang Yu felt somewhat helpless, though it was for work. Seeing Shuya's struggles, he really couldn't bear it anymore. And not just Shuya, Echidna at home must be very sad too. Jiang Yu himself hadn't eaten properly in days. He wanted to end everything quickly, but there had been no progress so far. Entering the portal, Taishu and the others found the cave giants. While blocking the monsters' attacks at the front, Taishu quickly created an opportunity to attack. Seeing this, Shijun struck decisively. When he used the diving dragon sword technique, Shuya provided Shijun with enhancement effects. With the blessing, Jin Shijun pierced through the cave giant with one sword. Despite receiving fatal damage and being near death, the monster still wanted to counterattack before dying. But Shijun couldn't be bothered to dodge, because in the next second, Enfei's magic completely finished off the giant. After the battle, Taishu also breathed a sigh of relief. These C-grade giants were much stronger than D-grade ones, and Enfei told him not to let his guard down. Fortunately, Shijun said his experience had increased, so the giant was indeed dead, and everyone gathered together. Shuya and Enfei could feel the power of the monsters here. Previously, hunting 5 lizardmen was easy, but more than 3 of these giants would be dangerous. Taishu could hardly imagine Jiang Yu hunting alone, while Shijun was happy that he hadn't expected everyone to reach the level of hunting cave giants in less than a month. Hearing this, Taishu felt it was also thanks to Shijun, because his strength was truly remarkable. Praised Shijun remained modest, then reminded everyone to extract the magic stones first. The blood from the cave giant's heart could be used as material for recovery potions, and with Shuya there, they could sell it. Seeing the group successfully hunt C-grade monsters, Jiang Yu felt very proud inside. Their progress was incredibly fast. Each of them knew what they should do. By now, the team no longer needed his help. What puzzled him most these past days was that the fish still wouldn't bite. A whole week had passed, and despite rumors of a player with S-grade talent or above, the demon cult had managed to resist taking action. Jiang Yu didn't believe they were cautious to that degree. Such a tempting newcomer who hadn't joined a major guild yet. In his experience, there was no more appetizing prey than this. The news had been out for so long that the demon cult and any colluding guilds must have received it. Then Jiang Yu used his observation power as usual. He wanted to see if there was any movement today. Unexpectedly, after scanning around, he discovered 2 players rapidly approaching. They dispatched a cave giant with one move, clearly high-level players. More importantly, they didn't even take the magic stones, and the direction they were heading was exactly where Jin Shijun and his group were. After waiting a week, there was finally progress. Jiang Yu could no longer contain his excitement. Now that the fish had bitten, he was somewhat eager to devour them. While Jiang Yu waited for the enemies to arrive, Shijun and his group killed another cave giant. This battle was even easier. Taishu couldn't help but marvel at how Shijun's strength kept growing, because he had successfully killed the monster without even needing Enfei's assistance. Jin Shijun said it was thanks to everyone's help. Enfei even joked that he should take it easy, or she might be out of a job. While they were chatting, Shijun suddenly noticed something new and told everyone to prepare for battle, because another cave giant had appeared behind Shuya. Jin Shijun was about to have Enfei cover Shuya's retreat, but the next second, the cave giant was directly killed. Seeing the person in front, Shijun was so shocked he couldn't speak, because the newcomer was Jin Yonghun from the Mill Guild. Taishu and Enfei also recognized his identity. Hearing him greet Shijun, they wondered if the two knew each other. Shijun didn't answer, but he and Jin Yonghun did know each other. The other was vice president of one of the country's 5 major guilds. His father was also the chairman of the major company Mira Electronics, Jin Jaehyun, who had single-handedly created the Mill Guild. Therefore, Jin Yonghun could be called the ultimate rich second generation, but his abilities were worlds apart from his father's. Jin Jaehyun was also one of the country's top players, but Jin Yonghun was only average. However, with a good father backing him, relying on power and wealth, no one dared provoke this guy. Now Shishun didn't understand why the other would appear in a low-level portal. Learning he was here to hunt, Shishun suggested they go their separate ways. But Jin Yonghun felt that Shishun was being a bit disrespectful to his older brother. This statement immediately angered Shishun because he didn't acknowledge him as his brother. Jin Yonghun felt the same way. After all, they couldn't be considered ordinary brothers, saying Shijun had lowly blood flowing through him and indeed couldn't be brothers with him. This statement made Shijun furious again, and he immediately drew his sword. Seeing this, Jin Yonghun was unconcerned and told him to come try if he had the confidence. Though angry, Shi Jun hadn't lost his cool enough to attack. But Jin Yonghun had no intention of letting him go, because he had also heard the rumors. He hadn't expected Shi Jun to awaken as a player, and one with at least S-grade attributes. Shi Jun didn't understand what he meant by this. Then Jin Yonghun said that he happened to need such a perfect sacrifice. And after careful observation, every member of Shi Jun's team was a high-talent newcomer. Meeting here, Jin Yonghun couldn't help but marvel at his good luck. Hearing this, Taishu quickly stepped in front of everyone. Jin Yonghun also took notice of Shueya, with a wicked expression on his face. Finally, Shi Jun couldn't hold back and launched a preemptive strike at him. But surprisingly, Jin Yonghun knocked Shi Jun away with one move. While everyone was shocked and worried, Shi Jun was also very surprised inside. Even with their level difference, he shouldn't have been countered so directly at such close range. On the other side, Jin Yonghun told his subordinate not to interfere. He was ready to properly discipline his little brother. Then he directly attacked Shi Jun. Seeing Shi Jun defending himself desperately, he became increasingly arrogant. But in terms of combat experience, Jin Yonghun was completely outmatched by Shi Jun. After defending for a while, Shi Jun found an opening to counterattack. However, before he could swing his sword, the opponent's blade struck Shi Jun at incredible speed. The next second, he was kicked away by Jin Yonghun. Now Shi Jun finally understood that the previous sword strike wasn't made by Jin Yonghun, but was driven by the sword in his hand. Shi Jun's guess was correct. The reason was that the sword had a special device installed called the Absolute Defense System, made by the Mill Guild. Once installed on a weapon, it could sense the opponent's attacks through sensors, and even allow the user to automatically counterattack and dodge. Jin Yonghun, caught in a momentary flaw, was furious. So he prepared to seriously injure Shi Jun with one sword strike. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Taishu blocked the attack. Jin Yonghun was somewhat surprised by this. Taishu said that although he didn't know their relationship, as long as he was still standing, he would never allow anyone to casually bully Shi Jun. Then he pushed Jin Yonghun away with full force. But hearing the others' laughter, Taishu also realized something was wrong. It turned out Jin Yonghun's absolute defense had generated a shield. Taishu's attack had no effect on him at all. As the shield's magical power expanded, it sent Taishu flying into the air. Then he crashed heavily to the ground. After dealing with Taishu, Jin Yonghun curled his lip, because Shi Jun had recovered with Sueya's help. After receiving the enhancement blessing, he once again displayed his diving dragon sword technique. The next second, he charged straight at Jin Yonghun. This was the first time he had revealed the fifth form, Wind Dragon manifestation. Facing Shi Jun's full power attack, Jin Yonghun clearly couldn't handle it. As Shi Jun changed the direction of his sword energy, he instantly sent Jin Yonghun flying. Shi Jun thought he had successfully defeated his opponent, but with the Absolute Defense's protective barrier, his current power wasn't enough to break through. After standing up, Jin Yonghun kicked Taishu aside. Shi Jun had now reached his limit. At this moment, Jin Yonghun suddenly pointed his sword at him. Once the system finished copying, Shi Jun also sensed something was wrong, because Jin Yonghun had also used the diving dragon sword technique's fifth form. He laughed maniacally, wanting Shi Jun to die by his own technique. Jin Shi Jun wanted to resist this sword with all his might. But already having a level disadvantage, plus having little magical power left, he was once again injured by Jin Yonghun. Seeing this, Shueya quickly rushed forward to heal Shi Jun, and Fei used magic to delay the enemy's advance. But his lightning ball had absolutely no effect against the defensive barrier. Jin Yonghun continued mocking Shi Jun, saying no matter how much he struggled and tried, he could never surpass him. Seeing the opponent slowly approaching, Shueya could only give Shi Jun emergency treatment first. After telling Shi Jun to pull himself together, she went to help Fei. But even with both of them attacking simultaneously, it still had no effect. This situation made Shi Jun very self-reproachful. He had wanted to level up and seek revenge for his mother, but now he couldn't even protect his cherished companions. It was all because he was too weak and not strong enough. Just then, Shi Jun heard a voice asking if he needed power. On the other side, Zhang Yu had been watching the battle. Now he had finally confirmed that the guild colluding with the demon cult was the Mill Guild. What surprised Zhang Yu today was that he hadn't expected Shi Jun to be the illegitimate son of a wealthy family, and brothers with Jin Yonghun. But this wasn't important. Next, he prepared to step in and handle the situation. However, just as Zhang Yu moved his body, he heard Shi Jun's angry roar from below. As Jin Shi Jun's desire for power grew stronger, the aura around him became increasingly terrifying. Shi Jun not only wanted to defeat the enemy before him, but also wanted to protect those he cherished. The next second, Jin Shi Jun's innate talent finally awakened, and he accepted the power from the martial god. Seeing this scene, Zhang Yu understood this was the protagonist's crisis awakening. As the master of They Mo, Zhang Yu could sense Shi Jun's change. Jin Shi Jun had now accepted partial power and successfully obtained the advanced techniques of the diving dragon sword technique. After comprehending the new techniques, he learned the Cloud Dragon sword technique and Cloud Dragon cloth. Regaining some strength, Shi Jun immediately charged at Jin Yonghun. Having received the martial god's power, Shi Jun's abilities had greatly improved. The current Jin Yonghun couldn't withstand his sword techniques at all. The protective barrier was immediately pierced the moment it appeared. Jin Yonghun, taking damage for the first time, found it hard to believe. His absolute defense system had actually failed. Unwilling to accept reality, Jin Yonghun counterattacked, using the diving dragon sword technique's Wind Dragon manifestation. But Shi Jun had already mastered higher-level sword techniques. After using the Cloud Dragon sword technique, Jin Young-hun was beaten into continuous retreat. Relying on his equipment's automatic mechanisms, he could only barely defend. But the more they fought, the more Jin Young-hun questioned his life. The opponent's power and speed were clearly inferior to his own, yet he was being beaten without any ability to fight back. Jin Young-hun wanted to create distance to temporarily ease Shi Jun's offensive, but it was too late. Even if he wanted to redeploy his protective barrier, it couldn't withstand Shi Jun's sword. Just then, the man who had come with Jin Young-hun made his move. He easily blocked the attack. The man's single swing of his axe created a powerful impact that directly hit Shi Jun. At this point, Jin Young-hun was furious, questioning why Chan Myongo had been idle before. Though he had been ordered earlier not to interfere, Chan Myongo didn't dare offend him, so he could only apologize to Jin Young-hun. As for Shi Jun, he had suffered serious injuries. The opponent's strength far exceeded his own. Just the impact from swinging the weapon had caused him internal injuries. He could barely handle Jin Young-hun. But against this guy, Shi Jun couldn't think of any way to win. Chan Myongo then gave him a choice. As long as he admitted he could never surpass Vice President Jin Young-hun and crippled one arm, he would be willing to let Shi Jun live. How could Shi Jun possibly agree to this? And as soon as he spoke his refusal, Chan Myongo pressed him down with his axe. While torturing Shi Jun, he told him to accept the choice he had given. Shi Jun desperately wanted to rise and resist, but he simply couldn't muster the strength. Chan Myongo also said that the weak only had the right to endure pain. Hearing this, Jin Shi Jun wanted to fight even more. He had been persisting all along, just to personally tell his mother that he would overcome all pain and hardship. Unfortunately, Shi Jun still couldn't fulfill his dream now. He couldn't even protect the companions who had journeyed with him. And Fei and the others also had no magical power to resist. Just as Shi Jun was about to accept death, he heard a familiar voice. It was Zhang Yu blocking the enemy's attack. Regarding what Chan Myongo had just said, Zhang Yu actually felt the same way. After kicking the opponent hard to the ground, he wickedly said that next he would let Chan Myongo properly enjoy the rights of the weak. Wu Jiangyu's arrival surprised Shi Jun, so he asked why Zhang Yu was here. Hearing this, the Demon King said he would explain later. After all, he couldn't say things like, "I was using you as bait and hoping every day that the demon cult would come catch you." Then Zhang Yu told Shuya and Fei to take the two injured away. As for Chan Myongo, he stood back up, mistakenly thinking Zhang Yu was from the Flower Wolf unit. Zhang Yu couldn't be bothered to explain much to him, so he told Chan Myongo to come at him. Zhang Yu's arrogance made Chan Myongo directly swing his axe down. But just like the gap between him and Shi Jun, Wu Jiangyu simply caught the axe with one hand. The opponent still wanted to force it down, but the axe was already making cracking sounds. Chan Myongo didn't understand who Zhang Yu was, or why he possessed such powerful strength. After discovering his subordinate was no match, Jin Young-hun immediately reminded Chan Myongo to use demonic energy, but he was actually very reluctant inside. Seeing this, Jin Young-hun said it was an order, requiring Chan Myongo to sacrifice himself for the Mill Guild. Hearing this, he stopped hesitating. The next second, he began releasing the demonic energy from his body. Watching Chan Myongo's transformation, Zhang Yu seemed somewhat expectant. Soon, the opponent had completely transformed into a demon's appearance. Having witnessed the entire process, the Demon King couldn't help but marvel that Chan Myongo was the most demon-like he had ever seen. But even after demonization greatly increased his strength, Zhang Yu simply used his divine power authority to throw a punch, and actually punched straight through Chan Myongo. This scene completely terrified Jin Young-hun. He even wondered if Zhang Yu was a player from the rankings. But regardless, being able to easily kill Chan Myongo after using demonic energy was definitely not someone he could contend with. Jin Young-hun immediately turned and fled. He also took out a communication crystal, preparing to contact his father Jin Jae-hyun. But the next second, Zhang Yu suddenly appeared, then knocked Jin Young-hun to the ground. He was well aware of his purpose. Wasn't it just to contact Jin Jae-hyun? At this point, Zhang Yu told him he could contact whoever he wanted. He wouldn't stop him. Soon, Jin Jae-hyun on the other side received the communication. He was asking his son what the matter was. Then he heard Zhang Yu's voice. The Demon King told Jin Jae-hyun that his son was now his hostage. As Jin Young-hun's screams continued, Jin Jae-hyun, realizing it was real, told Zhang Yu to stop and asked what he needed. Zhang Yu was very decisive, saying that if he wanted to save Jin Young-hun, he should immediately set out for the C-grade portal at Moksan Street, preferably coming alone. But at this point, Zhang Yu couldn't help but laugh loudly, because he understood people like Jin Jae-hyun. They would never come alone. So Zhang Yu told him not to play any tricks and to bring people with confidence. Wu Jiangyu's words made Jin Jae-hyun feel he was crazy. He wanted to know if, as a government direct unit, Zhang Yu had considered whether he could bear the consequences of making such demands. But Zhang Yu said he wasn't from the Flower Wolf unit. He even revealed without hiding that he was not only alone but also single. Hearing this, Jin Jae-hyun was furious. Did Zhang Yu not know his identity? Zhang Yu let out a burst of laughter, then asked in return if Jin Jae-hyun knew who he was. After hearing the other's silence, Zhang Yu coldly said that if he didn't know, he would have to accept punishment properly. Of course, the target of punishment was Jin Young-hun. The painful wails from the communication crystal made Jin Jae-hyun completely furious. He said that if it was for ransom money, then Zhang Yu had no way back, because he would definitely tear Zhang Yu to pieces later. The Demon King on the other end just smiled faintly, then wished him good luck. Jin Jae-hyun had already made contact, and next he needed to notify the Flower Wolf unit and Red Rose. At this point, Jin Young-hun still hadn't given up. He said that if Jiang-yu needed money, no matter how much he could tell his father, just begging Jiang-yu to spare him. After telling him he didn't want money, Jin Young-hun couldn't help but wonder what Jiang-yu actually wanted. Unexpectedly, the Demon King very honestly said he just wanted Earth to be filled with peace and tranquility. For once telling the truth, Jin Young-hun didn't believe it at all. But Jiang-yu was too lazy to continue wasting words. Now he was going to do something to Jin Young-hun. This was also thanks to the phone call just now. Jiang-yu understood that Jin Jae-hyun definitely loved Jin Young-hun deeply, and he was going to use this deep fatherly love. After more than 20 minutes, Wu Jiangyu brought Shuya and the others out. Seeing their figures, Che Yanju quickly walked forward. After receiving Jiang Yu's call, she and Bai Huayan had brought all the forces they could temporarily gather. They hadn't expected to wait so long without Jiang Yu showing up, and almost thought he had run away. Jiang Yu explained that he had just made some preparations, while Taishu and the others also recognized Bai Huayan and Che Yanzu. Seeing Shuya in the team, Che Yanju guessed her relationship with Jiang Yu was unusual and went forward to ask who she was. After Shuya introduced herself, she noticed Che Yanzu kept sizing her up, finally showing a face full of dissatisfaction. Seeing the two's appearance, Jiang Yu said he would introduce them to each other later, as there were more important matters at hand. Then he told Shuya to take the other three back for treatment first. Bai Huayan beside them was curious. Was the bait Jiang Yu mentioned on the phone the person he was dragging? When Jiang Yu pulled Jin Young-hun up, everyone present recognized him. They hadn't expected Jiang Yu to be this crazy, but this way Jin Jae-hyun indeed couldn't remain indifferent. Since learning that large guilds were colluding with the demon cult, Che Yanju knew in her heart that all-out war would come sooner or later, but she hadn't expected it to come so quickly. Bai Huayan also told Jiang Yu that due to the urgent situation, they couldn't gather many forces in time. Now going to all-out war with the Mill Guild would probably be somewhat difficult. Jiang Yu told them not to worry. As long as they made Jin Jae-hyun lose his rationality, it would definitely become very easy to deal with. Hearing this, Che Yanju was somewhat puzzled. Even capturing Jin Young-hun wouldn't make Jin Jae-hyun easily lose his rationality. But Jiang Yu told them to just wait and see. After a few more minutes, people from the Mill Guild arrived. Everyone immediately took defensive positions. Jin Jae-hyun also finally appeared. He had already had suspicions. Now seeing Che Yanzu and Bai Huayan, he basically understood that their activities had been exposed. But regarding the two not deploying their full forces, Jin Jae-hyun felt they were still too young. Then he asked with killing intent who had been talking to him on the phone. Hearing Jin Jae-hyun's words, Jiang Yu happily greeted him. Seeing this, Jin Jae-hyun hadn't expected Jiang Yu to be so thick-skinned. The next second, the Demon King's actions shocked everyone even more, because he threw Jin Young-hun directly over. This also startled Jin Jae-hyun, instantly not understanding what Jiang Yu was trying to do. Che Yanju and Bai Huayan were also stunned on the spot, surprised that Jiang Yu had just sent the hostage over like that. At this time, the Mill Guild people checked and found that besides being injured, Jin Young-hun had nothing installed on his body. There was no life-threatening danger either. When Jin Jae-hyun wondered what this meant, Jiang Yu happily said he felt a father would definitely worry about his son, so he let the two greet each other in advance. Ignoring Jiang Yu's words, Jin Jae-hyun prepared to check on his son's condition, but the Demon King could barely contain his laughter. At this moment, Jin Jae-hyun was calling out to Jin Young-hun. After the latter opened his eyes, he asked about his son's condition. But then something strange happened. Jin Young-hun actually didn't recognize his father, Jin Jae-hyun. Hearing his son call him Mr. and act completely unfamiliar, Jin Jae-hyun couldn't believe such an absurd thing. He repeatedly told Jin Young-hun, "I am your father." But the result was Jin Young-hun's resistance, telling him to let go quickly. Jin Young-hun's amnesia and madness made Jin Jae-hyun unable to suppress his fury any longer, thinking that Jiang Yu had dared to do this to his son. The next moment, Jin Jae-hyun's terrifying aura erupted instantly. Seeing this, Che Yanzu immediately told everyone to retreat. Standing at the front, she was very curious about what exactly Jiang Yu had done. On the other side, the Mill Guild people couldn't stop their president at all. Then Jin Jae-hyun charged toward Jiang Yu. Che Yanzu also showed no fear, summoning her equipment. She went forward to meet the opponent. Both Jin Jae-hyun and Che Yanzu were powerhouses who had completed their 9th awakening. Using S-grade attribute Inner Aura, Jin Jae-hyun's entire body was filled with destructive power, while Che Yanzu wielded the legendary weapon Bloodthirsty Chain in her hands. The next second, these two top-tier players finally began their official duel. As Jin Jae-hyun's fist struck Che Yanzu's weapon, it generated intense magical fluctuations. It seemed like this punch had shattered the Bloodthirsty Chain, but in reality, Che Yanzu used the momentum to pull back and create distance. After her magic activated, countless chains grew out once again. Unable to dodge, Jin Jae-hyun was bound tightly. Even though the Bloodthirsty Chain was already causing damage, Jin Jae-hyun didn't care at all. He broke free from all the chains through sheer brute force. Seeing this, Che Yanzu hadn't expected it either. The next second, Jin Jae-hyun's skill Purgatory activated, and the ground cracked instantly. Fortunately, Che Yanzu jumped into the air in time, avoiding the fighting spirit rising from underground. But in mid-air, she had lost her ability to dodge. Jin Jae-hyun naturally wouldn't miss this opportunity. His fist wrapped in fighting spirit was already swinging out. Unexpectedly, Baek Hwa-am joined the battle at this moment. The new opponent caught Jin Jae-hyun off guard. The next second, he took Baek Hwa-am's hurricane-slash head-on, taking a killing move from a same-level player at close range. Even with his fighting spirit protection, Jin Jae-hyun was already severely injured. Being hindered by both opponents, Jin Jae-hyun cursed furiously on the spot, and Jiang Yu's expression made things even worse for him. Now Jin Jae-hyun had only one goal, to tear the Demon Lord to pieces. Immediately, all the fighting spirit in his body erupted. Then he slammed into the ground with tremendous force. The power of this strike was terrifying, and its speed was so fast that Baek Hwa-am was hit immediately. But Jin Jae-hyun's attack wasn't over yet. A second fighting spirit eruption subjected Baek Hwa-am to an even more powerful fighting spirit attack. Having successfully injured one person, Jin Jae-hyun charged at Jiang Yu once again, while telling the still interfering Che Yanzu to get out of the way. He was now in a desperate state. But how could Che Yanzu possibly let him have his way? Next, the bloodthirsty chain attacked again, and after hitting its target, it transformed into blades at the end. Then it pierced through Jin Jae-hyun's body completely. But his madness was far beyond Che Yanzu's imagination. Jin Jae-hyun actually charged through the chains without regard for anything, although his opponent's strength was indeed formidable. Che Yanzu's attacks weren't easy to endure either. After quickly landing on the ground, her bloodthirsty chain immediately grew out frantically. This successfully blocked Jin Jae-hyun, who was rushing toward Jiang Yu. Che Yanzu understood the battle would end soon. No matter how powerful Jin Jae-hyun was, he was ultimately just a player similar to herself. His attacks had been accumulating damage all along. It was impossible for him to remain completely unharmed. Next, she just needed to find an opportunity to deliver a fatal blow to Jin Jae-hyun. Being continuously pierced by the bloodthirsty chain, Jin Jae-hyun became even more frenzied. The next second, his fighting spirit erupted, and he completely broke free from the chains. However, Jin Jae-hyun was now at the end of his rope. Fortunately, he successfully reached Jiang Yu, but he discovered that the Demon Lord not only showed no remorse, but was smiling eerily. Seeing this, Jin Jae-hyun charged over madly, preparing to kill Jiang Yu with one punch. But before his fist could land, Jin Jae-hyun was pierced by a sword. This became the final straw that broke him. After taking the sword from Baek Hwa-am, the aura around Jin Jae-hyun instantly dissipated, and his whole body began trembling uncontrollably. The battle thus came to an end. Since Jin Jae-hyun had charged up alone, even if the Mill Guild members wanted to help, they simply couldn't. When Baek Hwa-am pulled out the sword, Jin Jae-hyun surprisingly still didn't fall. Steadying himself, he walked step by step toward the Demon Lord. Seeing this, Baek Hwa-am didn't attack again, because they understood he had no strength left. So they just watched as Jin Jae-hyun walked over. Until now, Jin Jae-hyun's purpose remained unchanged. He only wanted to avenge Kim Young-hoon, but his weak fist hadn't even touched Jiang Yu's clothes. When Jin Jae-hyun knelt before Wu Jiang Yu, now the Demon Lord curiously asked him, wasn't he going to kill himself? To which Jin Jae-hyun didn't even have the strength to answer. After everything ended, they returned to the Flower Wolf Unit headquarters. At this time, Che Yanzu was asking Jiang Yu what exactly he had done to that kid Kim Young-hoon before. Hearing this, Jiang Yu decisively explained that he had just slightly tampered with his memories. Che Yanzu didn't expect Jiang Yu to have such an ability. She was hearing about it for the first time in all these years. Then she wanted to know Jiang Yu's true identity. To this, the Demon Lord said she didn't need to know too much, because they had already helped each other, regarding those demon cult members who took away Che Yanzu's true self. Jiang Yu also said he would definitely help her uproot them completely. This was enough for both parties. Having said this much, Che Yanzu stopped pursuing the matter further. After all, she now regretted raising a tiger by her side. Shortly after, they entered the interrogation room together. Baek Hwa-am got straight to the point. He wanted to know when Jin Jae-hyun started dealing with the demon cult, and about the so-called summoning and the identity of the red-masked bishop. But Jin Jae-hyun was too lazy to answer, just laughing involuntarily. His attitude made Baek Hwa-am very angry. He then demanded again that he tell him, while warning Jin Jae-hyun that he was no longer the influential Mill Guild president in the country, but just a criminal colluding with a crazy cult. As a result, Jin Jae-hyun said that no matter how much power the Flower Wolf Unit had, they were still just the government's dogs. And he had connections with many congressmen, so he considered himself one of the masters holding the dog leash. But just after mocking Baek Hwa-am, the next second, Che Yanzu struck directly, too lazy to ask nicely. Even after being kicked several times by Che Yanzu, Jin Jae-hyun still didn't want to say a word. Finally, Baek Hwa-am stopped Che Yanzu, because if they continued beating him, he would be killed. At this time, Jiang Yu finally stepped forward personally. Walking up to him, he told Jin Jae-hyun to have a good chat with him. But Jin Jae-hyun was very stubborn. No matter who came, he wouldn't reveal anything. However, after hearing that Jiang Yu could turn Kim Young-hoon back, Jin Jae-hyun's expression immediately changed. Jiang Yu's condition was also simple. As long as he confessed everything about the demon cult, he guaranteed to restore Kim Young-hoon to his original state. This undoubtedly hit Jin Jae-hyun's weak spot. Then Jin Jae-hyun cursed that Jiang Yu would definitely go to hell. Hearing this, the Demon Lord just smiled mischievously. After all, he'd been there before. Next, Jin Jae-hyun stopped hiding, It turned out he met the Cardinal Bishop 8 months ago. What everyone didn't expect was that Jin Jae-hyun actually didn't know the other party's identity either. When they first met, that Cardinal Bishop proposed to him. As long as he could provide sacrifices for the ritual, he promised to turn Jin Jae-hyun into a demon. This confused Chae Yanzu. Why would Jin Jae-hyun accept this? What else was he dissatisfied with that he would do such a crazy thing? To this, Jin Jae-hyun was very disdainful. He said she would ask this only because Chae Yanzu knew nothing about demons. Jin Jae-hyun accepted because demons could gain eternal life. Even if their neck was cut off, as long as their heart was still beating, they could be immortal and ageless. Baekwa-am wondered if Jin Jae-hyun just believed what the other party said, and the next second, Jin Jae-hyun made a shocking statement. He told the others that he was certain because the demon cult had existed for over 1,000 years. To be precise, those people had been living in this world for much longer. They lurked around the world secretly expanding their influence, but only started official activities in recent years. Jiang Yu originally thought the demon cult was an organization born after the Day of Mutation, not expecting them to have existed for over 1,000 years. In Chae Yanzu's eyes, Jin Jae-hyun was a complete madman, actually kidnapping so many players for sacrifice just for longevity. To this, Jin Jae-hyun felt no remorse at all. He told the three that a demon's body could preserve consciousness, and could stimulate stronger and insatiable desires. Meaning not only would the body be eternally young and long-lived, but they would never get tired of life. The eternal life of both spirit and body made it impossible for him to refuse. Of course, Chae Yanzu wouldn't believe it, but Jin Jae-hyun was very certain, because he wouldn't take risks on things he wasn't sure about. As for Jiang Yu, he was very clear inside that insatiable desires weren't as wonderful as imagined. No one understood demon life better than him. In the end, Jin Jae-hyun knew just as little about demons. At this time, Jin Jae-hyun mentioned that through sacrifice, several guild members had already gained demonic energy, which was a power from hell, similar to magic but different. Chae Yanzu thought Jin Jae-hyun also had it. But unexpectedly, he hadn't had time to receive demonic energy. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to capture him. As for the reason, to completely become a demon required more preparation. If he rashly received demonic energy, his desires would spiral out of control and he'd become a mindless monster. Hearing this, Chae Yanzu was shocked that knowing this would happen, he still let his people receive demonic energy. To this, Jin Jae-hyun laughed heartily. He thought being able to immediately gain powerful strength made them pretty good as disposable soldiers. As for the summoning, it was the demon cult preparing to summon demons to Earth. Jin Jae-hyun wasn't clear about the specific summoning method and location, only that according to the bishop, the dimensional barrier preventing demon summoning had suddenly weakened recently. Learning that Jin Jae-hyun was told this news over a month ago, Jiang Yu immediately broke out in a cold sweat, because he had already guessed that the dimensional barrier weakening was definitely due to himself. This also meant that the reason the demon cult started taking action was because when he returned to Earth, he accidentally damaged the Gaia system, while Chae Yanju beside him was very puzzled why Wu Jiangyu's expression looked so terrible. At this time, Jiang Yu asked about the current state of the dimensional barrier, and according to Jin Jae-hyun, it was still getting weaker. He also guessed that after the Gaia system was destroyed, it had lost its self-repair ability. If this continued, Jiang Yu felt that demons and those magical creatures would probably join forces to rule Earth, and those guys from the Elno continent were probably not easy to deal with either. Thinking of this, the demon lord was going crazy inside. He never thought he would cause such a huge impact back then, but now he couldn't handle this problem either, so he still prioritized solving the demon cult. So Jiang Yu asked about the demon cult's domestic headquarters, and where the red-masked bishop with the head pattern was. To this, Jin Jae-hyun thought telling them was meaningless, because the other party should have already moved to another location, and might have already prepared the summoning ritual. Hearing this, Chae Yanzu was very confused. Obviously, because there weren't enough sacrifices, the Mill Guild went to capture Kim Shi-hoon, but unexpectedly Jin Jae-hyun said he also wasn't clear. These contradictory words made Chae Yanzu somewhat angry. The sacrifices were provided by the Mill Guild. She didn't believe Jin Jae-hyun wouldn't know if there were enough. However, Jin Jae-hyun smiled eerily, then told everyone that they provided sacrifices to the demon cult on a performance basis. With these words, Wu Jiangyu was the first to react. He told Baekwa-am and Chae Yanzu. It seemed there wasn't just one guild providing sacrifices to the demon cult. Hearing this, the two immediately understood that things were far more complex than they had imagined. Meanwhile, at the demon cult's new base, that cardinal bishop had already learned of Jin Jae-hyun's capture. He thought the other party could at least be somewhat useful, but ended up being captured so easily. The subordinate reported that, fortunately, other guilds continued to provide sacrifices, so the plan hadn't gone awry. Although Jin Jae-hyun's impact wasn't great, the cardinal bishop couldn't understand what made Jin Jae-hyun lose his rationality. From the battle process, he guessed could it be because of that last guy? When they first met last time, the cardinal bishop also learned Jiang Yu's name. So he decided to properly confirm next time what was special about Jiang Yu. Next, the bishop asked his subordinate if the church's support had arrived. Hearing this, someone reported it had arrived. This time they were given magic crystals condensed from demonic energy. Not only could this make the plan complete faster, it could also enhance the cardinal bishop's power. With good news, the bishop's mood improved considerably. The church hadn't given new instructions this time, so the bishop ordered to proceed according to the original plan. Their next target was actually the monster Araquero from the S-rank portal. After some time, when the interrogation ended, Jiang Yu and the others prepared to leave. Although things had returned to square one, they had at least gained considerable harvest. When parting, Baekhuam called out to Jiang Yu. His contribution in this operation was significant, so the government was preparing to give him some rewards. The specific reward content would be detailed later. Hearing this, Jiang Yu also became very expectant. After the three separated, Jiang Yu finally returned home. Seeing Shueya and Agidna was very surprising. During this time apart, Agidna missed Jiang Yu every day. Hearing her ask what he had been doing, Jiang Yu apologetically said he had some matters to handle, and Agidna thought she had done something wrong. She was also worried that Jiang Yu would abandon her. Fortunately, Wu Jiangyu told her not to overthink. This time was just an emergency situation. He would absolutely never leave again in the future, although there was no solution to the demon cult matter. But Jiang Yu also felt very sorry inside. After all, Agidna had just escaped her lonely life, yet he had disappeared for a whole week. While comforting Agidna, Jiang Yu also told Shueya that things were over. He was sorry for leaving quietly for so many days without explaining. But Shueya didn't mind. She believed Jiang Yu would definitely explain everything to her in the future. Shueya, being so understanding, almost moved Jiang Yu to tears. More importantly, Shueya had already cooked kimchi soup waiting for him. This instantly made the demon lord's mouth water. 2 days later, Jiang Yu and the others went to visit Shihun together. Now Shihun also understood that Jiang Yu had been lurking around them because he learned about the rumors concerning himself and was worried he'd be captured by the demon cult. Of course, this was what Jiang Yu told Shihun. He certainly didn't dare reveal the truth. After explaining for a while, Shueya suddenly became a bit downcast. Because the more Jiang Yu hid from them, the more she felt the distance between them was growing. And Wu Jiangyu apologized again. He shouldn't have hidden things and made Shueya worry. Seeing this, Shueya said she was also being too talkative. Jiang Yu must have his own difficulties, and he didn't need to apologize to her or anything. But Jiang Yu thought Shueya was already his family, so his apology was appropriate. He indeed shouldn't have made his family worry for so many days. Then he promised Shueya that this kind of thing would absolutely never happen again. Jiang Yu's words made Han Shueya very happy. The next second, she said that since they were family, she requested that Jiang Yu not be so polite when talking to her in the future. The reason was she noticed that Jiang Yu and Che Yanzhu were very casual and natural with each other. Hearing this, the demon lord immediately understood Shueya's meaning, so he quickly agreed. As for the others, they watched with great interest. After chatting for a while, Shueya and Jiang Yu's relationship was also rapidly warming up. The two of them being lovey-dovey made Agidna, who was being ignored, very depressed. Then she directly squeezed between the two while asking Jiang Yu to peel an orange for her. Although he didn't want to disturb them, Shihun still couldn't help calling Jiang Yu. He really wanted to know about some things. Seeing his hesitation, Wu Jiangyu told Shihun to ask whatever he wanted. Hearing it was about Kim Young-hoon and Jin Jae-yoon's situation. Jiang Yu truthfully told him that those two would be imprisoned for life, and he didn't need to worry about them being released. This incident couldn't be settled with money. There was also the fact that both Mill Electronics and Mill Guild had fallen apart because of this incident. Next, Jiang Yu also said he had actually heard about Shihun's situation, being forced into huge debt by Jin Jae-hyun and Kim Young-hoon's schemes. Now Jiang Yu told Shihun he could obtain full compensation through legal means. And regarding his mother's illness, Jiang Yu said he would help together, letting Shihun's mother receive better treatment at a good hospital. Wu Jiangyu's words moved Kim Shihun to tears. He choked up while thanking Jiang Yu, and said Jiang Yu was his lifelong benefactor. Shihun wanted to be like Tae-soo, becoming Jiang Yu's sworn brother, treating him as his big brother from now on. Hearing this, the demon lord instantly felt overwhelmed with guilt, but he still agreed to Shihun becoming his little brother. While being very grateful to Jiang Yu, Kim Shihun said he wanted to be honest with everyone. He had been deliberately hiding something all along, then said quite openly, actually, the rumors from outside weren't wrong. He had indeed gained a special attribute in his first awakening. He was a descendant of the SSS rank war god. But because his current level was low, the attribute wasn't fully unlocked. Fortunately, after last time, he could already use the war god's power. Shihun's words shocked everyone. From the day of mutation until now, no one had ever awakened such a high-level attribute on their first awakening. Jiang Yu thought this was just information he already knew. But unexpectedly, Shihun described that when he first awakened as a player, he received a different message than others. The content was that because the Gaia system was damaged, Shihun was chosen as a guardian. This surprised even Jiang Yu. Even a ranked player like Che Yanzhu had never heard of the Gaia system. He didn't expect to hear about it again from Shihun. Most importantly, Kim Shihun was also chosen as a guardian, so Jiang Yu quickly asked when he awakened. Hearing it was May 22nd, Shueya couldn't help but interject, because this was the day she and Jiang Yu first met. Now everything was clear. The reason Shi-hoon could awaken as a guardian was because Jiang Yu accidentally damaged the Gaia system. In other words, Kim Shi-hoon was very likely the key to repairing the system. Thinking of this, Jiang Yu felt very fortunate inside. Indeed, his decision to make him his servant back then was absolutely correct. Seeing that Shi-hoon's condition was normal, Jiang Yu prepared to leave. But just as he stood up, Shi-hoon suddenly grabbed his clothes. What made Jiang Yu feel somewhat uncomfortable was that Kim Shi-hoon wanted him to stay a bit longer. With this appearance, Jiang Yu quickly understood why. Just like Echidna was very clingy to him, as a demon servant, Shi-hoon would also instinctively be close to his master like a summoned beast. Plus, Kim Shi-hoon's gaze made even the demon lord start to overthink. After entrusting the team to Shi-hoon, he immediately jumped out of the hospital window. Time passed for several more days. Recently, Jiang Yu and Echidna had been hunting continuously. Today, they cooperated as usual to kill monsters. With Echidna's restraint, Jiang Yu decisively used the Iron Axe's power. But dealing with S-rank monsters, this wasn't enough. So he added another authority to the Iron Axe, the power of freezing. As the Demon Lord swung with force, 2 S-rank giant ogres were hit on the spot. As their bodies rapidly froze, the next second they shattered into ice fragments and died completely. After killing these 2 monsters, Jiang Yu's level reached 50, achieving his 6th awakening. This time he was very excited to see his new attributes. But just like last time, it still showed question marks. He needed to achieve the extreme demon body before his attributes would be fully unlocked, but he didn't even know what conditions were needed to achieve it. Echidna saw the dejected Jiang Yu and worriedly asked what was wrong, to which Jiang Yu told her he was fine. Just then, Jiang Yu's communication crystal received a message from someone. It was Shuya looking for him. They had basically finished packing things at home and were just waiting for Jiang Yu to come over. But Shuya's mother still wanted to tidy up, so she told them to go to the new house first. After coming out of the portal, Jiang Yu drove to pick up Shuya first and came to the new home. Such a spacious house made Shuya feel somewhat uncomfortable. She didn't expect that Jiang Yu, having finally gotten a house, would be willing to let her and her mother live together. Hearing this, Jiang Yu said they were family, and he didn't want to live alone in such a big place. He also told Shuya that it was actually prepared by the Red Rose Guild. Learning the truth, Shuya was happy on the surface but actually felt disappointed. Because she understood the gap between herself and Che Yanzu was too big, the other party had bought a sky-high apartment in the city center without blinking and given it to Jiang Yu. Although she really didn't want to admit defeat, she had to acknowledge the distance from Che Yanzu. At this time, Echidna asked Jiang Yu what he was doing tomorrow. Learning that Jiang Yu had nothing planned, she really wanted to go out and play together. To this, Jiang Yu also happily agreed. The next day, they first went shopping at the mall. Watching Shuya pick out clothes for Echidna, Jiang Yu remembered last time they were probably like this too. Echidna was very close to Shuya, which also made Jiang Yu feel good. He had originally worried that Echidna would only stick to him, and couldn't get close to other people. Fortunately, with Shuya, Echidna could definitely adapt well to Earth's environment. The only thing that made Jiang Yu uncomfortable was, he had already been carrying too many bags. The Demon Lord didn't dare imagine how much more they were going to buy. After the 3 continued shopping for a while, Jiang Yu discovered many delicious things. Seeing this, Shuya understood that he probably had never been to this kind of food court before. So she told Jiang Yu there were many foods and snacks here. As Shuya thought, Jiang Yu had really never been here when he was on Earth. Recently being too focused on leveling up, Jiang Yu had forgotten that his purpose for returning to Earth was to enjoy eating, drinking, and having fun. Soon Jiang Yu ordered a table full of food, but what he tasted first was still a pot of steaming kimchi soup. After eating 2 spoonfuls, Jiang Yu was certain it wasn't as good as Shuya's. He thought since the taste was much worse, the only choice was to pursue variety, so Jiang Yu put various foods into the soup. Echidna wanted to try it too, but Shuya directly stopped her, while Jiang Yu ate with relish. This taste made him very addicted. Just then suddenly someone applauded for Jiang Yu, and said soup should be eaten like Jiang Yu was doing. But the person made Jiang Yu somewhat surprised, because it was Bai Jiang, the #1 ranked player in the country. Not having seen each other for a while, Bai Jiang also actively greeted Jiang Yu. But Jiang Yu wasn't in the mood, so he asked what he wanted. Hearing this, Bai Jiang told Jiang Yu he could be more casual when talking to him. Today he brought good news. He heard that Jiang Yu was a new player supported by Red Rose. To this, Jiang Yu said he wasn't really a Red Rose member. More accurately, it should be a cooperative relationship. And Bai Jiang invited him, after the cooperation with Red Rose ended, to come to his Cosmos Guild. He also promised that as soon as he came, he'd immediately give Jiang Yu 50 billion plus a house and car. Additionally, he would prepare an executive position. Hearing this, Jiang Yu was very disappointed. He thought there would be some good treatment. This made Bai Jiang a bit shocked. He didn't expect Red Rose's conditions to exceed his own. Jiang Yu's words also made him find it very interesting. So he was curious what kind of conditions would make Jiang Yu's heart flutter. Jiang Yu was about to say he didn't want to work under others, when Bai Jiang suddenly told him if he came to Cosmos Guild, he'd immediately give Jiang Yu a legendary equipment for free. This condition could be said to be very tempting. Legendary equipment was priceless. Unlike equipment made from ordinary monster corpses and magic stones, legendary level materials could only be obtained from S-rank portal boss monsters. It also had a characteristic that after wearing it once, it would perform a branding ritual with the user. Most importantly, legendary equipment could greatly enhance some basic ability values and possessed various special effects. Jiang Yu didn't deny this condition was indeed tempting, but he still refused Bai Zhang. After all, if it couldn't enhance demonic energy, it didn't mean much to him. Jiang Yu's refusal wasn't unexpected to Bai Zhang, so he handed over a business card, telling him to contact him if he changed his mind. And when leaving, Bai Zhang also put tofu in the kimchi soup, then said it would taste better this way. After doing this, he told Jiang Yu they'd meet again next time. His actions also made the Demon Lord very puzzled. The next day, Jiang Yu mentioned meeting Bai Zhang. Xie Yanzu was surprised he actually refused legendary equipment. To this, Jiang Yu had no regrets, because he didn't need to go to Cosmos Guild to earn legendary equipment through contributing to player safety. Walking to the elevator door, Jiang Yu was curious how much Xie Yanzu knew about Bai Zhang. But Xie Yanzu had only met him a few times. Her impression was that he was a very contradictory person. This was similar to what Jiang Yu thought, so he asked if there were any related rumors or anything. After thinking carefully, Xie Yanzu said Bai Zhang had once gotten very angry. That was when determining world-class players. Many people thought Bai Zhang could succeed, but he lost badly to other players and was eliminated. That person was someone who possessed mythical-level weapons. With so few related incidents, it made Jiang Yu somewhat suspicious whether Bai Zhang would retaliate for being refused. Xie Yanzu told him to relax. If Jiang Yu refused, Bai Zhang would probably just smile and say he was very appreciative. After walking a bit more, they met up with Bai Kwa Am. Early this morning, Bai Kwa Am had been waiting for Jiang Yu. The purpose was to fulfill the previously promised reward. It turned out that when they searched Mill Guild, they discovered a legendary equipment that hadn't been branded yet. Xie Yanzu was very clear that Bai Kwa Am must have gone to great lengths to fight for this. At this time, Bai Kwa Am asked Jiang Yu to take a look. Just by checking the equipment information, the Demon Lord was instantly tempted. Because this Black Pearl coat could not only enhance inherent ability values but also had special effects, it could double inherent ability values for 1 minute. Although it looked pretty good, Xie Yanzu and Bai Kwa Am were a bit disappointed, because almost no players in the country possessed fixed ability values. But soon Xie Yanzu suddenly thought of something. Combined with the Demon Lord's completely unable to close mouth corners, she instantly understood that Jiang Yu was someone who possessed fixed ability values. But thinking about Wu Jiangyu's growth speed being so fast, Xie Yanzu felt there was nothing strange about it. And since Jiang Yu had inherent ability values, this equipment was in a different league for him. After all, with inherent ability values, the Black Pearl coat was top tier even among legendary equipment. Jiang Yu was very fond of it, then turned to thank Bai Kwa Am and said he would actively assist in eradicating the demon cult in the future. Next, Jiang Yu was about to put on the coat. Xie Yanzu told him it was like the previous armor. Just put it on directly. Soon the Demon Lord finally changed into new clothes. The status window showed that the branding ritual was in progress, and before long the Black Pearl coat successfully recognized its master. Confirming that Jiang Yu possessed the fixed ability value of demonic energy, the next second the equipment's effect activated, and Jiang Yu immediately felt his demonic energy increase by 5 points. After the branding ritual ended, his strength was greatly enhanced again. Seeing this, Xie Yanzu was curious about how wearing legendary equipment felt. To this, Jiang Yu said very excitedly, could he get 10 or 8 more pieces of such equipment? These words made Bai Kwa Am laugh directly. Then he explained to Jiang Yu that equipment could only be worn up to 5 pieces. After that, stacking more wouldn't produce additional effects. Hearing this, Jiang Yu understood this meant 5 pieces or less was possible. Seeing Jiang Yu's expression, Xie Yanzu asked if he was very satisfied with this coat's performance. And Jiang Yu responded that of course he was satisfied. But hearing Xie Yanzu ask if he wanted to confirm how much stronger he'd become, Jiang Yu couldn't help but be curious what she wanted to do. Xie Yanzu didn't hesitate, and immediately asked Jiang Yu if he wanted to have a fight. Soon they got Bai Kwa Am's permission, and headed to the Flower Wolf unit's sparring room. Besides wanting to know how much stronger Jiang Yu had become, Xie Yanzu also wanted to figure out what exactly Jiang Yu was hiding. She believed Wu Jiangyu definitely possessed something that transcended his level or ability values. On the other side, the Demon Lord was also very expectant. After all, he really wanted to know his current strength. And Xie Yanzu was just the perfect opponent. Of course, he had other purposes too. As a future ally, Jiang Yu wanted to personally understand Xie Yanzu's strength. As Bai Kwa Am called start, Wu Jiangyu instantly appeared in front of Xie Yanzu. But his heavy punch was easily dodged. Then Xie Yanzu immediately counterattacked. Both of their speeds were very fast. The simple close combat fight was evenly matched for a while. After taking Xie Yanzu's punch head-on, Jiang Yu realized this wasn't deadly force. It seemed Xie Yanzu was still testing him. Understanding her concern about injuring him with full power, Jiang Yu actually felt a bit angry. Immediately, Jiang Yu launched another attack, but this punch wasn't meant to hit. When Xie Yanzu dodged, Jiang Yu grabbed her hat with his other hand. Asking if she was underestimating him too much, Jiang Yu thought such a bothersome thing like the hat should be removed. Before Jiang Yu could take the hat away, Che Yanzu's bloodthirst chain activated instantly. Successfully dodging the strike, Jiang Yu finally got serious, as he could clearly feel Che Yanzu's killing intent in that attack. This was exactly the kind of battle Jiang Yu wanted. Che Yanzu was no longer holding back. The close combat probing was sufficient. Jiang Yu wasn't an ordinary player. Only through direct confrontation could the Demon Lord feel the terror of Che Yanzu combined with the bloodthirst chain. Not only was the killing power immense, but the speed was ridiculously fast. Having seen the effects of Che Yanzu's bloodthirst chain before, Jiang Yu didn't dare get hit even slightly. Although retreating created a disadvantage, Jiang Yu still quickly backed away to dodge the attack. Otherwise, being continuously entangled by the bloodthirst chain's endless chains would prevent him from even activating his abilities. Reaching the rear, Jiang Yu decisively used his equipment's special effect. With his ability values doubled, he made Che Yanzu feel pressure too. So she actively charged toward Jiang Yu. This time, Che Yanzu was like a human-shaped destruction tool. Of course, Jiang Yu wouldn't choose to take it head-on. As for Bai Huayan, he originally thought this was a simple sparring session but didn't expect it to cause such massive damage, so he quickly told Che Yanzu to stop. But the two state clearly wouldn't stop, and after continuous dodging, Che Yanzu's bloodthirst chain had been extended far enough. Although the retraction time was less than a second, it was enough for Jiang Yu to successfully close in. At this moment, Jiang Yu reached close combat distance, while Che Yanzu's bloodthirst chain had activated again, but facing the Demon Lord whose ability values doubled within a minute, plus the explosive power of his authority. This time, Jiang Yu's attack far exceeded his previous ones. Even the bloodthirst chain was partially shattered. As for Jiang Yu, he took the opportunity to get behind her, then used thunderous force. The next second, piercing sound echoed throughout the entire battle room. Both Che Yanzu and Bai Huayan were hit. This was also Jiang Yu's best chance to win. When the effects of thunderous force ended, Che Yanzu also reacted. But Jiang Yu had already used both of his authorities, and at this distance, Che Yanzu understood she couldn't completely dodge. So she chose to switch her bloodthirst chain for defense. With the combination of Heaven's power and void-breaking force, plus Jiang Yu with doubled abilities, this strike instantly broke through Che Yanzu's defense. Of course, Jiang Yu couldn't really kill her, so he aimed at the battle room wall behind. The fight ended here. Che Yanzu had even felt the breath of death just now. She collapsed on the ground, gasping for air, at the same time lamenting that Jiang Yu was truly a monster. After the battle with Che Yanzu ended, the Black Pearl Coat's special effect happened to disappear. That minute of power enhancement made Jiang Yu feel incredibly refreshed. He could now understand why everyone pursued legendary equipment so much. Because with the legendary equipment's effects, he could actually crush Che Yanzu to this extent within a minute. Hearing Che Yanzu once again doubt that he was a monster, Jiang Yu explained it was thanks to the legendary Black Pearl Coat. To this, Che Yanzu sighed, then said she also had legendary equipment. But Jiang Yu's strength simply didn't seem like something a human could achieve. Watching the two who felt a mutual understanding, Bai Huayan nearby was already trembling with anger. Soon Jiang Yu and Che Yanzu also noticed something was wrong. Turning around, they saw the furious Bai Huayan, as this training room cost billions in taxpayer money to successfully build. Understanding they had done wrong, the two were momentarily speechless, then quickly apologized to Bai Huayan. In the end, Bai Huayan could only report the matter upward, temporarily stopping use of this training room, while Jiang Yu and Che Yanzu quietly blamed each other. Che Yanzu also regretted fighting here. They should have gone inside the portal to fight. Jiang Yu thought about the repair costs. Although he could earn money by selling the ogre's magic stones, this efficiency was really too slow. So he asked Che Yanzu if killing high-level monster bosses would drop legendary equipment materials or other valuable things. Getting an affirmative answer, Jiang Yu directly proposed to Che Yanzu that they hunt EartH together. Bai Huayan nearby also heard this. She knew that was the boss in the Water Garden S-rank portal, and wondered if Jiang Yu understood what kind of monster that was. No one had successfully hunted it so far, the biggest problem being EartH's habitat environment. Because it stayed in deep water constantly, close-range attacks were almost impossible. Plus, its skin had extremely strong magic resistance, making long-range attacks nearly ineffective. Jiang Yu said he also knew this monster was difficult to deal with, but decided to hunt it, not just to obtain materials. Che Yanzu was curious, so Jiang Yu told her he had already achieved 6 awakenings. Hunting EartH might become the key to breaking through his level limitations. Level limitations were something almost every player faced. After several level ups, they would face the effort ceiling at level 59, and the talent ceiling at level 89. Generally, the most widely known method to break these two limitations was to hunt powerful monster bosses, thereby surpassing one's own limits. Hearing Jiang Yu say this, Che Yanzu immediately felt tempted, as she was currently stuck at level 89 feet's talent ceiling. Successful hunting might break this limitation. But thinking back, Che Yanzu didn't expect that she, a level 89 high-level player, would actually lose to Jiang Yu, who was only in his 50s. After thinking a bit more, Che Yanzu agreed to go with Jiang Yu. However, she also said that, with just 2 people, it would still be too much of a stretch. Noticing Jiang Yu had been staring at her, Bai Huayan immediately understood and said she would join too. Regardless, she was also responsible for the training room's destruction, so Bai Huayan would hunt monsters together to pay for repairs. Then she was curious about Jiang Yu's plan. Knowing close combat wouldn't work, he still needed close combat players' help. Hearing this, Jiang Yu told her she'd know when the time came. Che Yanzu thought it would just be the three of them teaming up, but Jiang Yu said it was 4, because Echidna would also come along. Additionally, Jiang Yu muttered that it would be nice to have another close combat fighter, but unfortunately Shi Jun's level was too far behind. Even wanting to bring him would be powerless. Hearing Jiang Yu's muttering, Bai Huayan proactively told him. She did know another capable close combat player, so they agreed to hunt 3 days later. After several days of waiting, they soon reached the appointed time. These days, Jiang Yu hadn't been idle. He'd been continuously hunting S-rank monsters. After killing this monster, Jiang Yu finally reached level 59. Originally, he fantasized he might not have level limitations, but the status window's notification still ruthlessly pulled Jiang Yu back to reality. Soon after, Che Yanju and the others arrived inside the portal. Seeing a newly appeared man, Jiang Yu politely inquired. Then Bai Huayan introduced him. This was the close combat player mentioned before. The man happily told Jiang Yu he was the second core commander of the Flower Wolf unit, named Gu Hyun, and Jiang Yu also introduced himself. Gu Hyun originally heard Jiang Yu was a new player, but didn't expect he could already hunt giant ogres. Discovering there was also a child, he looked completely puzzled. But fortunately, Jiang Yu explained that Echidna was his summoned beast. Seeing Gu Hyun's curious follow-up questions, Bai Huayan stopped him, then said she'd explain about Jiang Yu's matters later. In any case, Jiang Yu was a strong fighter not inferior to Che Yanzu. This statement greatly shocked Gu Hyun. A newcomer who'd only been a player for a short time was already on par with the country's top players. Although very hard to believe, he knew Bai Huayan had no need to lie. After chatting a bit more, Gu Hyun suddenly felt Bai Huayan was very friendly toward Jiang Yu. So he quickly approached Jiang Yu, saying he had something to ask. After moving aside, Gu Hyun quietly asked what relationship Jiang Yu had with Commander Bai Huayan. To this, Jiang Yu answered honestly, at the same time understanding that Gu Hyun apparently liked Bai Huayan. Next came hunting time. Jiang Yu told everyone they could start right here, but nearby was the rock giant area. Che Yanzu said that although they wouldn't actively attack, during the process of hunting Araquero they would inevitably attract these giants. Unexpectedly, Jiang Yu told her that actually the core of this hunt lay with these lazy rock giants nearby. Then he briefly introduced his plan to everyone. After explaining, Jiang Yu took out the special metal hooks. After everyone on shore prepared as requested, Jiang Yu began his action. The next second, he used thunderous force toward the water. As for his position, he was right above Araquero's head. As thunderous force continued spreading downward, the commotion in the water grew bigger and bigger. This piercing sound penetrating the mind instantly enraged this monster boss. The rapid flow of the water surface made Jiang Yu immediately ready for battle. Soon they heard Araquero's roar. As the monster's figure appeared on the water surface, Jiang Yu quickly reminded everyone that Araquero was coming. Hearing this, everyone prepared themselves. At this moment, huge waves rose in front of Jiang Yu. The next second, the furious Araquero leaped out of the water. Its body was extremely massive, and the terrifying aura it emitted was also frightening. Jiang Yu and the others were only slightly bigger than ants in front of the monster, and this monster had just surfaced. When it launched an attack toward Jiang Yu and the others, having researched relevant materials beforehand, this was Araquero's poison needle attack mode. Immediately, Jiang Yu quickly called for Echidna to defend. Getting the command, she immediately used magic barrier to block the poison needles. But the opponent's poison needles were too dense and powerful. Jiang Yu understood Echidna couldn't hold out much longer, so he told Gu Hyun and Bai Huayan to start acting immediately. Then he used Sky Force while grabbing both of them. After telling them to hold on tight, Jiang Yu decisively flew into the air. After flying above Araquero, Jiang Yu released Bai Huayan and the others. Then the three rushed toward the monster with iron chains. Soon they precisely landed on Araquero's back. Next, Jiang Yu directed them to handle the left and right sides respectively. They had to deeply pierce all the iron hooks into Araquero's body before the monster entered the water, and Jiang Yu had just stabbed one iron hook in. The monster immediately felt intense pain. Bai Huayan and Gu Hyun also successively pierced hooks into the monster's body. But this was far from enough. They continued stabbing new iron hooks into Araquero's back. All three exerted force together as the monster began drilling toward the water. Understanding the opponent was preparing to escape, Jiang Yu reminded everyone to hold tight and not fall. At this moment, Araquero first plunged to the water surface, then jumped violently. He wanted to shake off Jiang Yu and the others on his back. Seeing he couldn't break free from them, the monster wanted to dive underwater. Understanding its purpose, Jiang Yu had Bai Huayan and Gu Hyun stab other chains in too. He was going to stop Araquero. Just as the monster was rushing downward, Jiang Yu dove into the water first. Then he used void-breaking force, plus authority heaven's power concentrated in his fist. Just as Araquero was approaching the water surface, the water was also spinning rapidly. The next moment, Jiang Yu's strongest punch struck out. This hit sent the monster back to the sky again. Bai Huayan and the others on its back held on tightly, but being unable to prepare properly underwater, the attack's power dropped significantly. Even using his strongest force could only lift Eriquero slightly. Jiang Yu thought he had to cause massive damage to it. After some observation, he quickly noticed the monster's breathing gills. Then Jiang Yu decisively used Sky Force and rushed toward Eriquero's gills. The instant Jiang Yu drilled in, the monster immediately felt severe pain, then released waves of lightning attacks. Bai Huayan and the others on its back also discovered these currents, but Jiang Yu inside the body had nowhere to hide. Echidna below, sensing Jiang Yu's life was in danger, immediately used all her strength for magic barrier. At this time, all the iron chains outside were fully inserted, so Bai Huayan had Gu Yun retreat together. They needed to leave immediately. Staying would only drag Jiang Yu down. Facts proved Bai Huayan's decision was right. Just as the two jumped down, Eriquero released electricity covering its entire body, because it was already in unbearable pain. Seeing this scene, Bai Huayan understood Jiang Yu had already entered the monster's body. The monster's terrifying electricity had no effect on Jiang Yu whatsoever, thanks to Echidna's crucial shield. Jiang Yu didn't expect that Echidna could actually provide remote shielding, but this was perfect. With Echidna there, he didn't need to waste energy resisting the electricity. Using his remaining limited strength, Jiang Yu frantically destroyed the monster's internal organs, finally even breaking straight through. The severely wounded Eriquero temporarily lost its strength to resist. Seeing this, Jiang Yu understood the opportunity had come. Now they just needed to drag the monster to shore. So he quickly shouted loudly to Che Yanzu. Hearing Jiang Yu say he was ready, Che Yanzu decisively swung her bloodthirst chain to whip the rock giants. The more she whipped, the more excited she became. As Che Yanzu's whipping grew heavier, the giants feeling pain began running desperately. The more these giants ran, the more enthusiastic Che Yanzu became. She wanted the giants to run faster, so she continued whipping continuously. Each rock giant had iron chains tied to it. Their escape became the power to drag Eriquero. Jiang Yu was responsible for not letting the chains loosen, so he pressed down hard on the inserted hooks. Originally, they could have made it with a bit more persistence, but Eriquero quickly recovered its strength. With its frantic struggling, one of the rock giants running ahead was even pulled down to the ground. Now Jiang Yu could feel the monster below gradually recovering its strength, while competing in strength with the rock giants. Eriquero also launched attacks again. Fortunately, its poison needles were still blocked by Echidna. However, Eriquero's strength was too great. If this continued, Jiang Yu understood the giants would definitely fall first. He had to find a way to weaken the monster again. Soon Jiang Yu made up his mind, so he shouted to Che Yanzu again, telling her to make the chains grow spikes. Although this could be done through the bloodthirst chain, Che Yanzu worried about getting Jiang Yu involved too. Unexpectedly, Jiang Yu insisted she act quickly. Hearing this, Che Yanzu immediately activated the bloodthirst chain's special effect. It could not only assimilate these iron chains, but also absorb energy from stabbed targets. Just as the chains were assimilated and grew spikes, Jiang Yu immediately used the monster armor's petrification effect. But unexpectedly, even rare grade items couldn't last long. However, fortunately it worked on Eriquero. The assimilated chains were frantically absorbing the monster's power, even if Eriquero wanted to struggle. Being hindered by too many bloodthirst chains, it soon lost its strength to resist again. Then could only be dragged bit by bit toward shore by the giants. As for Che Yanzu, she was still continuously driving the giants. These rock giants weren't affected by the bloodthirst chain. Thanks to their hard shells, those spikes couldn't penetrate the giants' bodies. Jiang Yu's method made Che Yanzu admire it. He'd never thought rock giants could be helpful before. Finally, Eriquero was inevitably dragged to the ground, although it was still resisting with all its might. But after reaching land, Eriquero basically lost the chance to recover its strength. At this point, Jiang Yu also breathed a long sigh of relief. But then Echidna ran over. She wanted to know Jiang Yu's condition. Seeing this, Jiang Yu quickly told her to dodge, but Eriquero's attack had already arrived. At the critical moment, Bai Huayan struck in time, cutting off the monster's fin with one slash. Guyon was responsible for rescuing Echidna. The two had just jumped down and fallen into the water, only now swimming ashore. Now Jiang Yu told everyone they could prepare for the finishing phase. After telling Echidna he was fine, Jiang Yu had her go handle those rock giants. After confronting Eriquero, plus being continuously tormented by Che Yanzu, they were now exhausted. Noticing Che Yanzu still didn't seem satisfied, Jiang Yu called her over to gather. Next, everyone would work together to kill Eriquero. Bai Huayan and Gu Yan struck first. They'd endured this ray fish for too long, facing their fierce attacks. Eriquero was like a lamb awaiting slaughter. However, its survival ability was indeed very strong. Under the continuous attacks of two top warriors Bai Huayan and Gu Hyun, it still hadn't died. Now Che Yanzu also joined in, but this time Eriquero didn't continue taking hits. Being wounded, it still wanted to counterattack Che Yanzu. Unfortunately, its speed on ground was far too slow. Jiang Yu couldn't help but sigh, truly worthy of being a monster boss. Then his consciousness dove into his own demon palace, where the demonic energy accumulated by the demon lord over 10,000 years flowed. Ahead were 3 great doors, but Jiang Yu understood that for the current situation, there was no need to go there yet. Slowly slowly cupping some thick demonic energy. The demon lord felt this was sufficient, taking a bit of his former power from the demon palace. Jiang Yu's aura was also rising frantically. This time he used Hellfire Force plus Extreme Dark Force, but this still hadn't reached his goal, so he also activated the Black Pearl Coat's effect. The further increase in demonic energy finally allowed Jiang Yu to use the third authority Crushing Force. After fusing the three authorities, they formed a Death Thorn Spear. This was also a technique the demon lord had created in Hell. The status window issued a notification that the fusion of three authorities had become an SS rank skill, making future use more convenient. After fiercely thrusting the Deaththorn Spear toward Eriquero, Jiang Yu didn't forget to tell everyone to back away, because this spear's power would be very strong. The Deaththorn Spear brought a powerful sense of oppression the moment it touched the monster. The next second, the Deaththorn Spear immediately pierced through the monster's body. Cheyanju and the others were also frightened by Jiang Yu's strike, because this completely didn't seem achievable by a 6 Awakening player. At this time, Eriquero was still being burned by Hellfire Force. Then came a violent explosion, and Jiang Yu had successfully fused three authorities for the first time. The status window indicated the second condition for Extreme Demon Body was satisfied. Seeing the message above, Jiang Yu only then learned that the second condition achieved was accomplishing the fusion of three authorities. After using this strike, Jiang Yu's hands were still trembling, but if this were when he ruled Hell, such attacks would be child's play for Jiang Yu. Now using it was very taxing. Thinking of this, Jiang Yu looked forward to killing monsters and becoming stronger. Soon after coming to his senses, Cheyanzu and the others approached, curious why Jiang Yu had such a killing move but didn't use it earlier. To this, Jiang Yu explained briefly. He was also using it for the first time, and he couldn't use it casually, as his hands were still trembling. At this moment, Echidna had also finished handling those giants. Jiang Yu thought this hunt was over, but he suddenly noticed something wrong. The status window hadn't shown a kill notification, so Jiang Yu immediately had everyone prepare for battle again, because the hunt wasn't completely finished yet. Through Jiang Yu's reminder, they also discovered the message window had no notification of Eriquero's death. Jiang Yu didn't expect his such powerful attack still hadn't killed the opponent. When he first created this move, it was enough to directly kill demons from the 7 hells, yet now it couldn't even handle this monster that wasn't even a demon. Sure enough, the next second Eriquero roared again. The aura it emitted shocked Jiang Yu. He couldn't believe demonic energy would exist on the monster. At this time, many tentacles grew from Eriquero's torn flesh. Initially, Jiang Yu and the others thought they'd have to continue fighting. Unexpectedly, the monster didn't want to fight at all, but quickly approached the water. Seeing this, Cheyanzu used Bloodthirst Chain to tightly entangle the opponent, but her power alone obviously couldn't suppress the monster. Jiang Yu had Cheyanzu separate other chains. Then several people desperately pulled the chains together, but now without the rock giant's help. In terms of pure strength, even though Eriquero was near death, it still couldn't compare to them. Plus, Jiang Yu's demonic energy was almost exhausted. Even his equipment effects were cooling down. He really didn't want to let the monster go like this. Fortunately, Echidna stepped forward. She directly transformed into her true form. Seeing the giant dragon appearing in the sky, Bai Huayan and the others were dumbfounded. Seeing this, Jiang Yu said that was Echidna. Under her assault, Eriquero in this state was completely helpless, could only passively suffer Echidna's abuse, and couldn't continue escaping, because its remaining strength compared to a giant dragon was far too little. Watching the one-sided slaughter ahead, everyone released the chains in their hands. Jiang Yu, Cheyanzu and the others just watched silently, as intervention was no longer needed. Soon after, Echidna pulled out her claws. At this time, Eriquero was as dead as could be. What surprised Jiang Yu even more was that this time Echidna could actually control her rationality. With the monster's death, everyone received status window messages. Jiang Yu had the highest contribution. Although experience continued increasing, this monster kill still didn't break his level limitation. After shrinking, Echidna happily rushed toward Jiang Yu. Now Cheyanzu understood why Echidna would be Jiang Yu's summoned beast. With everything completely finished, they discussed the final monster's strange transformation. Bai Huayan estimated it was some characteristic of Eriquero. Hearing this, Jiang Yu said he'd encountered something similar before, then told everyone this was almost identical to the demonization of those demon cult followers. Hearing this, Cheyanzu asked if monsters were also affected by demonic energy. To this, Jiang Yu wasn't certain, so he prepared to verify. After searching around, Jiang Yu pried open Eriquero's body. Inside, he could sense a certain familiar scent. After groping around with his hand, Jiang Yu successfully found something, then pulled out a gem-like item from inside. Looking at the red gem in Jiang Yu's hand, Cheyanzu and the others couldn't identify what it was. Although similar to magic stones, it was clearly not the same thing. Jiang Yu confirmed that Eriquero's mutation was because of this stone. Because its contained demonic energy concentration was very high, somewhat like a demonic energy version of magic stones, and he discovered this differed from naturally generated magic stones inside monsters. From the surface, it was definitely artificially made. Jiang Yu immediately had suspicions, so he told everyone that, although not very certain, from the same demonization, this thing very likely came from the demon cult. Then he explained the reasons. First was that the gem's shape was too much like human carving. Second, when Jiang Yu reached in, he could immediately touch it, so it was likely someone placed it inside the monster's body. A large organization capable of this while possessing demonic energy. The demon cult was definitely the first suspect. Jiang Yu's analysis also gained Bai Huayan's approval. Then she asked Gu Yon to help investigate the demon cult together. As for Jiang Yu, he had ulterior motives. At this time, Che Yanzu wanted to photograph the gem before going back to investigate properly, but Jiang Yu quietly used lightning force, then caused the monster corpse to shake, taking advantage of everyone's distracted attention. He immediately absorbed the gem. Thinking it was post-death rigor, Che Yanzu continued asking for the gem to photograph, but turning around, she found the gem was gone. He acted like he didn't know what happened. Only Bai Huayan speculated that perhaps demonic energy would disappear upon human contact. After Jiang Yu absorbed it using predation force, he didn't expect it would directly increase his demonic energy by 3 points. And through the status window notification, he learned this gem type was called Magic Crystal. Echidna wanted to ask if Jiang Yu should go back now, but turning around, she discovered the Demon Lord's condition wasn't right. Because Jiang Yu was already somewhat addicted to magic crystals, he believed there was definitely more than one of these things. After having someone take away the monster's corpse, Jiang Yu and the others returned to Flower Wolf headquarters. Soon time came to afternoon. Now Echidna was sleeping in the car. Che Yanzu and the others had already divided the money. After processing magic stones in the corpse, minus training room repair costs, they each got 5 billion. Additionally, regarding the gem matter, Bai Huayan would cooperate with Guyon and others next. If gems disappeared again, they'd notify everyone not to touch them with hands. To this, Jiang Yu felt quite apologetic inside. Finally, Bai Huayan had good news. Eruquero's body parts had materials that could make legendary-grade equipment. The spikes from its tail could be refined to forge a sword. Besides this legendary equipment's performance was already estimated. It was equipment that could enhance strength and speed. Hearing this, Jiang Yu and Che Yanzu gave up. Since it helped warriors, Che Yanzu let Bai Huayan use it herself. But unfortunately, the equipment's imprinting had special conditions. It required players with fixed internal energy ability values to successfully complete imprinting. Then Che Yanzu thought selling it wouldn't be bad either. But at this time, Jiang Yu spoke up. He said since that was the case, leave it to him to handle. Because Jiang Yu happened to know a player with internal energy. At the same time, Shijun and the others were in a B-rank portal that was almost like a maze. Only Shijun could search by relying on uncomfortable feelings. Soon a startling aura came from ahead, so he quickly reminded everyone to prepare for battle. But only a B-rank Minotaur appeared. Just as they were about to relax, sudden changes occurred ahead. The next second, a giant Minotaur killed the smaller monster. The scene before them successfully frightened several people. The opponent's body emitted waves of eerie aura. Seeing the new monster rushing over, Shijun reminded Taishu to defend. But they didn't expect this Minotaur's power to be so strong. Understanding it wasn't an ordinary monster, Shishun began commanding everyone to fight. Taishu, with Siola's enhancement, was responsible for drawing attention at the front. And Fei shared Taishu's pressure. Shishun looked for the best striking opportunity while everyone restrained it. During this, the monster wanted to attack him. But Taishu, assisted by Siola, immediately blocked in front of Shijun. Unlike the first time being knocked back, with Siola's powerful buffs, Taishu successfully blocked the monster's attack. Shijun took the opportunity to reach the Minotaur's rear. This strike he didn't dare hold back at all, as the monster took Shijun's sword technique Cloud Dragon Flash. The next second, its head was immediately severed. Seeing this, Taishu couldn't help praising Shijun. He knew the other could do it. As for Anfei, she had completely become Shijun's little fangirl. After the battle ended, everyone began observing the Minotaur. This was much more ferocious than those they'd encountered before. Just then, Shijun discovered something strange. Slowly walking over to check, the monster's body actually had a part emitting red light. After Shijun and the others finished processing the monster corpse, they left the portal. 2 weeks later, Jiang Yu came to Flower Wolf headquarters again. Now Bai Huayan and the others had already made the legendary equipment. This sword was called Eruquero's sword. It required someone with internal energy ability values to imprint, and the equipment had special effects. It could walk freely on water. After carefully examining it, Jiang Yu was very satisfied with this equipment. If possible, he'd want to keep it for himself. Jiang Yu was also curious that despite resolving the monster just 2 weeks ago, the equipment was made so quickly. To this, Bai Huayan said making legendary weapons was most difficult in terms of materials. Other processes weren't particularly difficult. As for Che Yanzu, she was considering the crafting costs. But Bai Huayan told them this was nothing, because in Bai Huayan's view, what Che Yanzu and Jiang Yu did was all to protect everyone's safety. If they were reluctant to spend even this money, that would be worth considering. Next, Bai Huayan had something else to tell Jiang Yu, but when she heard Jiang Yu's very polite request to her, Bai Huayan said there was no need to be so polite. After all, she and Che Yanzu were both very casual. Jiang Yu being too polite would be awkward instead, and now they were equal colleagues anyway. Hearing this, Jiang Yu finally reacted and agreed. This time Bai Huayan also mentioned another matter. Although Flower Wolf had been trying hard to search, they hadn't found a single gem. Che Yanzu's guild was the same. This made Jiang Yu somewhat doubt his judgment. Could the demon cult have only implanted magic crystals in one monster? At the same time, the cardinal also received news. Eruquero being killed made him unbelievable. This was only confirmed after demon cult members went to check following Che Yanzu's public announcement. To this, the cardinal only wanted to know the magic crystal's whereabouts, but so far it still couldn't be found. This made him furious on the spot. Then he asked about other monster situations. Fortunately, most monsters were safe. so they guessed it wasn't discovering the plan, just happened to hunt boss-level monsters. But because of Eriquero's incident, the demon cult's plan was seriously delayed. So the cardinal wanted to know if using that method could improve progress. Hearing this, his subordinates all dissuaded him. Doing so was too dangerous. Although using that method could immediately execute the plan, it would cause unconcealable massive upheaval. And there was a world-class player who wouldn't let it go. Hearing everyone was very worried about provoking a world-class player's anger, the cardinal instantly became very angry. He said, so what if they offended them? Would he be tied down by fear? Feeling the cardinal's terrifying killing intent, several subordinates quickly apologized. After slowly calming down, the cardinal asked if there were remaining magic crystals, getting an affirmative reply. He ordered everyone to quickly implant the devices into other monsters as well. If the plan's execution was delayed any further, he would absolutely not spare anyone. Next, the archbishop inquired about who had eliminated Eriquero, and learned it was Xie Yanzu and her team who did it. Combined with the previous incident involving Jin Jaehyun, the cardinal archbishop declared that if Xie Yanzu continued to interfere, she would have to pay a price, so he instructed his subordinates to have the shadows ready at all times. Hearing this, his subordinates thought they were going to eliminate Xie Yanzu, and immediately said that shadows alone might not be enough. Unexpectedly, the archbishop told everyone that their target wasn't Xie Yanzu, but rather her most valued newcomer, Wu Jiangyu. He planned to capture Jiangyu as a hostage, thereby luring Xie Yanzu into a trap. Jiangyu had no idea that someone was planning to cause him trouble. At this moment, he was heading to the teleportation gate where Shuya and the others were hunting. After some time, Shijun and the others finished hunting and came out. Recently, the group had successfully earned a lot of money. Just as they were discussing tomorrow's plans, they discovered Jiangyu, whom they hadn't seen in a long time. Meeting again after so long, everyone seemed very happy. Shijun curiously asked if his big brother had come for something special. Jiangyu mentioned the surprise gift he had brought. Everyone thought it was for Shuya. But unexpectedly, Jiangyu handed the sword in his hand to Shijun. Seeing this, Shuya's eyes carried murderous intent. Fortunately, Wu Jiangyu explained that this was a legendary grade equipment that could only be used by those with internal energy. Seeing this type of equipment for the first time, everyone congratulated Shijun while also envying him. But Shijun himself felt he wasn't qualified to accept such a precious item. Jiangyu expressed that he believed Shijun would become stronger than other players in the future, and could prove his worth then. Jiangyu's words moved Shijun almost to tears, and he also said that his big brother's generosity made him feel very embarrassed. He then mentioned that when they first met, he felt a sense of resistance toward Jiangyu. The demon lord instantly understood the reason. After all, Shijun was a guardian, and he happened to be the culprit who destroyed the Gaia system. Then Shijun added that the feeling disappeared afterward. Though it sounded strange, he now found himself unconsciously wanting to get close to Jiangyu. Saying this, Shijun couldn't help but grasp Jiangyu's hand. Now Shuya's eyes looked like she wanted to slice him directly. Jin Shijun's behavior made Jiangyu feel somewhat awkward, so he asked him to quickly let go of his hand. However, Shijun suddenly took out a red gemstone. He said it was something they had discovered after defeating monsters before. Although he knew it couldn't really count as a gift, Shijun felt it might be useful to his big brother. Seeing the magic crystal he had dreamed of appear, Jiangyu instantly gripped Shijun's hand in return. This time, it was the demon lord's turn to have an odd look in his eyes. After obtaining the magic crystal, Wu Jiangyu's mood instantly improved, and he inquired about how Shijun and the others had acquired it. Hearing this, Jin Shijun explained what had happened. Previously at the teleportation gate, he had a strange feeling different from usual. It was similar to the resistance he felt when first meeting Jiangyu. Following that feeling, they eventually found a strange minotaur. This gemstone was obtained from killing that creature. Jiangyu speculated that the minotaur was strange precisely because it had been corrupted by demonic energy. Thinking that Shijun might be able to sense demonic energy, Jiangyu asked if he had felt this way when he saw Egyptina at the hospital. After carefully recalling, Shijun told Jiangyu that he hadn't felt any similar resistance back then. His words proved it wasn't about sensing demonic energy, so Jiangyu pondered what common points he and these monsters might have besides demonic energy. Finally, Wu Jiangyu thought of the rift fragment information. Now he completely understood. What Shijun could sense were monsters that had been corrupted by demonic energy and then turned into rift fragments. Jiangyu himself, as the core of rift destruction, would naturally cause resistance in the guardian Shijun. If this was the case, it was incredibly good news for Jiangyu. He was certain that Shijun could definitely find those monsters implanted with magic crystals, so he suggested that Shijun come with him to do something. After continuing their conversation along the way, the group began waiting for the train at the platform. When the train arrived, Shijun and the others boarded to go home, while Jiangyu took Shuya to catch their ride. Along the way, he also expressed his apologies. Recently, he could only let Shuya and the other two go hunting. Their levels had improved considerably, so 3 people should be sufficient. But Jiangyu still reminded Shuya to be extra careful. However, Shuya didn't respond to Jiangyu's words. After a moment of silence, she finally spoke. Shuya wanted to know if she and the others couldn't go with Jiangyu and Shijun tomorrow. After all, that way they could not only hunt together, but also level up faster. and maybe they could even help Zhang Yu. Although Zhang Yu didn't want to hurt Xueya's feelings, he still made it clear that they were going to an A-rank teleportation gate, possibly even S-rank. The monsters there were far more powerful than the Minotaur, and since this involved the demon cult, danger could arise at any moment. Hearing this, Xueya didn't insist further. She understood that her strength wasn't sufficient. However, at that moment, Zhang Yu suddenly reached out to block Xueya's path. It turned out that by their car ahead, several demon cult members were already waiting. Seeing them, Zhang Yu remained calm and casually asked about their purpose. But these guys were quite arrogant, acting as if they had Zhang Yu completely figured out. Their attitude also made the demon lord chuckle. Then Zhang Yu's aura changed, and he told the group to get off his car. Hearing this, the demon cult members wasted no words and immediately charged toward Zhang Yu. Facing their multi-person attack, Zhang Yu didn't confront them head-on, but chose to use the power of the firmament, quickly creating distance to ensure Xueya's safety. Leaping over a barrier, Zhang Yu told Xueya to wait a moment. He would resolve the demon cult members shortly. Though Xueya felt shy being held, she still used Light's Grace to buff Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu was quite surprised to receive a buff for the first time, because Xueya's skill actually increased his demonic energy by 2 points. Hearing Xueya's concern for him, Zhang Yu reassured her that he absolutely wouldn't get hurt. At this time, the demon cult members had also caught up. But now that Xueya's safety was secured, Zhang Yu immediately charged forward. He had never intended to run away from the start. Easily dodging the enemy's attacks, Zhang Yu instantly appeared behind them. However, these guys weren't weak either. Seeing their comrade in trouble, they immediately launched attacks to help. And being able to use chain weapons so calmly in crisis, Zhang Yu understood that their abilities were considerable. They should all be high-level players. But compared to Che Yanzu and her team, they were still far behind. The next second, Zhang Yu used the power of fluctuation. This strike instantly shattered several of their weapons. Seeing this, the demon cult members finally realized that the Cardinal Archbishop had misjudged Zhang Yu's strength. They immediately prepared to retreat and report the situation. But how could Zhang Yu let the enemies escape? After being frozen by the demon lord's power of ice, they faced a brutal slaughter, casually eliminating some of them. Zhang Yu walked forward, saying he wanted to have a chat with them. Then he removed their masks. He had thought using the power of fear would get him answers, but was surprised to discover that the guy before him was resisting the inner fear. What Zhang Yu hadn't expected was that these demon cult people were even crazier than madmen. It turned out their tongues were carved with special magic circles. As the array on his tongue tip activated, the next second, a violent explosion occurred on the spot. Seeing this scene, Xueya became very anxious. Fortunately, this didn't successfully injure Zhang Yu. However, the demon lord had been completely enraged. Since that Cardinal Archbishop liked to hide in the shadows and scheme, he would force him out. After some time, the demon cult also received the news. The complete annihilation of the shadows surprised the Cardinal Archbishop greatly. Unfortunately, they all assumed that Che Yanzu had arrived at the scene. Although losing combat power pained the Cardinal Archbishop, the key issue at present was the collection progress of rift fragments. After hearing his subordinate mention 30%, his mood improved slightly, and he then dismissed his subordinate. Through this incident, the Cardinal Archbishop had learned a lot. He knew he had been too hasty. Anyway, Che Yanzu and her team definitely couldn't find the remaining magic crystals, so he didn't need to rush either. After removing his mask, the Cardinal Archbishop turned out to be Bai Zhang, the nation's top-ranked player. He believed that ultimately everything would proceed according to his plan.